Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the casted tournament. So today we're going to be casting a bunch of matches. I think it's a 5-rounder. Let me go ahead and double check. 1 second here. Looks like it is a 5-round tournament. Yes. So we're going to be casting every round, obviously. Getting you a little bit of diversity with the factions and having some fun. So how you guys been doing? Hope you've been doing well. The good time's going to be rolling today. Nice little Sunday afternoon stream. It's Sunday, right? Let me see what friggin' year it is. Okay, it's 2025. It's Sunday. It's the afternoon. We're good. What did I think about the new Chaos Dwarf models? I like some of them. Some of them I wasn't a huge fan of. Honestly, overall, they're pretty awesome. I mean, if you want to get an Age of Sigmar, I think that's a really cool army to start with. A big part of it was the color scheme. Yeah, let's actually pull that up. We can look in a moment. Hold on. So Chaos Dwarves, new Chaos Dwarves, AOS. Are they here? Let us see where they are. I'll find a link in a moment. Oh, wait a little bit longer. Yeah, Chaos Dwarves, Sigmar here. Okay. What are they called? What are the new Chaos Dwarves called in Age of Sigmar? They're like something of Hashut. They're called something different. Yeah. They're not Chaos like Dwarden. No, they're called something different. Oh, where are they? All right. Chaos Dwarves. Let me just Warhammer community will probably have it. Okay, perfect. Warhammer community here. And is it here? The big summer. There they go. Okay. The Helmsmiths of Hashut. Yeah, so let me show you guys this real quick. We're starting the tournament right now, so let me get into a lobby first, and then we can take a look at the miniatures together. I mean, I'm interested maybe someday. Right now, I have another project on my hands. I'm painting the Isengard army, so I just finished painting Grima Wormtongue last night, and the first 12 Uruk scouts. So once I'm done with the Lord of the Rings army, we'll do that. So, all right. We could do Blood Penguin against For Poland. That'll be a fun match. So I message these guys, Blood Penguin, yo, lobby, code please, and for Poland, lobby code please. All right, so we're going to be casting our first match here. I think we might have a Bretonnian game, which is going to be very fun. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Hope you guys are all doing well. Dark Age Rush saying I just finished a human commander deck. Going to test it with your spouse. That sounds like a lot of fun. Who's your commander? There's a lot of human commanders. I know I had a friend who had a Boromir human deck. It was a white-blue one with the Lord of the Rings Boromir. Obviously, he's Lord of the Rings. What's going on, Tiamat? Welcome. All right, so I got a lobby code here. I got his code. Okay, so we're going to join for Poland's lobby. Go ahead and get in there. Looks like there's no password, so we will find it. We will find it in a moment. Winter Winds. Let's go ahead and join with code here. Incompatible versions. Interesting. So I think you got wrong version of game. Yeah. I think he's let me check here. Maybe he forgot the map pack. Yeah, just checking with Homie to see, because I see a lot of lobbies open. These are probably the majority of the people playing in the tournament, so I suspect there's some funny business. Yeah, and these are all the creative assembly maps that we're seeing here, so it's probably a map pack thing. Okay, he's going to reset that, and we'll get it all squared away. Yeah, we'll take a look at the Chaos Dwarfs. Okay. Sounds good. All right, so they're going to get that all squared away, and we will cast that. Let me make sure I'm not getting pinged for anything else. I'm not the admin today, which is really nice. So that means we just get to chill out, hang out a little bit in between rounds. I don't have to deal with any of the shenanigans. So these are the new Chaos Dwarves. While we're waiting for these players, we can take a look at this. So there it is. Okay. Glory to the Bullfather. Oh, it's kind of funny. The Bullfather. The Bullfather. Wow. Yeah, here's a picture of like the army. So you have in the back one of their artillery pieces, which is kind of interesting looking. I don't hate it. Looks like it's some sort of a mortar. Yeah, so here's this the characters, the little small foot-based characters. You could totally use these for the fantasy game. I don't know why, but a lot of the weapons that we've seen for the Chaos Dwarves, it gives me big Necrons energy. Like their guns that they have and their weapons, they kind of look like they belong to the Necrons from 40k. But this is one of the Chaos Dwarf characters, and here you can see some of the line infantry as well. So these are just like the equivalent of Chaos Dwarf warriors, right? The swords look a little bit weird to me. They kind of look like they belong in like a kid's toy box. You know, doesn't it look like something that would come with like a 1990s toy or something? I don't know, but they look cool. I think a lot of it is the color scheme. I think if you gave them like a proper red color scheme, it'd be pretty neat. This guy's kind of cool. I do like the Berserker guy. I think he's rad. And the Hobgoblins also look very cool. Yeah, so you're getting a look here. Here's the Spearman units. I do like the Spearman a little bit more. Overall, the faces look pretty great. I think that the faces on these guys with the horns, and they have the tall hats still, which is pretty cool as well. And yeah, I mean, I overall like them. If I wanted to get into Age of Sigmar, this would be the army I would collect, because it still has that like industrial Chaos Dwarf vibe, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, so you can see you can build it as a Death Tree. So yeah, they basically have like a Death Tree rocket launcher as well as a mortar. Yeah, Spalder, I agree. That's kind of cool though. In the back of the artillery, you have like the demons trapped in here. You can see where the demon engine is kind of being fed. This thing is like a Kadai destroyer, basically. So it's all right. Yeah, it's very Age of Sigmar, like very, very Age of Sigmar. Some of them have mustaches. Yeah, not all of them. Here's the codex here. I don't think that's all of them. Yeah, this is a really good model though. This one is freaking awesome. Yeah, this is like a Sorcerer Prophet, basically. Then you have a Runesmith right here, a Demon Smith. The Bull Centaur models are pretty good. I do like the Bull Centaur models. Yeah, they're not bad at all. And here's another unit of Bull Centaurs. I don't know what the difference is between these ones and these ones. I guess this is like a Grey Weapon version, and these are just helmet options you have. The color scheme, they would look a lot better if they had a different color scheme. And I'm going to show you guys something after this, which is pretty interesting. But let me first get into the game here. Okay, let's do this, and there we go. Multiplayer battles, join with that. And we're going to spectate this. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So we're going to be getting a Bretonnian game out of the gates. So Plague Penguin is probably one of our best Bretonnian players in the community. I think he's probably, I don't know if anybody is better than Plague Penguin on Bretonnia, which is really funny because I ended up playing him last night. I logged on Age of the Ring, which is the Lord of the Rings RTS game we play. And man, oh man, we had a really, really epic game. It was my Isengard versus his Rohan, and he plays them like Bretonnia. And we had like a 30-40 minute game. It was super sweaty. Yeah, let me show you. So there was a post, Helm Smiths of Hashut, Reddit, painted red. Yeah, somebody did a Reddit post, which was really good, and basically they like customized the color scheme to give them like a red vibe and a red kind of scheme, and it looked way better. I can't find the link to it, but it was there, and it was pretty good. But yeah, that army's neat, man. If I wanted to get into Age of Sigmar, that's for sure who I would collect. Just get a bunch of artillery. I'm just casting tonight, so we're just going to be casting matches. All right. Let your opponents know. Yeah, one of the players had the wrong map version, but it's fine. Ain't no thing. We got time to kill. Yeah, that's my problem with Age of Sigmar. I can't get into the lore. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe someday we'll collect that army. Right now, we're on an Isengard kick. We got Grima in the garage hanging out. We got all the Oryx. Sharix is pretty good at Bretonnia as well. I mean, Sharix has really good micro, so Bretonnia is a micro faction. They require a lot of finesse, and you have to be really good with using cavalry, which is hard. Cavalry in this game are effective, but difficult to use, certainly. It's not something that's very easy. What's going on? You should play as Bretonnia in the next tournament. Oh god. I need to play old man factions. Although, yeah, Empire is not so much an old man faction. I could play Empire pretty well. Chaos Dwarves are super fun. I do prefer like the old Chaos Dwarf look, like the Legions of Asgore. I don't know if you guys have seen those models. Those are some of my favorite Chaos Dwarf models. Can we find them here? Miniatures. But it's just, again, those minis don't really suit the they don't really suit the Age of Sigmar aesthetic, right? But I really liked the Legions of Asgore models for the Chaos Dwarves. That's these ones. Let me show you real quick. This is what my fantasy Chaos Dwarf army looks like. Yeah, so you have like these kind of like really like grim dark like Chaos Dwarf. They were resin. Here you got the Bull Centaurs with the Tarok right there. You have the Sorcerer. Yeah, and then you got the Magma Cannons. Like, that army looks sick. I really like that aesthetic. Legions of Asgore was great. And here's what the Fireglaves look like. Obviously, very, very hard to get your paws on unless you want to order from, some questionable third-party sources. But, yeah, pretty great. These are this is what my line infantry look like. Granted, mine have, like, a really big red paint scheme, so it's very, very different. Yeah. Do you think CA will ever make another Total War Arena? I don't think so. Lone Sparrow. It didn't work out for them, so they're probably not going to dabble in that. They're just going to be sticking to their bread and butter, I think. Yeah, thank you for the donation. And T-Rex push-ups. Cast your goblin, see them play before you and hear the lamentation of the defeated. Are you playing some Commander? Yeah. Hey, T-Rex, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Yeah, that was one thing I was kind of like really appreciating about the Lord of the Rings minis is that when I try to get into painting Age of Sigmar, I'm not the most patient painter. So the simplicity of the Middle Earth minis is really actually quite nice. Like, I can paint a fighting Uruk-hai. Let me show you guys for example. So we're gonna go to Isengard here. There we go, and there it is, perfect. So I can paint like one of these fighting Uruk-hai warriors. Let me just find like the baseline ones. Okay, these are the demolition teams. These guys. So from like start to finish, like one of these guys is going to be done in like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something. Well, it depends because you got to wait for the washes to dry. But these guys, you just spray paint them silver. You know, you dry brush them with like some edge highlight, like a Stormhost. Then you just do the flesh and like a couple little pieces of leather and it's done and it looks pretty great, right? Like the Age of Sigmar models take a long time to paint. Granted, there's a lot of detail on those bad boys. There's a whole bunch of detail. Let me see here. Caradon Overlords, for example. And you can see, like, there's so many little straps and, like, satchel bags and just so much detail on these guys. Which some people prefer, mind you, which I think is cool. Like, if you're into that, that's great. For me, I like the more simple models. Just old and crusty, you know? I'm trying to make Warhammer Wood Elves themed deck for Commander. Who would you make as the Commander? Ooh, okay. So if we're making a Warhammer themed Wood Elf deck... Okay, so this is a great website for that as well. And let me just make sure that they're not waiting on me or anything. Okay, let's see here. Okay, cool. So talking to the players here, we're going to do this game. So yeah, it'll be getting started in a moment. Don't worry, guys. One player just forgot to install the map pack or something, and the troll toll is being paid. So this website is really good. If you guys are new to, it's called EDHRE. It's where most people do their Commander decks. So if you were trying to do an Elven themed deck, you'd probably want to do mono green, but you can go to Commanders, not sets, yeah, themes, and then Elves. Yeah, so these are the most popular Elf Commanders. Yeah, honestly, you could do... I'm trying to think, like, if you wanted to have, like, Orion as your lord, you probably want to go mono green, right? Yeah, there's tricky choices. You could always, like, just proxy Eldamari. He's kind of got some Orion energy. He's a little bit stronger on the combat scale. You may cast creatures from the top of your library. That's very much like a Wild Rider, like a Wood Elf ambush thing, right? Eldamari, yeah, how do you say his name? That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, again, this website's really good. If you're getting into Commander, you can just go look at Commanders of any colors and see, you know, if I wanted to go to mono black, right? So the deck that I play in Commander is Braids, the Arisen Nightmare. This is my favorite deck. And you can go and look at, like, the high synergy cards and see, like, it's so good for deck building. It's so good. And you could just, like, you know, if you're building a budget deck, you just look through the singles that are the most recommended and you just buy those for, like, 50 cents, 79 cents for the Dreadhorde Invasion, whatever. And you get all those guys going. It's a really, really good resource. It's quite great. Yeah, it's fun, man. Good morning from Western Australia. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Come and play CDH. So, CDH doesn't call to me too much. My thing about CDH, which I maybe... The whole culture of like offering draws, I really dislike that in CDH. I think that's kind of lame for me. It's just my personal opinion. I understand why they do it in tournaments and stuff. Yeah, but it could be a fun format. It could be. I'd be interested to kind of experiment and see what we could do. All right, so how are we looking for our boy here? Is he finding his way downtown? We're still with the Penguin. I'm not playing today. We're casting now. Okay, and someone take you in case, make people wait. Really don't know what happened. I played the case. Fine. It's fine. We don't mind waiting. We're just hanging out, shooting the shit a little bit. CDH is pay to win. Well, yeah, to play CDH, I assume you have to proxy pretty hard, which is fine. But I assume you have to because so many of the staples are just old school. Yeah, Illusionist. If I was running a CDH tournament, I would probably just ban draws. I would say you cannot accept draws. You'd have to put some rigid rules in place for regarding like scooping and things like that. But have to be at sorcery speed, so you can only scoop during your turn. Whatever. That would just be how I would run it myself. Yeah. You can do it. Put your back into it. Okay, so for Poland should be ready soon. He says he doesn't have good download speed, so he's battling the dreaded map pack here. Yeah, welcome guys. CEDH cannot exist without proxies. Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, have you guys seen the price of like dual lands and stuff? I mean, it's pretty nuts. Like if we go here, let's see. So Bayou. So Bayou is yeah. Oh my god. Like the mana base for CDH is like, especially if you're going to be running like a multicolored deck. Yeah, look at that. $476. Man, oh man. Yeah, Bayou not tournament legal? What? Yeah, it's pretty nutty. Oh my god, look at this. The beta one is $3,000. Let's see what the Black Lotus is at. Do they even have one on here? Black Lotus. Hold on. I don't think they have a real one, right? No, they have the collector's edition one. They have the 30th and retro frame, something like that. Hey, Richard Words, thank you for the 50. How's everyone? Keep up the great work and making things fun. Did you get the Streamlabs as well? Let me go double check that, boss. Let me go double check that. I don't have the notifications up and I'm looking at different things. So let me just check that real quick. Richard, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And let me check, brother. Curse the Baggins. You got to buy you for just under $200. Nice. Richard, I did get that. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. It did come through. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope your little goblin box is holding strong from the years past. And wow, he's still not here. Jeez Louise. How's it going, G? This poor guy. Well, at the very least, we're going to be the last people to finish. Well, yeah, so one guy is having massive issues. Holy shit. Yeah, he's got really slow internet. Okay, no problem. He's at 83%. We'll be starting soon. Don't worry, guys. A friend of yours has a full set of Power 9, including the Moxes and a Lotus. Damn, dude. You could like put a down payment on a house with that. Richard saying, I stick to Magic the Gathering Arena. I do want to make a Slimer Ghostbusters commander deck. That would be fun. Who are you going to call? Yeah. Just so you can say the who you going to call line every time you whip out the deck. It's in your law office, client to see. That's great, Richard. That's great, man. I like casual commander. What my favorite commander is high-powered casual. So like the like tier 4, like not CEDH, but that like threshold right before CEDH, with like high-powered casual decks that have like battle cruiser commanders and like things like that, but with really, really good cards in the deck and a lot of game changers. Bracket 4, yeah. That's what they call it, bracket 4? Okay, that's my favorite. Braids is, if you guys want to see, we have a little bit more time to kill. This poor guy is trying to get his map pack reinstalled, so. I love running the most evil cards. So this is one of my most forbidden cards I love to run. Let me show you guys real quick. Contamination. If you guys want to make your friends salty, you play mono black, okay? and then you run this card. This is Contamination. It's one of my favorite cards. So basically what it does is, at the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice a creature, okay? So that's very easy in mono black. You run like Bitter Blossom, you run, any of those kind of cards. Whenever a land is tapped for mana, it produces a swamp instead of its normal type of mana, okay? It is so funny. So basically, all of your opponent's lands only produce swamps. So if your homies are not playing like black, they're just locked out of the game. They just cannot play. It's so funny. I mean, obviously, if they can kill your creatures, then and you're not able to pay the upkeep costs, you lose Contamination. And there are ways around this, right? So if they have like mana rocks, if they have like chromatic lanterns or like signets, they can get around this. It's not like a brutal one. And then the other one is Eternal Darkness. So you run this, you run Eternal Darkness, which is, let me see if I can find this. It's called, isn't it Eternal Darkness? There it is. Okay, I just spelled it wrong. I think it's around here somewhere. Darkness, do I not have that? Should be around here somewhere. Not Darkness. Is that what it's called? It's from Ice Age. It has like a cat thing on the front. That is, I can't figure. Oh yeah, Infernal Darkness is what it's called. Okay, so this thing does the same thing. Instead of sacrificing a creature, though, you pay a cumulative upkeep of one swamp and 1 life. All mana producing lands produce swamp instead of their normal mana. It is so funny. I love this shit. So I run this. I run Contaminate. Smokestack is one of my favorite cards too. I'm a very sadistic Magic player. So I love this card. During your upkeep, you put a soot counter on Smokestack. You may. During each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter. So like you have all these like little mono black token generator creatures and enchantments, and they don't, right? So they're sacrificing like good permanents every turn. This card is just so evil. I love it. And this is one of my all-time favorites. It's Death Cloud, I think is what it's called. Yeah, this card is so glorious. Each player loses X life, then discards X cards, sacrifices X creatures, and then sacrifices X lands. It is so evil. It is so evil, dude. I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so much fun. Yeah, what else do we run in Braids? We run like Winter Orb. Oh, man. So Winter Orb is really annoying, this card. But, yeah, so players can only untap 1 land per turn. Oh, what's the other card? Oh, what is it? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's Winter. It's like a Winter Orb, but for non-basic lands. I can't remember what it is. Okay, well, anyways. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that little foray into that evil. Also, Turin, hey, it's so hard to find people to play with. That's not true. No, I have 1 evil deck, but I have like 2 casual decks too. I have like a Golem deck and I have a life gain deck with Karlov. I don't always play degenerate decks. That's just like if other people are playing high-powered decks, that's the deck I bring out, right? It's just that thing. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's good times indeed. Winter Moon. Yeah, Winter Moon. Thank you. This card is freaking great, too. It's so good. If you're playing any sort of a monocolor deck, this should be a staple. Like an absolute staple here. Let me show you guys here. So players cannot untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step. So if you go around the table for 1 turn, and they are all playing their cards, and then you drop this, and you're just playing like a mono black deck or whatever, it's just like, it just karate chops them basically. It's so brutal. Yeah, I love those kind of control effects. Tegrid, I run Tegrid in my mono black deck, but not as my commander. Because if you run Tegrid as your commander, you get hated out a little bit too hard. Yeah, Tegrid gets karate chops. Like everyone sees Tegrid and they just come after you, right? Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to let the host know that we're starting a little bit late. All right. Well, hopefully Homie shows up and we're able to get our match going one of these days. We have a group of friends that play tabletop RPGs and Magic the Gathering board games all together. I'm so jealous, man. I'm so jealous. Where I live, we don't unfortunately have that culture too much. Hey, Stuka, thank you for resubscribing. And speaking of, I love seeing all the prices of my Urza fetch lands I sold years ago explode. Yeah, it's just pain, dude. That's definitely a millennial pain as well. Like the whole Bitcoin thing. I remember being in college in like 2009, 2010, whenever it was, when like people first started talking about Bitcoins. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, you could buy a pizza with one or whatever. Hindsight is a power. It's a hell of a thing, man. It's a hell of a thing. Yeah. So first match is going to be Bretonia. Oh, he made it. Look at that. All right. So I think this is here. Perfect. Okay. So I guess Grombrindle's going to play a match here for fun. He's going to do one on stream. He wants to get in there. So this is going to be a round 1 duel. We have Grombrindle versus Plague Penguin. Okay, so we have a match. One of the players had tech issues. Sorry about that, guys. So a little bit of a delay. It's kind of a curse lately. I feel like a lot of our tournaments have been taking a while to get started because of the because of tech issues. Yeah, it's funny. I remember the Total Biscuit Casted Starcraft match with Naniwa and Scarlet. I think it was like 7 Bitcoins. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, Total Biscuit was quite a bit of fun to watch back in the day, if I remember correctly. I used to watch a lot of Day 9, HD StarCraft, Husky StarCraft. I was, you know, Grubby was around, I think shortly. Grubby was pretty active in like the 2012s and 13s, if I remember correctly. I have like memories of watching him a little bit towards the end of college. Magic is a minefield for pricing, it is. Yeah, we got High Elves versus Bretonia here in game 1. So they're going to be getting started in a moment, and then we'll go to the next round. And we will indeed. Very cool, man. Yeah, time flies, man. It's wild. Grubby quit in Heart of the Swarm because they didn't fix Zerg. They made them worse. Now, I also quit during Heart of the Swarm, Spalder. I played Wings of Liberty a lot. I was a pretty high level Terran and Protoss player, and then I stopped playing when the expansion came out just because I was too unga bunga. I think at that point I had already switched to League of Legends. Yeah, I was playing a lot when like League of Legends first came out. Me and the homies after college were playing a ton. It's a totally different game now. I went back and tried to play League recently, and I was like, everything's so different. I mean, obviously that was like 12 years ago, so of course it's going to be different. But yeah. All right, High Elves versus Bretonia here, and we're going to see what's cooking. Hopefully the ice guys can do it, and we'll see. Yeah, early League of Legends was really fun. Do you guys remember how potato the models were? Like now the models for League of Legends are like insanely good, but like back in the day, you had these like absolute potato. Like, do you remember Master Yi? How big his feet were? Like the original Master Yi model. Oh my god. Master Yi original model. He had like giant pizza feet. Hang on, let me find it. Is this it? Yeah, look. Okay. I was able to find it. Look at those. Look at the feet on this guy. I think this is the original one. It's a little bit hard to tell, but yeah, he had like huge pizza feet. Yeah. That was pretty funny, the pizza slices, yeah. Hey, Carl, thank you for resubscribing as well, boss. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully you guys are ready for a little bit of sweaty tournament action here today. And looks like the High Elves are ready. And Bretonia here going to be getting ready to go as well. Weren't they originally barely better than the old Warcraft? Oh, yeah, the early League of Legends models were very much like Warcraft 3. They had very similar proportions and... you know, number of pixels and whatnot. Scion's model was really bad. Oh my god. I think Urgot original model was pretty terrible too, if I remember correctly. Was that the original one? I think this was the original Urgot. I can't remember. Crab, yeah, he had like a crab one. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Heroes of New Earth. I never played that one. I had heard some good things about it, though. It was a big... Karthus was so fun back in the day. Did you ever get a pentakill popping his ult? Like, you have like a big team fight and everybody gets away, and then you pop his ult and get a pentakill. That was pretty erect. I was a Darius main. Darius was my favorite. Just getting, like, fat battle axe. And back when Darius first came out, by the way, he didn't have a his ult would permanently refresh when you slam dunked people. So you could just like snowball so hard with Darius. Darius was one of the most punishing lane characters in the game when he first came out. Super fun. I'm like just a mouth breather though. I like Garen. I like Darius. I like all these unga bunga just like brute characters that require like barely any skill to play. So just sign me up for those guys. Oh, Teemo. Yeah, Teemo was very troll as well. Yeah, it's very troll. Currently slamming ranked while watching. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. All right, guys. So next few months are going to be fun. You know, I'm hoping we'll have some updates for Total War. But something else I'm very excited for is going to be the Olden Era. So the frickin' Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Olden Era. If that game is good, man, we're going to go so hard in the paint on that. I'm so excited. I'm a caveman for sure. Yeah, I'm very much a caveman in gaming. Yeah, but that game has potential. Hopefully they don't fumble it. They brought back so obviously one of the best parts about Heroes of Might and Magic 3 soundtrack. Has one of the best soundtracks of all time. Very nostalgic, very fun. And they are bringing back the same composer to do the soundtrack who did Heroes of Might and Magic 3 for the Olden Era. So I'm hoping at least it will have that nostalgic feel as well. Don't put that evil on us, Balder. We have to hope. We have to hope. Yeah, I mean, a lot of games nowadays just like mobile gaming. Unfortunately, it's just kind of the situation we're in. I mean, even League of Legends looks like a mobile game to an extent, right? But it's still one of the most popular games in the world. I hope it's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Welcome to our round one Duel of Fates here today. It is going to be the High Elves led by Grombrindle, and he's going to be facing off against Plague Penguin's Bretonnia. So his battle line is going to be Silverins, probably? Nope, just Basic Spearmen with one Silverin, and they're okay. You know, Basic Spearmen can hold back Bretonian infantry for a long time. And they do, of course, have decent utility against cap units, so I don't hate that. In the back, we do have the Sisters of Avalor now, a little bit hard to protect against Bretonnia. But they can put some big hurt down on cavalry and or peasants. White Lines of Crace are a good generalist unit for sure. These guys can get in. They can fight cavalry units. They can fight infantry units. You know, great weapon units often are kind of like a Walmart halberd in a way too. So just not going to be super good against monsters in that situation. We have the Fireborn who are going to be riding with Imrik. So we have Horserick, and Horserick is going to be here with his Vuvuzela. So he does have his horn ability, as well as his Dragonlance and a Lifecaster. So if you're going to be going for, you know, Imrik and Fireborn and all these expensive units, you really want to make sure you have the healing, right? So looking at the armies of Plague Penguin, it is going to be Alberic de Bordelot, Damsel of Life with a little bit of healing because Alberic needs healing, Grail Knights in the bushes. And what's so chad about Plague Penguin is that he plays Bretonnia with elite cavalry. Like, he uses the Grail Knights and the Grail Guardians and wins tournaments. As a matter of fact, I think the last tournament I did cast, he won with Bretonnia and was using Grail Knights in the final. So Grail Knights are Terminators for sure. I mean, perfect vigor, freaking ward save of 15%. They do magic damage, have anti-large. They'll, in theory, trade pretty well in the Fireborn with some healing. Knights of the Realm, Peasant Archers, and the Blessed Trebuchet is going to be out. So they're going to be launching some Blessed Boulders over here at the Pure Main Company. Pure Main Company has lost 2 models so far, and here comes another boulder right there. Kaboom! Able to bonk some of the Pure Main Company boys, and the boulders do continue, ladies and gentlemen. On the backside, the Fireborn going to be charging forward, going after the Knights of the Realm, and the Knights of the Realm going to be committing to the fight. So that's going to be a disastrous fight for the Knights. Obviously, they're going to get folded up by the Fireborn. Fireborn are very, very elite, but if Alberic is able to move in, oh, the Grail Knights are coming around the backside as well. We do see the peasants coming in with their shovels, and the Grail Knights are going to be flanking in to help out the homies. So suddenly what, you know, started off as a bad fight for Bretonnia is going to become a very good one for them, as the Fireborn are going to get hammered on the flank. Although the Sisters of Avalorn are putting some good supporting fire down as well, a little bit of AP damage, but Alberic is such a game changer here, guys. He's on his Griffin, he's giving anti-large to all the Grail Knights and Grail Knights of the Realm, or more anti-large, I should say. Archer Fire is still doing good work, and on the backside, Silver Helms are going to be coming in to try and salvage the position, but the Grail Knights are now retreating back, having only lost 6 models. That's not bad. So they're going to fall back while the peasants continue fighting here, and Alberic does eat a lot of firepower. So Alberic lost about 30-40% of his HP right there, and now probably going to be needing to use his Trident ability. So does he have the Trident of Manon? He does, or the Wrath of Manon here. So he's probably going to use this on to the Sisters of Avalorn, who are now eating firepower from Peasant Archers. So what you want to do if you're Grombrindle is pull back, and that's exactly what he's doing, and use their 180 range to outrange the Peasant Archers, because there's no reason you should be getting shot here, that's for sure. Back in the main fight, we do get the Grail Knights and Peasant Mobs. Nope, Grail Knights did pull back, but Peasant Mobs are tar pitting, and they got their pitchforks out for the lady. And look, you know, a number of bodies here. They might be able to get through these guys eventually. You know, they got their pitchforks and their rakes and their hoes, and they're certainly living their best life there. Objective number 2 is going to be owned by Hiles, but flipping to Bretonia. Bretonia is going to be controlling objective number 3 down here, so looking kind of safe. Lothar and Seaguard going to be maneuvering to maybe threaten objective 3. We'll have to see. And on the flank, Grail Knights are going to be farming. So this is a big problem for the High Elves, guys. Now that we have seen the Grail Knights dominate the Fireborn in that combined arms fight over here, we're going to be seeing the Grail Knights probably feast on a multitude of units. They're going to be just rampaging in the backfield, causing a lot of havoc here. And yeah, that is some punishment. As Alberic, the Duke of Borderlow, going to be landing, and he's going to be ripping it up. Quest Knights also coming around the flank as well, looking very, very epic as they do it. And the push continues as the High Elf Cavalry start to fold, and we do see Plague Penguin pulling ahead by about 1,000 value right here. And the Elves are definitely in a losing position, because what's going to happen now is the Knights of Bretonia, they will be your shield, and they are going to be moving through and getting a beautiful charge into the backfield most likely. Although, no, Descending Men-at-Arms going to be using them to hammer the infantry down. So Pure Main Company going to get lanced by these Grail Knights. And it is so freaking cool to see, you know, high-level players making Bretonia work, right? It really takes a lot of familiarity with the faction. Certainly not easy to do, but when it happens, man, oh man, it's very, very fun. All right, guys, Alberic is attacking in after Imric, and he is a big anti-large monstrous creature versus a Horse Lord. And there's a couple Horse Lords in the game that can fight against big monstrous creatures, like Archaon is one of them. Archaon has like 7,000 HP on his horse, and can, definitely beat down characters like Alberic and Karl Franz in like a straight-up duel. But Imric on horse probably isn't going to be one of them. Yes, he is a good fighter, although maybe with all of his items he could do a little bit of something. But he is shaken right now and actually terrified. Meanwhile, Bretonia going to be starting to press on the outside objective here, and we do see it owned by High Elves, so probably not for long, as the Questing Knights going to make their way in, look for a charge here. And on the outside, what is this? Men-at-Arms fighting it out versus White Lions of Crace and Lothar and Seaguard. Value is massively favoring Bretonia, though. Look at that, 7,000 for Bretonia right now. Alberic is just going to keep cycle charging Imric until he's karate chopped, and Imric is also trapped amongst Grail Knights. So if you look down here, there's a lot of Bretonian Grail Knights who are attacking Imric and keeping him pinned in. And now Imric's going to be getting attacked. 691 right now, and yeah, he's broken and stirred. And with that, we're probably going to be seeing a victory in this game for the lady. What a great match. Knights of the Realm going to be coming around the outside while the Peasant Archers continue shooting in. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have objective number 2 here going to Bretonia. Although the Elves are playing the objectives well, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Lothar and Seaguard here will be able to fend off the Knights of the Realm. Bretonia probably going to make a move up towards objective 1. It's a little bit easier, and we do see Imric actually being killed over here, taken down by Alberic. And objective 1 is being contested, but it's only a matter of time until Bretonia gets this. When the cavalry rotate over here, and wherever Alberic goes, he's going to be able to butter that bread and really, really get it done. Speaking of, by the way, bread. For my birthday, I got a bread maker, and holy shit, it is so much fun. It's because the one thing about making bread that never appealed to me was like kneading the dough, but it actually kneads the dough for you, and then you can just kind of cook it up or bake it however you like, which is so fun. Highly recommend it if you're closing in on 40, looking to have a I wouldn't call it a midlife crisis, but it's something. It's quite a bit of fun. All right, so. Advancing out of the woods, it is going to be Knights of the Realm. They will not be able to probably defeat the White Lions of Crace. But here, Knights of the Realm trading into the Silver Helms. Knights of the Realm should be favored in that trade. Granted, it looks like they were a little bit injured going into that fight. And Alberic and Bretonia slowly taking over Objective 1. The fighting Men-at-Arms of Bretonia there are able to push back the Spearmen. So the High Elves, leaderless and broken, are going to be running to the hills. And Canels is going to be winning it. GG, well played. Bretonia showing that they got teeth. That is for sure. 2,200 right there. Archers did fine. Grail Knights were Giga Chads. 2,800 value on the Grail Knights. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So the Elven build is very elite. They went elite and then they lost the important fights with their elite units. Obviously, the game is going to be cascading out of control very quickly, right? And that's going to be all she wrote. Okay, guys. Let's freaking get it. We're going to get to round 2 here in a minute. The next round of the tournament should be starting relatively soon. As we take a look here at the tournament website, should be ready to advance. Should be ready. So we're going to advance this and check and see what is going on. Turin gestures at a bread maker. Is this a midlife crisis? Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're in round 2. So we're going to do... We can do... Who do we want to do? Charix versus Pizu could be fun. We'll do Tom versus Winterwind. I think that'll be A-okay. Okay, Tom versus Winter Wind. Lobby code, please. All right, so we're going to get into our next match here in just a moment. No, but you know one of the best parts about the bread maker is, yeah, it's the smell of fresh bread in your house. Like if you're making like a good sourdough or like a French roll or something, like having that and or the smell of coffee in your house it's a big game changer. It really is super nice. All right, let's see what we got. I'm just looking for the lobbies. One of them should be coming up soon. Let me message Winter Wind here and get the lobby code. Winter Wind, lobby code, please. Okay, cool beans. So we're going to be on our way, and we're going to join this. Need a spec slot. Yeah. Okay. We're going to get the spec slot there. We're going to jump out of this. I don't know if anybody's playing Ogres. Have I tried making Irish bread? That's pretty funny, Urgot. That's a good dad joke right there. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Okay, so let's go to Winter Wind's lobby. We're going to spectate this one. 5 rounds today, plus semifinals and grand finals. Very standard stuff. Demons of Chaos versus Wood Elves. So this should be fun. Now, this one is massively Wood Elf favored, like massive. Because they have so much cost-effective magic damage. They're just really excellent at punishing demons. But what's going to be cool about this is seeing any innovations from Winter Wind to try and deal with that, right? In the old days, freshly baked bread was seen as unhealthy. Stale bread was the way to go, really? Is that actually true? The old world mod update for Bannerlord is looking cool. They even got the Dowie models in their blog. I'm really excited for that. When they add the dwarves and the greenskins in, I for sure will do another playthrough. Yeah. Almonds and cinnamon, that sounds pretty good. Yeah. Just had a D&D campaign permanently collapse and I will cope and watch Warhammer. Yeah, it's very common, Pepper. That's been one of the things that has been my main experiences with D&D is that it's really, you know, for the first couple playthroughs of a D&D session, unless you have a really committed play group, it's very easy for people to lose interest and stop showing up. And it happened to me myself. You know, I played D&D for an episode or two, and then I just kind of like, you know, I'm not having so much fun with this anymore. But, you know, again, that's just me. No, French do make very good bread, for sure. Yeah, the bread maker is... I'll show you guys the one. I think I can... So it's just like a cheap one, but it does a pretty good job, honestly. My mom got it for me for my birthday. Is this it? Yeah, this is it here. Okay. Okay, let me show you guys here. Yeah, this one right here. So it's really simple. Yeah, so you basically just put the ingredients into this like bread maker bowl thing inside the thing, and it you put the wet ingredients down first. So you put like the water and the eggs and different things like that, and then you put the flour and whatever else you want to put in next, the dry ingredients, and then you put the yeast on the top, right? And then it just like between 2 to 4 hours, it's gonna be able to come up with like a really good bread roll. Actually, I was shocked. Like I thought personally when I was first doing it, I was like, this shit is not gonna be edible. Yeah, here you go. Here's a good example. So that's kind of what the bread roll looks like when it comes out. And I really, really didn't think it was going to be edible, but it actually was, and it was quite good. I was like, damn, we actually made some... I know the next round has started. We're in a lobby waiting right now. Yeah, we're just waiting. Any plans? Dude, we're going to cover the hell out of the Dawn of War 1 remake. Are you kidding me? We're going to be all over that. Yeah. Konjin says, hey, you got me into Age of the Ring last stream. I'm having an absolute blast with the game. It is so freaking good. I'm surprised it's more popular. Not more popular, but it's really fun. What is that stuff in the bread? Oh, I think they just had some, like, you know, nuts or... I have no idea. Yeah. Right. Well, they probably made a cake there, Raziel. You can make cakes in this thing, too. So you can make cakes, you can make bread loaves, you can make pastries. Like, it makes all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's probably cranberries. Just resist the urge to cut it while it's still hot. You can't do it, dude. You got to do it right away. All right, so what else versus Demons of Chaos? Battle should be loading. We're going to be on Bordello Landing, so very simple here. And yeah, should be good. Should be good. Just drops of blood and tears. Doubled Exalted Flamer or bust here. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Maybe you could try like a really weird build using the heavy demonic cavalry, like the Skull Crusher guys, or whatever the hell they're called. Blood Crusher, Skull Crusher, I can't remember which one's which. But they do have some armor, so it gives you a little bit of armor against the elves. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Dawn of War Definitive Edition is working with the Unification mod team to have it compatible out of the box. So variety. Oh, that sounds really fun. Yeah, I do want to do some tournaments for that. It's going to be great fun. All right, guys. Wow, look at the Demon Army. It's going to be Mass Nurglings, Mass Blues, backed up by Khorne Furies and Herald of Slaanesh. And then the Elven Army is going to be Deepwood Scouts, which are just such a hard counter against demons. They fire double arrows, which deal magic damage. They just wreck demons. It's brutal. Yeah, so good times. Good times. William in chat saying, I used to make bread for my job. Good to know I already have a line for my midlife crisis. Yeah, you got it out of the way. You got it out of the way. The dreaded Zoats. Yeah, Zoats have been making a bit of a comeback as well. We've been seeing them in a lot of builds. Against demons, I mean, magic damage, they're going to be good against like Fleshhounds and any big demonic characters, right? Potentially. But yeah, the Demon Army is going to be just throwing a lot of bodies forward. It has Nurglings backed up by Blues, and then Furies to try and kill the Archers. Easier said than done. Wood Elves are very good at protecting their Archers with using the Wild Riders and the Glade Riders, so we'll see how that goes. And on the outside here, it is going to be Heralds of Slaanesh. And the Heralds of Slaanesh is going to be using Shadow. So Pit of Shades is not bad. And then Melkoth is a very good spell. And this character is able to summon Furies. So that's really the epicenter of this. And it's a really fast character at 100 movement speed. So probably, honestly, you just hide it behind things, like behind the pillar, like behind the trees, and you just cast your spells kind of safely. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, this matchup is probably like a 70-30 matchup for the Wood Elves, I would say. But that's what's interesting about these tournaments is kind of seeing what schemes people can cook up, right? And for the Elven Army, let me explain why they're so good. Deepwood Scouts with the Swift Shiver Shards. They have really, really good missile strength at 33, and they do magic damage. So all the demon units, their durability is really tied into their physical resist that they do have. So anything that can do magic damage against them is brutal, right? And then also the Wood Elves have extremely cost-effective anti-light magic damage infantry. So Dryads are just so effective against demon infantry. On the outside here, it is going to be a Spellweaver of high magic. So we do have Tempest to lock down flying units, which is not bad. That's going to be really good at killing Furies. And we got Zoats coming out of the bushes as well here with Eternal Guard in the back line there. And that is it. So what is the most lopsided matchup in the current meta? Honestly, it could be this one, or it could be Skaven versus Dwarves. Skaven wreck Dwarves really, really badly. It's not as bad in Domination mode as it used to be in like the Forbidden Days of Land Battle, but yeah, it's Dwarves really have a hard time with Skaven, but this matchup is really cursed as well. This one might be one of the worst matchups too. But it's not unwinnable. That's the cool thing about Total War is despite some really like lopsided matchups, you can still innovate because the rosters are so big that you can come up with some schemes. All right, so the Demon's going to be advancing and the Deepwood Scouts are going to be getting set up for Tom here. Tom probably going to be shooting into the Nurglings, and does he want to, or is he just watching the Furies? Yeah, he's just watching the Furies here. This caster is going to be hiding near the trees here, making sure that the Furies don't pop out and get there uncontested. So obviously having the big Tempest cast, which is 10 wins magic, is going to be really good against the Fury units. But the Demons do get the double cap right out of the gates. So they are able to get both objectives, which is going to be keeping them on the board. Meanwhile, where the Furies and the trees still just waiting. All right, very, very cool here. Bretonnia versus Dwarves is brutal as well. Yeah, I would say so. I agree with you, William. I think that the Dwarves are very favored against Bretonnia. It's a very hard matchup for them. Between the cannons and the armored infantry and just all the cost-effective great weapons they have and slayers, it's very, very hard for Bretonnia. Yeah, Wood Elves are putting a lot of respect on the name here, and using a Tempest on those Furies out of the gates is a little bit of a misplay in my opinion by Tom. You want to wait for the Furies to be moving in and then get them with the Tempest ability, because from there, you're going to be able to then shoot them down with the Archers. In this case, the Furies are only going to be taking 20% HP damage. That was actually a substantial waste, but it's not the end of the world. So now you can see why Elven Archers are so good against demons. A couple of the Deepwood Scouts, and the Hawkeyes of Jakira. So these guys have a discourage effect. When they shoot you with their arrows, it's negative 16 leadership. So that's really, really cool. And that's going to be getting the demons to disintegrate, right? So right there, we see one demon unit just KO'd. 2 volleys and that thing is in the trash can. Man, that is so cost effective. Granted, it was, 7, 8. That's like 3,000, 4,000 gold worth of archer shooting, obviously. So the next Fury unit going to be getting karate chops. Another portal glyph is going to be activated. Winterwind going for an alpha strike, which is smart, to try and send everything in at once and get the job done. A couple of the pinks are going to be advancing up, Nurglings as well. And here comes the Fury onslaught. So a lot of this game is going to be dependent on how effective the Furies are right now. A little bit of a slow response from Tom and the Wild Riders. The Wild Riders should have popped in there like 5 minutes ago and been charging into the Furies here. And a lot of the archers are actually getting their bread buttered. So the defense of the archers hasn't been super smooth so far. Dryad's going to be moving in, and this is a big problem. The fact that he's been AFK with his Wild Rider unit the entire time is really going to, come back to haunt him here. Zotes are doing good work, though. Zotes are, chewing through these Furies, even though they're anti-large units, not designed to kill infantry units. And now the Wild Rider is going to be coming into the back, as the Pit of Shades is going to be activated by the Demons as well on the Hawkeyes of EDHRE. So honestly, a pretty good initial dive for the Demons of Chaos. That was about as good as it's going to get for you, right? Because normally that doesn't go so well, but here we do see Winterwind ahead on value. And now we got Seekers of Slaanesh coming in, which are going to be pretty good at killing Dryads. They do, of course, have magic damage to circumvent the Dryad's physical resist. Armor piercing will get through the 60 armor of the Dryads, but they're going to be retreating and being very cautious here. So that was actually a really, really good alpha strike there, able to take down most of the archers. Now we see the Hawkeyes of EDHRE getting nailed by a Fascination Army ability. So that's going to be rampaging them and pulling them into the Nurglings here, which is going to be uber cost effective. And I think the Demons of Chaos might have actually just won this game. Winterwind with a very, very good alpha strike, able to punish every single archer unit. Guys, looking around, where are the Deepwood Scouts, right? We got one here, shattered, and basically useless at this point. And the Elven Lord is looking a little bit grim as well. Okay, so the Herald of Slaanesh is nearby. Seekers are going to be trying to go after the Spellweaver. Spellweaver being guarded by the Zotes in the meantime. Seekers getting a really nice charge into the flank against the Wild Riders here with the melt costs. You can see they're able to melt them very, very quickly. Seekers are definitely a very good unit, but much more balanced now than they were on previous versions. Fiends of Slaanesh going to be called in. Fiends are going to be able to beat Wild Riders for sure. They have the debuff on the stats, the Soporific Musk, which is going to be quite good. And now we get a big old charge in there as the Demons engage against the Christmas Cavalry. Now, Wild Riders will trade evenly, not evenly into them, but decently. And you can see, yeah, pretty big bully beatdown here as the Fiends of Slaanesh do massacre those Wild Riders. On the backside, a couple archers have come back in. Looks like those Seekers did get folded and killed. But the Blues and the Nurglings are still holding well. And the Demons of Chaos do have a rock-hard triple cap here in this situation. So very, very impressive alpha strike there. Normally it's a lot harder to do that because you see more Glade Cavalry. The Tempests also were using one of the Tempests early, I think opened up some pressure for the Demons rather than kind of saving it for the alpha strike, although I think he did do one during the alpha strike. Anyway, Seeker's going to be diving into the backfield once again, rear charging where they can. Nurgling's going to be looping around the back, and we don't see any Elven archers right now. We do not. So here comes the Fiends. Fiends are going to be charging into the Race of the Frozen Heart, which is a Dryka summon, I think, right? No, okay, I thought those are the Malevolent Dryads, but no, those are the... I was like, we don't have Dryka in here. We have a Spellweaver of High Magic. Yeah, they're going to get folded up, and this game, I think, is pretty much over. The triple cap, the points are really, really bleeding out right now. We do see the Wood Elves basically having no points on the board, just 195 against 666. And another great Pit of Shades right now. Winterwind doing a great job getting through a very, very difficult matchup here. And, yeah, I think with that build, you probably go Deepwood Scouts, and then you do not go for the Waystalkers. The super elite ones, or the Waywatchers. You don't go for those. Instead, you spend that 1,200 on 2 additional Cav units or an extra Wild Rider with which to protect against the Furies. You basically, if the Wood Elf player just defends the Fury dive effectively, then I think they often win this matchup pretty easily. But yeah, they were able to get some work done there. So here's the Herald in the backfield running about. Blues still getting some very cost-effective fire damage. Now, this is actually really good here because Blues do fire damage and magic damage. So there's 2 things Dryads are weak to. And that's going to be fire damage and magic damage. So really, really good. If you can get that Tzeentchian shooting going, it's quite strong. Fiends of Slaanesh showing why they're an absolute gigachat of a unit. When in the previous patches, we saw Seekers being restricted because they were bugged and broken. Fiends were just dominating a lot of matchups and keeping Slaanesh in the meta, and they're still very good as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. GG, well played. That's going to be a victory for the Demons against the Wood Elves. A very rare victory, mind you. But Winterwind has incredibly good micro. I played against him a couple times. Very, very scrappy, very, very hard to beat. So that is super fun. Yeah, cool build. I mean, the Fury dive worked. It's kind of like if it works, you win. If it doesn't, you kind of lose. All right. Seeker's good. We even had Chariots in the mix, too. That's kind of interesting. And Angels of Decay, which is probably a tech in case Durthu is the pick, and they have like a kind of a Durthu box. So, Blood for the Blood God, to answer your question, these maps are created by the community, and we use them for our tournament scene. Some of them have been integrated by Creative Assembly into the base game, but unfortunately, Quick Battle isn't going to be having all these maps because Creative Assembly just probably doesn't, have the manpower to add them. I don't know. I feel like it'd be an easy win to just take the game files and just transfer them, but yeah, they don't do it. Swift Shiver Shard or Starfire be better in this matchup? Swift Shiver on these guys, yeah, because they do so much more damage. The Starfire Shafts are okay, but you're paying for a lot of armor piercing, and the demons basically have no armor. I mean, demons do have a couple armored units. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's look. Sorry, I forgot to look at value. I got so excited jumping over here. Yeah, so what armor could the demons present on the battlefield? I know you have these guys. They have 100 armor. Skull Crushers have 100 armor. Some of the greater demons, like the Korn's Bloody Fist, and the Golden Griffin does have 90 armor as well. So there are a couple units you can present that have good armor values, but none of your infantry or core units have it. So it's like, it's mainly specialty units. Yeah. Are the maps still exclusive to Steam Workshop? Well, that's where you get them. I'm not sure how to get them with other things. Hey, Blood for the Blood God, thank you for subscribing, man. Is this your first time tuning into one of the tournaments, or you've been around a while? Hope you're having fun. Today is a 5-rounder, so that was round 2. So we have 3 more rounds of standard tournament play, and then we're good to go. Yeah, so we got probably like 5-10 minutes before the next round starts, I would wager. Yeah, let me show you. So you go to the Steam Workshop. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And there it is. Yeah, so here it is in the Steam Workshop, the Total Tavern Tournament Map Pack. So you could download this, play with your homies. It's what pretty much the entire competitive and or casual, multiplayer scene does this as well. But yeah, it's good. It's going to give you access to all these maps for Domination mode, which again is our staple competitive mode here. And yeah, it's pretty easy. You just get on here, you click subscribe, and then when you launch your game, you have your mod launcher. You just make sure it's checked on, and yeah, you gotta get a lot of really, really nice maps. And they've been adding new maps quite often. Our map making community is very passionate, and honestly, without them, the multiplayer community would be very haggard. But we would be playing on Itza and Black Ark still. But yeah, some really, really cool maps. Yeah, it's super fun. All right, there we go. The map mod doesn't work if you have Epic Games. That's something we could look into. We could see if maybe I've never kind of played around with Epic Games or any of that, but I want to see you win the tournament and sit on a pile of skulls. Next time, don't worry. Yeah, I'll happily play some Khorne if that's what you want. Dryads are a very good unit. Is there any reason you stopped using... Yeah, I want to add something like that, Sour Patch, to this mod. So I was thinking about talking to Waka Waka, who's the manager of the Total Tavern Map Pack. He kind of handles all the technical stuff. I was thinking about talking to him and maybe seeing if we can add an updated value tracker and a couple other things like into the map pack, so it's like an all-in-one kind of multiplayer thing. I think that'd be really cool. So we might do that. Yeah. Kind of something that we've had here. Okay, and where are we next? So let's take a look at the tournament, see what's cooking here. And we're going to switch over. So here's our tournament for the day. This is Grombrindle's birthday, by the way. So shout out to our boy. You know Grombrindle. He's the dwarf player. He's been playing in our tournaments for a long time. But it's his birthday today, and he actually hosted 2 tournaments today. He had one this morning, and this is the second afternoon tournament. So yeah, it's coming together. So this is it's done by the columns. So column here, this is round 1, and round 2 is right here. So you can see all the matches being played between the 2 players here. And yeah, that's how it works. Someone should run a throwback tourney with sometime with the only CA maps. Oh god, that's just suffering. The Black Ark maps are like, they're so bare bones, man. Oh my god. Itza is probably the best map that Creative Assembly's ever made. Itza is a really good one. It's just simple and straightforward, and I don't think there's any special rules today. Let's see. So no, everything's kind of standard. Yeah, Doombolt is banned. Aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, maybe like if you got, for those of you guys on Epic Games, if you got access to the raw files from the map pack, maybe you could install them somehow. Obviously, you guys don't have the workshop, so you can't do it that way, but maybe we could work something out where we can give you the raw files and then you could like install them or something. I don't know. I have no idea how to get that going. Throwback tourney, Warhammer 1. Oh, man. Iron Druid, thank you for subscribing on Twitch. I appreciate you, boss. Welcome to the crew. It's not my birthday. My birthday was a week ago, yeah. It was last weekend, yeah. On the Saturday or Sunday or whatever the hell day it was, we had a fun time. Doombolt's really strong, yeah. So Doombolt is, I can show you guys. It's so we're gonna go with Dark Elves. We're gonna do this. There's definitely some cheese you can do. So we're gonna do a Supreme Sorceress with Dark Magic. We're gonna put you on a Dark Pegasus. And then we're just going to put you here. We'll just get like Wulfric on horse or whatever. Chariot's fine. Okay. Okay. You probably only bring one Doombolt, I would imagine. But yeah, we'll show you guys what's cooking with this right now. In a new player tournament I played, my opponent was on Epic Games and managed to get the map pack to work. Okay, so somebody did manage to get it to work. That's cool. Yeah, maybe join our Discord. There's probably, if you talk to some of the map makers and some of the admins, I'm sure they could help you with that. Doombolt seems very strong. Yeah, we're going to get back and test it out. A lot of the tournament hosts have been banning it. I'm still kind of on the fence. Like, I banned it in one of my events and another one just to kind of get a feel for it. But it does seem pretty cheesy, for sure. It's just a lot of damage. How much magic does it cost? Wulfric's coming with a Rage Boner on his chariot. He's hunting here. All right, so how much is overcasting? Overcasting is 14, so we're going to need 28 to do what I want to do here. Okay, so almost there. The Winds of Magic is coming, slowly but surely. Ah, Wulfric's? Dude, how is he so fast? His chariot is fast as hell. Look at this thing, dude. He's like catching my poor Velociraptor. All right, so we're going to do a Doombolt here, and then we're going to do another one here as well. Okay, so double Doombolt. Let's see what this does. That's one. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty broken, right? Oh, man. Yeah, like, that's just, like, I don't know. That seems pretty, like, sucky for the player who's, like, playing with, like, you know, that type of a character. You're just, like, in the trash. Can do this a little bit, right? Oh, Wulfric wants revenge, but he's, like, just straight up breaking from, like, just dying. All right, yeah. Uh-oh, I'm stuck in the air. But yeah, that's like pretty obscene, right? Like in a domination game, you're going to be able to poke and, you know, do some nasty work with that. Yeah, okay, fair. Because that's like, that's just not even that hard to pull off. And here's another Doombolt there, and he's just dead. Like 3 Doombolts and you're able to like kill your opponent's lord. That's like a really good deal. That's a really good deal. And it also, it can miss, yes. It can be dodged, I think, but it's very difficult because it does have a homing mechanic. Let's put him on his horse and see if that changes things, right? And I think we have some like Darkstar Cloak here that we can bring. Yeah, okay, good. So that's going to be giving it as well. Lore accurate dark magic, yeah. Okay. Just checking the round to see how we're doing. Okay, 1 game left to be played, and then we're all good in the neighborhood. I'm going to put you guys in the back. We're going to fast forward Wulfric's. I'm going to see how good it is against the horse, because he was on a chariot. Sometimes chariot characters can get punched in the face a little bit too hard here. So we're just going to chill in the back. Armin's favorite tool, yeah. Yes. All right, so here comes Wulfric on horseback, full Rage Boner. We're going to cast 1 and see like how the targeting is on this. Okay. Yeah, see, that missed, which is good. So you probably would want to get them in combat with you and then use it. So it seems like you are able to maneuver around it a little bit, right? Let's see if you can dodge this one like when he's a little bit closer here. But even if it does hit, it's going to feel pretty bad, you know? Ooh, damn. That's like half health almost. Right? Yeah, that's pretty unchill. Because like losing just half your health from one ability that is like doesn't require any skill. There's no like skill variables to it. It's just like that is overcasted. Let's see what a regular one does. So we're gonna do a regular one here.
Come to me.
Okay, the regular one isn't as bad. It's the overcasted one for 14 Winds of Magic, which is like the wiener punch. Okay, and what is it? 9 WOM to cast that. It's pretty damn cost effective though. Like that's such a good sniping spell. Definitely puts Spirit Leech to shame. Yeah. Alright. Well, there you guys have it. Like, 1 overcasted Doombolt, like, half health to your character. Which, imagine if you had, like, a squishy caster character, right? So if you're playing against, like, let's say you got Homie and you're going to do a Shaman Sorcerer of Death. And like, you know, this is pretty common, right? People often have their wizards on horseback, right? Let's see what it's able to do against like a squishier character. This will be the last test we do, and then we're going to be jumping into the next round here. Round 3, it calls to us. All right, we got round 3, so we will do the Space Pope versus Gondola the Patient. So let's get this. Space Pope. Lobby, please. Spec slot. And Gondola as well. All right, Gondola slot. I'm going to cast your game. Okay. So we're going to test this out real quick against the cheap caster character. Doombolt got buffed in the most recent patch. Yeah, it got buffed a little bit too much, probably. If it's going to do that kind of damage, it needs to cost way more Winds of Magic. Like, if it's going to do as it currently does, it probably should cost like 14 Winds of Magic, and the Overcast should cost close to 20. If you really want to make that fair. Okay, where the hell is this caster? Where's this Harry Potter? Is it just like hiding back here somewhere? I gave him a Shaman Sorcerer, right? There he is. All right, is he on foot or is he on horseback? Okay, so let's see what's cooking here. So we're going to go ahead and do Uno. And we're going to do Dose and see how the tracking on this goes. Oh! Oh, shit. Well, there goes your caster. So in a competitive game, that would have basically just ended the match. Like, losing your wizard, which is such an essential piece in so many matchups. Like, if they have a squishy caster character or anything, it's just like, dude, just like straight into the trash with you, you know? Yeah, that is freaking rough, dude. Oh, man, okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get back. So yeah, that if anybody's wondering why Doombolt is banned, there you go. There's your answer. Okay, so we got Gondola here. Okay. Let's do this. And join that. Cool. Nurgle's perfectly waxed bumhole. I love it. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, let's copy and paste the code over here, and there we have it. Okay. Ah, is it? Here we go. So Wood Elves versus Norska. All right, so we're gonna get another Wood Elf matchup. I think we're all set here. Perfect and perfect. So we got Space Pope here versus the Elves. So for all of you Wood Elf fans, you're getting the double feature right now. You're getting another one. Yeah. It'd be funny if you could missile mirror it. Yeah. We will see. So when are they releasing the Olden Era? The Heroes of Might Magic 3 game. Heroes of Might and Magic. Olden Era Heroes. Yeah, so this is the Olden Era. Coming soon to early access. So the developers of this game intend to release a work in progress developing with feedback and players. The dreaded early access. Okay, when though? I guess it doesn't say. Planned release date 2025. So it is going to be coming out in the next 5 months, right? It has been delayed, you're saying? Yeah? Let's see here. What was an accident? Space Pope, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. Yeah. Man, I hope they do have the city system like this as well. I did see the Chaos Stork minis. Yeah, I like some of them, for sure. I really hope this is good. God, I'd love to go all in on this. Heroes of Might Magic 3 is just one of the best games ever made. And if this is any good, man, let's freaking hope. Okay, so we're going to do this real quick. They're making their builds right now, and Olden Era all factions. I think there's like a wiki page that shows all of them so far. Let me see. Oh my god. Okay. Trying to see where I can find it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find a page that just has it all. Okay, so Wood Elves versus Norska. We're going to have some, hey, Space Pope or Gondola. If either of you guys are listening to the stream, could one of you please change your banner so you're not both green? That would be greatly appreciated. Because as it currently stands, it's going to be a little bit hard to tell your units apart. Yeah, if one of you guys could change. If they don't, then I'll message them before the game starts, but... Are either of them hanging out on stream? Find out today. Yeah, the only faction I don't really care for in the Olden era so far is the Insect one, because I would just rather have my Infernal, but... Yeah, aside from that, it looks pretty good. I'm very pumped for it. Hom 2 will always have the place in my heart. I never played that one. I started playing Hom 3. Yeah, they literally have like the exact same banners. Let me see here. Could you choose a color? All right, I messaged Space Pope. Let's see if he hears us. We will find out. Yeah, the paint scheme for the Chaos Dwarves kind of looked... yeah, okay, good. He changed. Okay, he's orange now. Hell yeah. And we can pull up the new Chaos Dwarf minis. We looked in the beginning of the stream. Helm Smiths of Hashut. Okay, bow down before the Helm Smiths of Hashut. Yeah, there we go. So these are the new Chowie for Age of Sigmar. Some of them could probably be used for fantasy. It's a very different aesthetic, but like this guy honestly would be fine. Although he legit has like a Necron rune blade. You know, which is kind of wild. Yeah, look at that shit. Yeah, and then of course we have the banner carrier, we got the hammer characters, all that good stuff. Here's the artillery pieces. They're not bad, honestly. I think they're fine. This thing is a little bit wonky for me. It's a little bit, you know, hardcore design, but I still think it looks cool. The cannon hands, yeah. Then I really like the characters, though. I really like these characters. Yeah, these guys are rad. Like the Sorcerer Prophet characters look neat. I really like this model. I think the fact that he's got like half of his head turning to stone is very classic Chaos Dwarves. The Bull Centaurs look pretty good too. Like there's a lot of stuff here that if you want to play Chaos Dwarves in Warhammer the Old World, you're going to be able to take from these and just have some pretty cool armies. Yeah, if you paint the army red, I think it'd look a lot better too. Like this paint scheme, I think is kind of sus, as the kids would say. Like I really dislike the paint scheme they displayed the army with, but I think if you just painted them red in classic, like red with bronze and like that classic Chaos Dwarf look, they're going to look way better. Does somebody have the link to the mock-up the guy did where they're painted in red? There was a mock-up on Reddit where somebody like switched the entire army to the actual Chaos Dwarf color scheme, like the red color scheme, and it looks so much better. If somebody has a link to that, can send it to me in Discord, that'd be great. I think they look cool, yeah. The new Taurus model I don't think is... Oh, yeah, and then you have... Yeah, these guys, I don't know. They look like they're using 40k weapons. That's this was my one gripe here. And a beardless dwarf feels a little bit heretical. The fact that they got some beardless dwarves is a little bit weird for me. But it is Age of Sigmar, so it's trying to differentiate itself, right? Yeah, these guys I'm not a huge fan of. These guys are great, though. The new Hobgoblins are awesome. These would be really good for fantasy, honestly. These models are great. I like these guys a lot. The Sorcerer Prophet looks cool. I think he would be fine for fantasy as well. He looks pretty cool. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Holy shit. Is that supposed to be like a runic bull or something? Yeah. They have Gauss rifles, I know. Those guns have big Doom 2 plasma energy. Yeah, I think this faction looks pretty great, though. If I ever do get into Age of Sigmar, for sure we'll be with these guys. But I already have a Chaos Dwarf army for fantasy, so it's like the old school Chaos Dwarf, so probably just keep it that way. Okay, and oh shit, we are in a game. I was getting a little bit carried away there. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of Middle-earth. The old world. Been on Middle-earth a little bit lately. Ah, he didn't limit Arrows of Carnage today. Okay. It is going to be the Wood Elves facing off against Norska with the double Waystalker in the front. Treekin coming out of the trees. Durthu, Optimus Pine is going to be advancing up. And then we do also have some Glade Guard with these Starfire Shafts. Fun stuff. Now, looking at the armies of the Space Pope. Space Pope is going to be here with the Chad Famir Warriors. Now, these guys are pretty good against Elven Infantry, and they do have missile resist as well. So, kind of an interesting tech. Curious to see how they do. We got a Famir Balefiend with fire damage, Wolfric with Lore of Boats up here, which of course was come up with by the great Dob Plays, Marauders, and then we do have the Chaos Dragon on the other side. Okay, it's going to be the Chaos Frost Dragon. Ooh, very scary, guys. Very, very scary. All right. So, the battle is on. Objective 3 is going to be going to Norska. Objective 2 is going to be getting contested here. We do have a couple of Frost Doggies on their way over, and one of the dragons is going to be landing here. And it looks like Gondola is going to get caught slipping. One Glade Rider is going to be taken to the trash can because it is being afflicted by the Frostbite. So we do have the Chilling Aura and Frostbite, so when the dragon gets you, it really, really lowers your speed quite a bit. And we do see big casualties going down in that unit, so that was a nice little grab. But Norska does have the double cap. Wood Elves are going to be advancing up. Wood Elves do very much have like a bit of a Death Star build, right? You have Durthu and these Firebark Elders who are very, very tanky. So you get them together and you have this like raid boss position, which is incredibly tough to deal with, right? So there they go. 57 melee defense. Durthu's going to be waddling over towards the middle objective right now. And Norska going to be pulling back because it makes sense, right? Like you already have the double cap. You don't need to advance up into the arrow fire until you absolutely need to defend your double cap, right? Just stay in a position to win the game and do it to it. All right, so this objective being held onto by Norska, javelins exchanging, but now the archers are getting in range, the Starfire Shaft, so going to be able to force back the Marauder Horsemen most likely. But should be a fun little duel between these players. Optimus Pine is going to be rocking Flock of Doom, so he is going to be dropping it like it's hot. Arrow of Kurnus going after Wulfric and doing some fat damage, and that hurts pretty freaking bad. Most tournaments do have a restriction on Arrows of Kurnus down to 1, but this one does not. It's a very, very good ability. It's incredibly cracked. I think it has how many charges? They have 3 charges in total, which is pretty gross. So basically, it can just kill Wulfric, right? Lower Boat's going down, doing pretty good. If Wulfric were to get engaged in combat or hide behind the trees, it would help a little bit. But now the mainline army is going to be moving in. Norska is going to be getting its Marauders to engage, and the Famir Warriors should actually be kind of good against the Firebark Elders. Nice burning head right there. Going to be cooking 2 archer units a little bit. So one archer unit does get cooked up pretty good, and the other one also going to be paying the iron price. I don't hate that at all. So Glade Guard Starfire Shaft's going to be getting pushed back, and these Glade Guard are also potentially going to be next up on the list for that Fire Sorcerer. So Wulfric is on his way in, the Chaos Dragon landing in the backfield, and the Elves are having a really, really hard time protecting their archers. We do see the archers here paying the Troll Toll, these ones getting compromised, these ones are being pushed back, and that's exactly how Norska is going to be planning on winning this game. So here we do see the old Wulfric, and he is going to be attacking the Waystalkers, which is a good idea. If you can stay on top of them in melee, they're not going to be able to shoot you effectively, etc., etc. So to keep Wulfric alive, he needs to be constantly pressuring into the Waystalkers. One of them does have Hunter of Champions, and Wulfric is actually he's like what I like to call a bully character. He's not good at fighting people as strong as him or stronger, but he's very good at fighting things weaker than him because he has good stats and does have Hunter of Champions. So that one Waystalker is probably going to be dying there. Now, macro look at the battlefield. Berserkers chewing through the objective here. Firebark Elders going to be probably losing this fight. Although the Famir, now there's spears here. There's Eternal Guard. Space Pope needs to get some Marauders in there. The Famir are doing very good considering they're being 2v1 by armor-piercing spears, but Durthu getting breath attacked by the dragon, a bit of a misplay. The breath attack would have been better on the Eternal Guard here, but we do see one Waystalker being broken and potentially killed here by the Hunter of Champions. So Hunter of Champions able to get it done, and the Waystalker, its anime moves will not save it for now. On the outside, the objective was previously owned by Norska, but it looks like the Wood Elves did call in some Dryads on the outside, and the Dryads are able to come in and steal that point. So not bad. Wood Elves potentially in a triple cap. So Norska is about to lose this outside objective, and here belong to the Wood Elves. So that is quite substantial for them. Now back in the middle, the dragon is going to go after the other character. So both of the annoying Waystalkers have been taken out, but not before. Oh no, he's able to rip that shot before he gets killed in the middle. That's so freaking troll. But here comes the dragon. So the dragon is going to be ripping it up on the Waystalker, 900 HP here. Big, scary Chaos Frost Dragon. And yeah, he's doing good work. And with Frostbite, good luck getting away from that thing. Wulfric going to be rotating to the outside with only 1500 HP. He's a little bit weak. And the Marauder Horsemen trading pretty well into the Glade Riders. Surprisingly, normally they would lose such fights, but they're not doing badly. Optimus Pine in the middle, able to really anchor it down. And that's kind of, he's one of those characters like Kugath where wherever he is, you basically just want to ignore it. Like wherever Durthu is, you're just like, I don't want any of this smoke. I'm going to go play the other objectives, right? That's usually how you want to play that man. All right, so Norska able to reclaim its outside objective. The Berserkers and the Famir Warriors doing quite a bit of good work because here's the thing. Famir Warriors do have armor sundering, so when they're able to hit the Treekin here, they will lower their armor down to 60, which is really good for the Marauder and the Berserker units nearby to allow them to get good static DPS against them, right? So Objective 3 goes to Norska. Norska is currently a little bit down in points, but they have some time to work with. And I think Durthu might get put in a position where he's getting ping-ponged. Norska is actually one of the better mobile Chaos factions in the game between the Skin Wolves and the Horsemen and the Frost Wolves. They're incredibly good at bouncing between objectives and then picking you off. I can't tell you how many games I played against Boss Toss where I felt like I was winning, And then, you know, I'm ahead on value, clearly in a winning position on the fight, but then he maneuvers on the points and then starts to pull value back during the maneuvering. It's very tough. So Skinwolves engaging versus Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Wild Hunters of Kurnus normally do win that fight, but they're very tattered right now, so not going to be their favorite situation. Marauder Spearman will be able to hold back Durthu for a time, and the Waystalker in the middle did rally. Does he have any shots of the Arrows of Kurnus? He does not. Flock of Doom activated right there from Optimus Pine in the middle objective. It looks like Norska is going to be able to get this one. And who let the dogs out? So here they come. So the doggies are on their way over. The Atomic Werewolf Pimp Slaps are here. And we do see the Waystalker getting launched into another dimension from the Werewolves, while the middle objective is going to be getting flipped. And you're seeing Durthu struggling now. He's maneuvering between points, having a problem getting and holding, you know, 2 objectives at once, obviously. Here on this point, it is owned by the Wood Elves. And they still do have the Dryads. A lot of Dryad support coming in. Norska able to win this outside objective, and from here I would like to see the Fimir rotate to the middle, probably leave the Berserkers and Marauders, take the Fimir to the middle, because Fimir will be a very hard counter against Dryads. Dryads lack armor piercing to get through their fat 100 plus armor, and they also do magic damage too, which is very nice. Durthu's relatively expensive, between 2,000 and 3,000 gold, depending on how you kit him out and what spells and abilities you bring, so he is an expensive character. Back here, Glade Rider is being taken down by the Condom Wolves, and it does look like the Elite Cavalry also paid the Troll Toll. The Chaos Dragon going to be fighting the Race of the Frozen Heart and doing just fine, but Norska does have the value lead, so Space Pope is up in value, and he is kind of dominating the objective game a little bit now as well. And now we get Ice Wolf Chariots, so apparently these things have been making a bit of a comeback in the meta. Chariots did kind of get buffed in the last patch. They've been getting buffed periodically over time, and they've been making some play. What's cool about Ice Wolf Chariots is they have Frostbite with their melee attack, so when they kind of run you over, they slow you down, which is really, really nice utility. You can use them as a snaring piece, but they'll also be good against Dryads, right? And Optimus Pine just kind of waddling around. You know, he's been having a problem anchoring it down. If you're going to be playing Durthu, it's kind of the general strategy is to just hold on to one objective and then slow push the other one. But he's kind of been forced to play 3 objectives, and arguably that could have been one of the mistakes we've seen from the Wood Elves this game, is the fact they tried to play all 3 objectives, whereas just anchoring your forces around your big centerpiece, like decisively winning one objective and then slow pushing to the other one while having a really firm hold on this and winning with a double cap. It's a mistake I make all the time when I'm playing like elite armies. I try and play all 3 objectives. I get a little bit greedy. I'm like, oh, I could seal that one easy, but then, you know, your elite army starts to get pulled apart a little bit, you know, which is tough. All right. Overall, Norska does have the double cap yet. No, they do not, but they will in a moment. What else is going to be calling in Cavalry, and that's going to be a Burning Head attempt, and it'll be okay. Yeah, it's going to tickle the pickle of these Dryads, and then it's going to be missing these ones. So a little bit unfortunate there. He got a little impatient, but, you know, I get that. Chariots charging in from the Space Pope, be able to do some great damage. Good Flock of Doom from Gondola the Patient right there. Going to be hitting both of these Horse Masters, while the Marauder Berserkers for sure will win against the Dryads. Fimir are going to be camping that outside point. And Fimir are very raid boss. 110 armor, 52 melee defense, with missile resist of 50 freaking %. I mean, those are really, really meaty units. And I love the inclusion of using those by Space Pope. I think it's a very, very clever one. Yeah, so the Chaos Dragon and Durthu, you know, both very powerful fighters, but the Dragon's maneuverability seems to be providing to be a little bit more valuable here. Currently, we do see the points are getting close to evening out. Space Pope is down on points. Wood Elves do have the point advantage, but they're going to need to get a couple points here. But they are down about 1,200 value, and there are many things the value tracker doesn't track super correctly there. So Berserker's going to have a good time with the Glade Riders. Glade Riders have relatively low armor, so Berserkers can feast. And the Marauder Horsemen, they're not bad fighters on Norska, because the thing about Marauder Horsemen of Norska is they do have the Rage. So the longer they fight in combat, they actually get a little bit of a buff to their melee attack and different things like that. So they can be more formidable fighters than horsemen of other factions. So Optimus Pine is currently sitting at about 2,000 value, which isn't bad. I mean, he's been able to do some work. Does he have the Lamentation of Despair? I don't think he does. So he's not going to be able to snipe this man. You would need throwing axes to effectively kill Durthu. The javelins won't be super effective. And here we get some Frost Doggies coming in, and they're going to get a nice charge against the Dryads. And they're kind of like monstrous units. They're not infantry size, so you know they'll get a nice little trample into the Dryads right there, and might be able to actually clean them off. Optimus Pine is just being outmaneuvered right now, and really, I do think that this game is over. Wood Elves getting a little bit cheeky on the outside, threatening to steal this objective. The Wildwood Rangers coming in with their armor piercing will be okay against Fimir, but Fimir can likely turn around and still put up a really good fight. And if Norska just pulls his Chariots over here, it's going to be shutting down this flanking effort very effectively. So here comes the Chariots. Looking cool, being pulled by little Frost Doggies that were designed literally almost 10 years ago, which is pretty crazy. I think it was like 8 years ago, give or take. But yeah, they move in there, they get rolling, and the Berserkers are fighting hard. That is going to be a Burning Head going down, so really beautiful Burning Head. That's what it's all about right there. Got to be cooking up those freaking infantry units. And yeah, Norska's objective mobility play is just nuts. In the late game, this is what Norska's all about. We're not seeing any Wild Riders being brought out. Wild Riders, of course, would help contest against this, but I think at this point, Gondola is just too far behind, and it's just not going to matter. So, yeah, Durthu and like big monsters. This is like a very wide kind of contested mobility type map. So probably you're right, Durthu's still viable here, though. He is. But overall, the army just kind of got pulled apart a little bit. Very GG. It was a super fun game. 2,200 and good value on the Waystalker characters. Archers did okay, but kind of got shut down really quick. That was also a big part of it. We can talk about mobility as much as we want to, and that being the catalyst for their defeat. But in reality, the Archers being karate chopped like in that first fight was really bad too. So there was a couple things, but it happens, you know. Gondola played a great game. Spaceboat played a great game. Chaos Dragon did good. Famir were actually really, really menacing. Not that they got insane value, but their durability on the point was very good. And it was fun. GG well played, guys. GG well to the played. All right, so let's do this and do that, and let's see how we're looking in the round for today. What's your favorite Gotrek and Felix novel? I like the one where, I forget what the name of it is. I haven't read them in a long time, and I haven't read them all. I've only read like the first couple. But my favorite was the one with the Siege of Prague, where they defend Prague from the Tzeentch warlord guy. Oh, I forget. Is that the Demon Slayer? That might just be Demon Slayer, but that one was very fun. All right. So, how are we looking? Looks good. Got a couple undefeated players in there. And we're going to be going into round 4. The Serpent Queen with the Dwarf Tomb King is great. The Dwarf Tomb King? There's a Dwarf Tomb King? That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'll have to, next time I go out to Poland with my wife for like Christmas or something, I'll bring some of those books out there and get my read on. Yeah, that was a good one. That was the one that had the evil Tzeentch twins. Yes, the Tzeentchian twins were sieging Prague. It's really epic. There's like this big like battle on the walls with the Kislevites fighting off like a horde of demons and beastmen and things like that. Yeah. I think Vampire Slayer is the one I maybe stopped at. I can't remember. There's a lot of books, right? There's a whole bunch. So taking a look at the tourney so far, we are currently going to be getting into the next round in a moment. We do have Scrambled Egg Special undefeated and Daniken Trop, so 2 of the stronger players in the community here. And a fair amount of other contenders sitting at 2 wins. But still, the round has a little bit of time. We got Lemur's Bane versus Martin, Edgardo versus Subutai, Claw and Penguin, Spaceboat and Gondola just finished. For Poland and Imperator, Tom gets a bye round, Charix versus Ricochet, and Eldon versus Chief Warlock. So, yep. Another one just finished there, Chief Warlock, and then this game is also done as well, so they're going to need to report that one. I can check and see what factions we have today, so I will read them off for you. Yes. Hey, Mr. Pig, coming in with the Chad save. All right, so somebody redid the Chaos Dwarf preview. Let me show you here. All right, with like a red color scheme. Shout out to Mr. Pig for hooking it up. And there we go. Okay, so hold on. Let me do this. Yeah, is this it? Okay. It's a little bit of a pixelated picture. Let me make sure it works before we do this. Yeah. Okay, and there we are. One moment. So this looks like, in my opinion, a million times better. Like this scheme, it makes them look like actual Chaos Dwarves. You see you have like a flame kind of effect in the middle instead of like a Necron glow. I really don't like the beardless ones though. That just trips me out. It just feels like heresy, dwarves not having beards. But yeah, and then you get the, look how much better these look. These guys look freaking great, right? Like I really didn't like them before, but these guys look legit. They look cool as hell. Yeah, you got like the Bull Centaur here. You got another Bull Centaur there. Yeah, 1,000% better. I don't. Yeah, he did it digitally, so this is just like a mock-up, obviously. But yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, now you're like, oh shit, those models look pretty cool. Yeah, the beardless dwarves are weird. They trip me out. They trip me out. How do you turn Disorder the Beastmen Army box? So you've chosen the path of suffering, have you? Are Beastmen good now in Old World? I haven't played since the FAQ. My buddy's been busy, who I play with, so. Beardless ones are female. Oh, maybe they are. I don't know, actually. Are those female Chaos Dwarves? Is the beardless ones? I don't think so. Yeah, it could be. Ready. So, let's see if we're ready for round 4. Oh, those are the female ones. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, refresh that. Lady Dwarves. Yeah, maybe they're Lady Dwarves, right? That makes sense. Cool. They should have given them beards still. I wanted to put those Chowie in my Necron army. How dare you? Yeah, that mock-up was a lot better, though. That was a lot better. Beastmen are like mid-tier. Beastmen have some of the most like haggard-looking minis. If you guys want to see the suffering that Beastmen players endure. Like some old world minis look really good, and then some of them are just so haggard. Let me show you guys. So we have the Beastmen. You guys ready for the memes? Okay. What's like the worst one? These Minotaurs are pretty janky for sure. It could be worse though, right? Like it could be worse. They kind of look sort of cool. Dude, what's going on with this pig's eye? Look at that thing, dude. Oh my god. Who would pay $40 for, I mean, I guess some people would, but yeah, it's oh man. Beastmen enjoyers rise up, Giga Chads. Oh man, they're so haggard looking. Yeah, and they're so expensive too. They are. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could look worse. These guys aren't like the worst thing in the world, right? Yeah. Yeah, it could be worse. I'm trying to think of like who has the most haggard line. Wood Elves have some really bad models. You guys want to see some terrible models? Hold on, let me show you guys. Wood Elf realms for the old world. Do they have the Treekin? Oh, look at these monstrosities. These are so bad. Oh my god, look at those models. And $65 for those? Jeez Louise. Talk about a punch in the wiener, huh? What the hell is that? These are the Wood Elf. These are tree men. These are the Treekin. Yeah. Oh my god, and look at the Wood Elf dragon, by the way. You want to see this? Oh my god, look at that thing's head, dude. It's so ridiculous. You need this? There is a certain charm to it, for sure. Like, there is a big element of nostalgia. Oh, these War Dancers are one of the most awful units also. Hey, Salt Mine League, we're looking at Warhammer Fantasy miniatures. Yeah. These are official. No, these are official. Look at these. Look how terrible these models are. It was like those early models when like they always had the swords like against the heads of the model for like sculpting purposes. Oh, man. These are rough. Hey, Wander Whale, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate you. Welcome to the crew. Yeah, these things are an atrocity, though, for sure. The dragon. Yeah, the dragon's cool. It has an old retro charm. Yeah, it's very much like an 80s Warhammer look. Whereas, like, when you look at the Empire has some probably models that look a little bit... That's what I play. I play the Empire. Like, the steam tank looks really good. The artillery looks really good. I mean, none of the models look insanely dated on the Empire. Demogryphs look really good. Like, the General of the Empire looks freaking awesome. This is a great model. It's really good. Yeah. I love the new wizards they did, too. The new wizards for the Empire are really, really good. Like, these are so solid. That Wild Wizard, and then... this is a pretty haggard model. This is one that's rough. The Imperial Ogre. Yeah, he's seen better days. Yeah, he's seen better days for sure. Okay, and now let's see how we're looking here. Are you ready for the next round? Aha, we are. All right. Ooh, we're going to do Subutai versus Charix. Let's get it. All right. Lobby code, please. Good luck, G. Old Metal Skaven. I was on a kick of 80s fantasy movies recently. I rewatched the Conan series in the garage. I was watching Conan the Destroyer the other day, which was fun. It's a fun movies. The sword and sandal, sorcery kind of era. Let's get Charix here. So Charix. Lobby code, please. Thank you. Sword and sorcery, yeah. What is best in life? Yeah, it's so good, man. So good. The Imperial Ogre looks like he files taxes as a hobby. I like that. All right, so let's find this lobby. This is Charx's lobby. Perfect. So let's do this. He always has like a weird password. Yeah, thankfully I remembered it. Let me message Subutai and tell him in Charx's lobby. In Charx lobby. And Charx is going to be playing the Empire. Oh, sweet. So we get the Sons of Sigmar here, which is going to be good. So I need to look up the 3rd edition Chaos Spawn. Okay. So Warhammer Fantasy 3rd edition Chaos Spawn. Let me see. Do you have a link to it? Could you send me a link in Discord and then we can take a look? Yeah, because there's a bunch of different ones popping up. I'm not sure which one I should be looking at. Okay. So we got the Empire for Charx, and Subutai usually plays Undead. So most likely going to be Vampire Counts or something, which is very fun. Yeah, it's got to be fun. The 13th Warrior was a really fun movie. I enjoyed the hell out of that one with Antonio Banderas. The book is by, the book for the 13th Warrior is written by Michael Crichton. It's called EDHRE of the Dead. It's a pretty cool book. But the movie was great fun. I remember watching that when I was a kid and thinking like, damn, this is intense. That scene when they like the mountain tribes come down from the mountains and there's that like line of fire and like then the Vikings and the villagers are like getting ready to defend. They've like set up their ramparts and shit. Those fight scenes were sick. And then when the Viking the leader of the Vikings like goes and fights in the mountains, yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that movie a lot. Yeah, the Fire Snake Eaters of the Dead is a fun book. Yeah, it is. It's a great moment when you realize it's a what if Beowulf actually happened story. Yeah, yeah. Instead of the Grendel, you get those mountain tribes. Have you seen the old horrors of Tzeentch? They look way better than the new ones. I haven't actually. No. Oh, Echo, absolutely, absolutely. Antonio Banderas was great in that role. He was. The book is fun because it's just Beowulf, but written in a more grounded way. Yeah. Let's hope that Valhalla Rising is an interesting one. I watched it. I remember like thinking it was fun, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But it certainly wasn't bad. Yeah, I liked it, but I wasn't like in love with it. Like, holy shit, this is crazy. Doomdrake, just message it to me in Discord. Yeah, message it to me in the old Discord. Okay, how are we looking? And what do we got here? Just waiting for old Subutai to arrive. Let me see here. Messaging him. He's playing during the workday, I think. The classic. Subutai grinds these tournaments usually in between his work, so sometimes he can disappear for a moment. Do you have any mods in Twitch you could drop a link to the Discord channel? If not, I'll take care of it in a minute. It's supposed to examine what an old tribe of Neanderthals would look like, yeah. Are you talking about the 13th Warrior? I think I'm going to rewatch that. We had a pretty fun experience the other night as well. So my wife had never seen Borat before. The original Borat movie from like 2006 or whatever. I think it was 2006. And we watched it the other night. It was just her first time seeing it. I've seen that movie probably 100 times. Like, if you were a millennial in high school or middle school when Borat came out, like, you're never going to forget some elements of that movie. Like, I remember going to school and people just being like, you know, saying all the shit from the movie. Yeah. Oh my god, it was great. It was hilarious. So it's funny. Yeah, she had never seen it. Yeah, we were laughing it up. Okay. Any luck from old man Subutai? Is he here? Hopefully he shows up. I mean, we might as well sit here because we're going to be waiting for the round anyway. So, Charx for Subutai will be fun. I want to see an Empire game. It's like a wizard sleeve, yeah. Oh, man. Every time my friend sat in the chair, King of the Castle. Yeah, he said the King of the Castle bit. I love how his wife in the movie's name is like, what was her name? She he gets like the postcard when he's in New York of like his wife being like mauled by a bear, and he's like celebrating. Oksana was the wife's name, and then they actually get a bear on their travels and they name it Oksana. It's like so funny. Yeah. So Shambler says, I took my religious mother to that Borat in the cinema and so much regret. Oh man, that must have been an experience. Yeah. Sent the models. All right. Thank you, Holy Pilgrim. Let me take a look here real quick. How dare you? Okay, so we're going to have to find a different game because he's going to be dropping. Okay, so let me see if we can get another match. We will do Martinius versus Blood Penguin. Yo. I'll be code if you haven't started. And I would like to do another Bretonian game. It's always fun to see. And we'll do Blood Penguin. Okay, so I'm putting out some feelers right now to see if we can get another match. Worst case, I could just play against Sharks too for like a round. We could have a little business there. We could do Pizu versus Ponticlaw also. Pizu. Lobby code, please. I think he's in his game already. If you haven't started. And I think he may have already started. All right. Subutai's done his dirty. He dropped and I guess wasn't officially dropped from the event. So let's see if Lemur's Bane has done it. Okay. Martinius is also AFK. Strange. Let me know if he does. We're desperately looking for late round substitutions here. We can do a match between Grombrindle. Grombrindle, have you started yet? Have you started yet? If not, I'll cast. All right. So putting out the feelers here to see if we can get any rounds. And I think Subutai said he was dropping, which is fine. Okay, I do see the Chaos Spawn. Holy shit, those things are monstrosities. Okay, we're going to have to share those. Okay, he's here. We got a match. Okay. So let's go get out of here. Charx is going to be getting a dropped opponent there, and then we will cast this. So that's going to be Penguin, Chateau de Roquefort. And then we'll look at those Haggard Chaos Spawn. We'll take a look. Hey, Doomdrake, thank you, man. Wander Whale, thank you for resubscribing. Welcome to the family. All right, so we got Bretonia versus whatever the hell Martin's playing. Okay. Oh, wow. You guys ready for some monstrosities? Here we go. Holy shit, look at those guys. So you got the Chaos Spawn there, and then you have whatever that thing... That thing looks like a scallop. It looks like a seafood scallop with, like, little crab claws. Then you have, like, this snake thing. The Champion of Tzeentch, like, I don't know what the hell this guy is. Holy shit. Then the Champion of Nurgle probably looks the most modern of the bunch, but those are the 3rd edition Chaos Spawn. So that would have been, like, in the 90s, right? Like, maybe even sooner, I'm not sure. Or earlier. Hey, Assyrian, it's going well, man. Yeah, we're playing some Total War today. The Chaos Spawn is a lasagna. It's a lasagna with claws. Shit, Oscuro still got it, baby. Always, always. Thank you. Okay, so let me see what other ones we have here. And then here's the OG pink horrors and stuff. So you got these here. Yeah, the pink horror, the Flamer of Tzeentch, the Disc Rider. Oh man, those models are something else. Let me see if there's any other funky ones here. Yeah, the OG Chaos stuff. I'm trying to think of like all of these. Of all of these, which ones age the best? Probably the Skeletal Champion of Nurgle. A Skeletal Champion of Nurgle. Holy shit. You know, it'd be really funny to roll into a Games Workshop store with these units and like use them as your army. Because like the guy at my local Games Workshop store, he looks like Steven Seagal. He's got like a ponytail. He's really strict about models. Like if you have like a measuring tape that doesn't say Games Workshop on it, he won't let you use it in the store, right? So like, I would wonder how they would react seeing this kind of stuff, you know? Yeah, like would they know? Like, yeah, these are all GW models. Yeah. This is fun though. These are like the early days. These are like the pioneers of what we enjoy now, you know? All right. Cool beans. Awesome. And where are we at? Yeah, no, the measuring tape thing, he'll let you use measuring tapes as long as there's no brand on it. If you have a measuring tape with a Home Depot logo, he will not let you use it in his store. But if it's unbranded, like just if it's like if you get one from Home Depot that has no brand on it, he'll let you use that. It's just like if there's another brand on it, you just can't use it in his store. I know, imagine being like a 13-year-old kid coming into play and like, you know, you don't have a lot of money. You just have this measuring tape that your dad has in the garage and he's like, oh, you can't play that in here. It's like, come on, dude. Come on, get that shit out of here, dude. Yeah, it's like there's some, like, obviously that's a rule passed on from Games Workshop, right? So you can't fully blame the individual, okay? You can't fully blame the store employee, but there's some rules that you just kind of gotta like ignore, you know? I learned that in my previous jobs that I had, you know? So I used to work in sports, right? And I used to work with individuals with special needs. So I would run sporting events for individuals with special needs. And the higher ups at my company were like, yeah, you know, if these individuals sign up after 2 weeks, they can't play the entire season, which is like an 8 to 12 week season, right? And I was like, a lot of these people live in care homes. You know, they might struggle on the computer, like not have the best accessibility to the signups. And I just totally ignored the hell out of that rule, and it felt so good to ignore it. But it was like the dumbest thing ever. But like that's just like a sign of how like nonprofits, corporations, whatever, can just be so freaking strict and stupid. It's like, yeah. So we would have individuals who, you know, had Down syndrome or autism, and like some of these my coworkers would not let them sign up after 2 weeks. They would be like, oh, sorry, you missed the sign up window. Therefore, you don't get to participate in our program for it's like 4 months or whatever, you know? It's so stupid. Yeah. It was so stupid. I hated that rule so much. Yeah. Because like, you know, especially when you're dealing with like the special needs population, a lot of those individuals, they'll live in care homes, you know, or in different types of facilities and whatnot, right? And like, it wasn't always easy for them to get access to the signups. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, that was my rant. That was a rant that if you guys had heard that from me 10 years ago, it would have been very fired up. Yeah. All right. So let's get this, man. Let's have some fun. Ads are so bad on you. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with that, Mr. Phoenix. Is YouTube popping off right now? Well, it's the sort of passive discrimination towards disenfranchised groups. It's weird though, because the entire organization was made for those groups, you know, and it wasn't just, yeah, strange stuff. Well, anyways, guys. Oh, all right, let's freaking get it. Oh. So it begins, the great battle of our time. It is going to be the lady coming into party. They censored Slaanesh, you're saying? So the voice thing censored Slaanesh? Oh, that's really funny. Yeah. Plague Penguin's loading in on Bertoni here. Soul Grinder on Slaanesh? Yeah, it's okay against some large units. That was almost the Yoda death noise, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And here we are. I think we're loading in. All good. So we're going to have Slaanesh versus Bretonnia. Now this is going to be very fun to see. Taking a look at the Legions of the Lady. The front line is going to be 2 skirmishers. We have 2 mounted yeoman archers, which are pretty good. They can shoot at seekers and fiends and different things like that and do some good work. So we got 2 of those bad boys. The rest of the battle line is going to be men-at-arms. And in the secondary, we got more spearmen and more polearms. So a pretty elite army for Bretonnian infantry, right? Look at this. We got a whole battle line of foot squires. So foot squires with men-at-arms with polearms, including the beast slayers of Bastogne. We're going to be backed up by a Grail Relic, which is going to give them ITP as well as leadership and melee attack. So that's very, very cool. All right, guys, we got a Prophetess of Beasts going to be rocking the Wyson's Wild form, and that's it. So using the Assault of Stone, which is a bombardment, and then Wild form to give damage and armor. Okay, that's really, really an interesting build. No Flock of Doom, which is one of the best spells in the entire game. Shinoscoro, thank you, man, and Wander the Whale, thank you so much. All right. Now, looking at the Slaanesh army of Martinius, he's one of our better Chaos players out there. He's very solid. He's got a Warriors of Chaos front line, going for actually the basic Warriors with Forsaken, The Soul Grinder of Slaanesh, which is, of course, pretty good against big targets if it can get that fight. So against any of the big elite cavalry with its 90 armor, should be able to kind of stand in there and fight. We do have the Fiends of Slaanesh, which are excellent against heavy cavalry. They're good against cavalry and foot squires, and honestly against infantry as well. They're very solid. Just weak against archers, really, with their 30 armor. Right, and on the other side here, it is going to be the Devoted Marauders with Hell Scourges. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all she wrote. Let's get it going. Let's have some freaking fun and see who is going to be winning this Duel of Fates. So the Prophetess going to be advancing up an unholy Bretonnian army. Very, very wide. I love the polearm inclusion because Bretonnian polearms with a Grail Relic can actually fight off, or, not fight off, but fight okay against Chaos Warriors because they do have good AP values. You can see 18 of their 25 damage is armor piercing. And, their stat line's all right. It could be worse. All right, so moving on up, the Bretonnian Legion's going to be grabbing objectives 2 and 1, giving them a little bit of a lead against Slaanesh. And Slaanesh does have Azazel as the Lord. So Azazel is going to be using what? We have Hysterical Frenzy, which is a pretty good spell. It gives you an insane stat line. Like, using Hysterical Frenzy on a Forsaken or like a Fiend or a Seeker is really good. And Acquiescence as well. So basically going to be spamming the 2 buff spells, which is going to be triggering the Blissful Rapture for the entire Slaanesh army, which is really good. So whenever Slaanesh casts a spell, it gives the entire army melee attack. Very, very good stuff. Hey, Ericazor, thank you for resubscribing. Rock on, dude. Let's freaking go. All right, so the Filthy Peasant's going to be advancing up. On the backside, Mounted Yeoman Archers going to be moving into Harry and Party versus the old Devoted Marauders here. So let's see what they're going to be doing. We got 2 of them parked right there. And so Cavalry in this game have 4 capture weights. That's going to be 4 and 8 versus 5. So actually the 2 Bretonnian Cavalry will eventually out-capture the 5 capture weight of the Marauder. Remember in this patch, some elite infantry like Chosen of Slaanesh will have 7 capture weight. And we are going to be seeing Giga Chad Chosen being called in. So I love that. So yeah, here comes the big boys. The 7 capture weight. These models look so freaking good, by the way. Oh man, imagine if we got shit like this for the old world. Yeah, I guess Age of Sigmar kind of has stuff that looks like this, but these Chosen look so sick. I could just sit here and watch these guys march around. That looks so cool. Anyways, they're going to be gathering up, and on the backside, it looks like the Bretonnian Haggard Harass of the Mounted Yeoman is actually threatening to triple cap Slaanesh. There's going to be another Yeoman coming in, and you'll notice how Plague Penguin maneuvers away from the infantry to maintain capture weight. Soul Grinder is going to be on its way over. The Paladin is here, and he is actually going to be stealing the back objective. Now, Zazel looks like he's going to be diving in. Got to be careful, though. He doesn't want to be eating all these arrows to the face. Soul Grinder's almost in, and that objective is going to be flipping to Bretonnia. So Bretonnia kind of bullying with its light cavalry. Yeoman actually doing some good damage, and did he steal the objective? He did. So that's huge, right? Like, little plays like that, especially between high-level players, can make all the difference. Just like a little rat gremlin steal. Paladin, though, being afflicted by Acquiescence, is going to be slowing down his speed. That was an ambitious play, but at the end of the day, I think the Paladin is going to be escaping, and the Prophetess not using any magic yet. Forsaken arriving in the back, so we do see some Forsaken. And they're really good against Bretonnian infantry. Forsaken were basically born and bred for one purpose, just like the Urgot for their purpose. These guys, of course, to massacre Bretonnian infantry. They hit really hard. They have high melee attack and 60+ weapon strength, so that's pretty nuts, right? If you really think about it, like a big combat character like Paladin, for example, has 390 weapon strength. These guys have 60 on each of the models, right? So it's really only going to be taking, 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah, like 7 or 8 of those models of the Forsaken to hit as hard as a hero. And there's 80 of them in that unit. Super, super cool. But Slaanesh is going to be holding on to the point, just kind of defending against the onslaught of the Bretonnian Harass. And one of the Paladins was lured in by the sweet seduction of Slaanesh. And now he's going to be getting his pickle tickled, but it's not going to be in the way that he's thinking. And it's going to be more like Hellraiser. There's going to be whips and chains and, eternal torment and all that sort of good stuff. All right, on the high ground, we do see some Bretonnian Knights of the Realm running over the Devoted Marauders, very cost effective. And then they should be able to maneuver over and run down these Forsaken. But, getting a catch on this Paladin, who on horseback is probably like a 700 or 800 gold character, is not going to be the worst. Now look at that, Wyson's Wild Form used on the Knights of the Realm. It's a damage buff as well as an armor buff. So now they have 130 armor, kind of like Chaos Knights, and of course you're going to be hitting harder. The Chosen of Slaanesh actually take a considerable amount of damage from that cavalry charge. Not bad, but Azazel able to get some good damage in there against the Prophetess. So this is going to be a micro tax for Plague Penguin for the rest of the game. He's going to have to keep running because he let that character take so much damage. So the Chosen did absorb that charge pretty well, and then the Fiends were able to come down from the high ground. going after the Knights of the Realm, and they're able to get some beautiful work done in a very, very lucky play for Bretonnia. The Paladin actually allowed to survive, so if Plague Penguin's paying attention, he can rally that guy and bring him to the back objective and maybe steal it. Yeah, look at that. Knights of the Realm and Paladin going to be stealing that back point right there. Yeoman Archers are shooting into the Soul Grinder, and they're getting through its 90 armor, slowly but surely. And the Prophetess here is getting killed by Azazel. If the Prophetess were to die, it's going to be pretty bad. Assault of Stone is going to be dropped on the Chosen of Slaanesh. Footsquires has now gotten in as well. Prophetess is shaken. She's trying to get away, but Azazel is very, very quick, and there's nothing to really protect her, right? Probably your best bet would be to get your Yeoman. So get your Yeoman nearby the Prophetess and have them shoot at Azazel, because he only has 5 armor, so he's really vulnerable against shooting attacks, right? That's what he's going to have problems with. Footsquires, though, go in Giga Chad mode. They're able to finish off the Forsaken right here, so the mighty Footsquires of Bretonnia able to rout off the Forsaken, while the rest of the Bretonnian battle lines continue holding against the onslaught of Slaanesh. We're going to give you guys the cinematic movie shot right now. And yeah, the battle lines for Bretonnia are holding because of the Grail Relique, right? So the Grail Relique is going to be parking right behind these guys, and it's going to be just giving tons and tons of stat efficiency. Parked right here in the middle of the formation, all the Bretonnians nearby get more leadership, they get more stats. They're really, really going to be living their best life. In the meantime, though, Azazel's still trying to hunt down the Prophetess. Prophetess getting really low. Oh, she's afflicted by narcissism. So she's looking at herself in the mirror, getting a little bit caught up here. But could this be a reverse Uno where Azazel gets trapped? I think so. So narcissism is going to be wearing off after 5 seconds, and now suddenly Martinius is a little bit trapped up here. We do see Azazel pinned in. Granted, he's not going to take much damage from Yeoman, but that's very cost-effective to kind of keep them in check. On the back objective here, it looks like Bretonnia was able to steal that, so the Paladin is going to be dying probably to these guys, but the Cavalry able to successfully get that point. And Bretonnia, though, is slowly being ground down here, and I do like this play a lot. Bringing the big Soul Grinder of Slaanesh back here to try and free up Azazel is going to be quite good. And Azazel did manage to break through the lines right there, guys. Okay. And did get on top of the Prophetess, was able to get the attack in. Prophetess at 5 leadership right now. And Knights of the Realm being called in to try and pin in these characters. Yeah, if Azazel and the Soul Grinder get killed for a Prophetess, though, that's pretty big. So right now we see these 2 characters trapped. The Prophetess will probably actually rally. What you're going to want to do if you're Plague Penguin is pull your Knights around and make sure that Azazel, as well as the Soul Grinder, are not able to escape, because that's going to be your win con here. How's it looking in the middle for Bretonnia? The grind is going, but Bretonnia is being ground down here, right? We do see the Men-at-Arms and these various units. I mean, they're fighting Chosen of Slaanesh and Chaos Warriors. These are 2 of the stronger infantry units in the game, especially the Slaanesh versions, because they have physical resistance and are just so meaty and hard to take down. ITP not super relevant in this matchup, but yep, the fight continues and Bretonnia slowly starts to falter, but a lot of it's going to come down to the backfield, right? We see Azazel a little bit overextended, and the Knights Errant getting Wyson's Wild Form, as well as Knights of the Realm getting the Soul Grinder down. Looking at value, Martinius is ahead pretty considerably. He's got a couple thousand, maybe like 1,500 value advantage there. On the backside, Seekers of Slaanesh going to be very good against these units with Forsaken, and Bretonnia for sure is on the back foot in this situation. Slaanesh is looking a little bit stronger here. Meanwhile, Mounted Yeoman Archers almost have gotten that Soul Grinder down, and Azazel might finally be able to escape from his party dungeon. He might be able to get away here. We'll have to see. Prophetess sitting at 800 HP, Footsquires being unsummoned, Mounted Yeoman trying to finish this off. Knights of the Realm with their anti-large attacks may be able to fell the beast. Their anti-large, no joke, it's pretty good. So -3 leadership, the Demon's going to be disintegrating. The brave Knights of Bretonnia enduring all the wraths and horrors of Slaanesh. But the hero of the old world has arrived. The Green Knight is now here. So Green Knight is going to be going for the kill on Azazel, which is a very smart play. The Soul Grinder is killed. Green Knight is not the strongest in this matchup because of the fact that Slaanesh has so much cost-effective magic damage with like Seekers and their characters. But yeah, if Green Knight can get a pick on Azazel here, that's going to be incredibly cost-effective. Right now he's trying to chase, but some of the Knights are blocking him up. Azazel is going to be able to squeak away. He does get hit by the Green Knight, but Azazel is able to get away right there. Okay. So the Prophetess being chased down by some Furies. She's at -4 leadership, and the Furies should be able to kind of harry and or chase her off the battlefield. In the meantime, in the middle, Polearm's still fighting, and the Chosen of Slaanesh a little bit more worn down than you would think. Some of them do advance through, but the Cavalry are going to be getting a nice charge there. And oh my god, Azazel being taken down by the Green Knight. That is so huge. So the Green Knight is now going to be a big bully, and Bretonnia is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. They equalized the value. Bretonnia actually pulled the value lead, and Azazel and the Soul Grinder are down, so him being trapped back there was definitely big, and he taps out! Bretonnia with the steel chair. The King of Bretonnia coming in and saving Bretonnia from the horrors of the old world. All right, that was a great one. That was a really fun match. But yeah, obviously, Slaanesh was in a good position. They were in a winning position until he got his two big things trapped back there, right? His Soul Grinder got trapped, his Zazel got trapped, and that kind of cost him the game. GG, well played. Fun match, though, for sure. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, let us go ahead and see what's cooking. And, damn it, I forgot to look at value. I'm so eager to see how the tournament's going. Okay, at that point, the game was over, for sure, because Bretonnia could just resummon its Damsel for like 900 gold and then would have the green 9 on the field, so. Yeah, so he is one of the best Bretonian players in the world, that guy. He's very, very good. Yeah. Okay, and what do we have? That's my Gilles? Yeah, it is him. All right, so looking at this, we have the tournament, Scrambled Egg and Space Pope are playing. Martin and Blood Penguin just finished. And yeah, so these guys are battling it out. He forgot to change the buy round thing, so he needs to fix that. Maybe I can do that for him. I did see the new Chaos Dwarves. I like them. I think the new Chaos Dwarves are cool. They're a little bit more Age of Sigmar. I prefer the old school Legions of Asgore from like 2010, but I still think they're really cool. And if I do ever play Age of Sigmar, that is the army I'll collect for sure. For sure. All right. So, yep, just waiting for these games. We'll be getting into the next round here in the next couple minutes. It's only, this match is the only one we're waiting for right now. So, hell yeah, you're in love, yeah. How many points until the game ended? 1,500 points is where the game ends, Banana Bean. So the first player to get 1,500 points wins. But often, I would say in most domination games, the game is not always decided by the points. It's more one player just crushing the other player's army. The points are more there to make you fight. You know, because that's the problem with land battle is you need to have like player-made rules and police officers on standby to make sure the players actually fight. Did you see the Underworld models as well as the main army? No. Can you send me the Underworld models in Discord? That'd be greatly appreciated. I would love to take a look at that. But yeah, guys, we're going to be streaming every day this week. Usually I stream 5 days a week. So, yeah, we're gonna be streaming all through the week, probably all the way up through Friday. It's gonna be fun. We'll have some Total War, some Age of the Ring. I'm not sure what else we're gonna be doing, but we'll figure something out. Ground Brindle sending me this. Okay, no problem, boss. And we were sent something here. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sending me the recolor. We did get that earlier. All right. Yeah, Ancient Hero, sort of. Not really. It's kind of the same, unfortunately. But, you know, it's all good, man. You get through life. You figure it out. Everyone's got their problems. Everyone's got their problems. All right, what's cooking here? Still waiting. Yeah, I don't hate the new Chaos Dwarf models. I definitely don't. Some of them look kind of easy to paint, actually. I mean, for an Age of Sigmar model, definitely a lot of like flat surfaces and especially on the big monsters. No Skaven today. Yeah, Company of Heroes. I'm actually down. We'll do some Company of Heroes this week. We'll get the crew together and I'll see what days old Pwn Dog has off and we can do some of that. Because I know there's been a couple patches and updates for Company of Heroes. Oops. Accidentally clicked on the campaign here. I literally played like 5 turns. Sometimes I do that. I'll go fire up a campaign and play like 5 turns of it and just be like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Yes. Yeah, no, Rabbit Squirrel. We're probably gonna most likely stay in California, like, because we love the area we live in. It's just expensive. So we're just trying to pencil it all out financially, and if we can, you know, we would like to stay where we are. It's my hometown, and Anna loves it. You know, it's paradise. It's Professor Pwn. Yeah, see, I got in 15 turns, and I was like, I'm done. It probably feels weird seeing a campaign being open on the stream here, right? It's like so out of our wheelhouse. Is Professor Pwn still undefeated? He is. All right, wild ideas. Total Tavern up for organizing Total War style battle in the Old Realms mod. It would be possible. Yeah. Tourney's over, campaign time. Yeah. I don't even know how to play campaign anymore. Like I would be such a noob compared to you guys. That's for sure. Blood Penguin needs to report the score. Let me tell him. So, report score. All right. So we're just waiting on him. Paradise. Yeah, I mean, obviously, California's expensive and does have issues in some of its major cities. But if you live, it's just like every state, right? Like everybody has stereotypes and perceptions about different states, but that's usually just centered around like the major cities, right? Like where we live not in the countryside, but we live in a small California city, and it's pretty close to the coast, and it's literally like Shangri-La. It's probably, I've traveled a fair amount. It's one of the nicest places you will ever be. It's so nice. It's clean. It's safe. Everybody's super friendly. The weather is pretty awesome for most part. But yeah, the cost of living in California is the worst thing. Like trying to, start a life with your family and get a home here and just all this shit. It's like, yeah, that's therein lies the problem. So we have the code for Total Tavern here, right? We could make a tournament website for any game. Like, so if the Age of the Ring community wanted to like make a Total Tavern equivalent where you could like host tournaments, and it has a leaderboard and it tracks the stats for like, Gondor and whatever versus other factions, we have the power. We could do that theoretically. If there's like ever another game I decide to go really balls deep into and we want to, we can for sure, set up an equivalent of this website. Lots of people seem to think California is just LA. For sure, yeah. It's like, I'm not a big fan of LA myself. They're living in LA, but visiting LA is fun. Like I love Pasadena and Burbank, and I like Glendale as well. Santa Monica has some fun areas, like the food culture in Los Angeles is great. Like the food trucks and because LA is really like a melting pot of different cultures, right? So you get such good food culture there. It's very, very fun. We could call it the Brie Tavern. Yeah, we could. We could call it the Brie Tavern. Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. Yeah, San Diego's nice as well. Yeah, it's tough. But when we lived in Los Angeles, we did not live in the safest area. When my wife first came out here, I mean, it wasn't the worst, but we had some really really gnarly elements near our house. If you catch my drift. Put the Underworld Chaos Dwarves in Discord. Thank you, Mr. Morden. Where'd you put it? Did you direct message it to me, or did you just post it in Discord? Okay. So these are the Underworld Chaos Dwarves? Okay, let's see here. A lot of people are obsessed with California stereotypes. Yeah. People like to, get excited here. So... Okay, so this is like a Wood Elf versus Chaos Dwarf, like... Oh, that guy's... Oh, dude, look at this Look at this big sausage character. I love it. Oh, yeah. Look at that Chaos Dwarf. I think that's a lady. I'm not sure. And then we have a bearded Chaos Dwarf here as well. Okay, these models are kind of cool. Although the beard thing is trips me out. It's kind of cool. Those are some neat models. Yeah, it's a female Dawizar. Very cool. I'm all about that. I think that's great. Yeah. When I thought they were dudes, I was like, I kind of missed the beards, but when I found out they were chicks, I'm like, oh, cool. Add some flavor, a little bit of spice for everybody. It's great. They probably existed, right? Yeah, they probably existed in the fantasy game, but just weren't represented really. Okay, so let's get this here. See how we're looking on the tournament. Are we ready for the next round? And where are we? The top 4 approaches, guys. Okay, so Grombrindle. This game between Martinius and Blood Penguin is actually done, but they just forgot to report it. So, you here? Yeah, so Grombrindle, it's that game is done. That's the game I casted. It was but he's doing now. All right, so he's back. Yeah, Grombrindle, he's going to report that right now. He is. Have I heard of? No, he did a video explaining his take on the. Oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't seen that, Arjun. It's kind of interesting. I have not. Okay. That should be getting reported, and Grombrindle, you should be good to go in the next round here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so for the next one around here, let's do Daniken versus Scrambled Egg. Those are the two undefeated players, so we're gonna do that. Lobby code, please. Thank you. We're gonna get into Scrambled Egg Scrambled Egg Special. I don't know what my brain was thinking there. Cool. So we got our next match. Warhammer typically is very much a sausage fest hobby, but there are, you know, it's gotten a little bit better over the years. But yeah, no, it's a lot of sausage. Okay, so multiplayer battles. Let's find this. Scrambled Egg Specials lobby is where? Looking for him. Is it the Blue Scribes Book Club? I don't know why I'm getting a vibe that this is Scrambled Eggs lobby, but we're gonna go check right now. No, that is Bob's lobby. Okay, Bob always has great names as well. Okay, there we go. Does not look like there's a password on that lobby. Okay, so it has F. Okay, F is going to be the lobby name. Do this, and he needs to get a spec slot. Spec slot, please. Yeah, I would say that 40K is probably more of a sausage fest than maybe Sigmar, from what I've like seen at tournaments. Old World is very sausagey. It's very sausagey. Warhammer the Old World is like, yeah, it's very sausage heavy. All right, guys. Hey, Divine Council 40K, thank you for subscribing. We got somebody wanted Ogre Kingdoms. Here we go. Ogre Kingdoms versus Dark Elves. That's fun. Two very strong factions. Well, Dark Elves are up and coming, I would say. They were considered a weak faction before. Yeah. And it is going to be Scrambled Egg Special on the Ogre Kingdoms. You know what I think is going to be a cool feature? When we update Total Tavern eventually, I think having, on player profiles, having it say like a little breakdown of that player's win and loss like record with certain factions would be very fun. Like even more data. Have people stopped bringing easy sniping targets against Dark Elves? We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right. So it begins, the greatest battle of our time, and this is the 5th and final round of regulation. After this is over, we advance to the semifinals. So for anybody wondering how the tournament works, you have a round. So you can see this is the 5th round, this 5th column here. And each round you play individuals with the same score. So this tournament format is very good for beginners because, yeah, you might lose in the first round against a Dark Lord, but after that, you're going to be, you're going to be playing people who are, closer to your skill level, which is good. Yeah, Wembley. Yeah, don't even worry about that shit, man. Yeah, they despise Harad Waith. I think it's fun, man. I think it's great. There's going to be Scourge Runners probably, but Scourge Runners can be countered pretty heavily by Lead Belchers, right? So Lead Belchers are really good against Scourge Runners because they have better range and huge AP. So, if we could have a better in-game ladder, easy matchmaking, that'd be great. Yeah, Eric, I don't think that's going to happen in this game, but for whatever Creative Assembly is working on in the future, I am constantly in the Discord. Just poking him like, hey, can we get this and working on it, Anticity doesn't usually play on the weekends. He usually takes Saturday and Sunday off, but aside from that, he grinds pretty hard Monday through Friday. You'll see him every day. But yeah, he's not playing in this one. He usually takes Saturday, Sunday off. I don't see him on the weekends too much. I love the Harad Waith faction you guys did. They're super fun. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, even the Games Workshop Lord of the Rings game added some characters that weren't like in the Tolkien canon. They expanded and because I think in the actual Tolkien canon, I'm pretty sure the only named Nazgul is Kamul, right? Like the other ones have names obviously, but you never know them. And then eventually, they have like they have names for the other ones, right? I feel like Medusa could be good here, but Lead Belchers, yeah, it's a tricky one. The Lead Belchers really skew this matchup in a way. We'll see. We will see. Kamul and the Witch King are the only ones, right? Yeah. I'm having so much fun with that Lord of the Rings game, though. I love it. I just like getting on and playing with the soundtrack on and just hearing the themes of my favorite factions while I play them. Wambly, I really would love, man, if you guys could get the Easterlings in there, like as a full faction and multiplayer. I know you're limited, but that would be so cool. Kamula's the only one named out of the 8, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dark Elves versus the Chungus Kingdoms on the road to Talabheim. A big Leadbelcher map, super open. So Eric, yeah, a lot of changes in this patch. Big monsters hit infantry-sized characters easier. Doombolt is the new villain of the patch. It's been restricted in most tournaments because it's a little bit OP. And, yeah, a lot of, like, you know, random changes here and there, but those are kind of the big TLDRs of that. Yeah. You keep suffering against Empire players. Empire's pretty good, but they're vulnerable to being stuffed back for sure. Empire does not like being hard pushed because their state troopers usually are a little bit flimsy. So, okay, so let's get this going. Imagine if we could just get the whole Age of the Rings team to make a new Battle for Middle-earth game, like Battle for Middle-earth 3, with just like a modern engine, like smoother UI, and just like, but they get to have the creative control over it. Oh, dude, that would be so sick. That'd be so cool. Now, Harad Waith is the men of the south. So the Easterlings are obviously to the east, as the name would infer. So they are a little bit different. Scrambled Egg is insanely good, Hey, Zurabrek, you should play in our tournaments. Get in here. Come have some fun. All right, guys. So it begins, the great battle. The undefeated players here in the tournament. It's going to be Daniken Trop with, oh my god. It is a Forbidden Rakarth on a dragon. Oh my god. So Beast Lord's Gaze. We have the Whiplash, so 2 buffing abilities, really. Beast Lord's Gaze, Whiplash to buff the damage of a monster or a unit. I think, yeah, it's any unit. The Beast Slaver and the Breath Attack as well. Oh my god, that is super, super cool. All right, guys. So, battle lines here are going to be Bleak Swords backed up by Dread Spears. We do have the triple Bolt Thrower in the back as well. So that's very fun. A Bolt Thrower build. Okay, so this is designed to counter Leadbelchers. This is about as off meta as you can get for Dark Elves. We have Rakarth on a dragon, triple Bolt Thrower to counter the Leadbelcher spam. And then there's going to be some Dark Riders on the wings. Okay, now what sort of a caster do we have? We have a Sorceress of Burning Head to kill the Pigback Riders. Looking at the Ogre army, it is going to be a combined arms force of Pigbacks with Ogre Bulls, Leadbelchers in the back, because they're so good against Dark Elves. There's going to be 2 of those, and then a Slaughtermaster of Flock of Doom. Yeah, Flock of Doom Slaughtermaster. Very meta. So Noblars in the front, you let them get run over and trampled, then the Ogres are going to be doing the heavy lifting here. And so it begins. If this works for Daniken, that's going to be really interesting. The only unfortunate thing for Daniken is that this build is being revealed to Scrambled Egg before the elimination rounds. So both these players are guaranteed to advance on to the top 4 because they're undefeated right now. So these guys are guaranteed top 4. But the issue being is that if this build works for Daniken, that means that Scrambled Egg Special is going to be able to switch up the build and counter this build in one of the later matches. But if it doesn't work for the Dark Elves and they lose anyways, then whatever, who cares, you know. Back to the drawing board, I do dare say. All right, so Druchii going to be advancing up. Their Bolt Throwers standing at the ready. Dark Riders on the sides are also very good at compromising the shooting units. Leadbelchers do not have the best combat stats, 26 and 26 with only 50 armor, so they can be tied down and punished by light cavalry for sure. The Chungus Kingdoms are going to be advancing, and here they go. So those bad boys are going to be moving up and a grooving up, which I love to see. Slaughtermaster going to be hiding in the bushes there, so there he goes. He's creeping. He's like, oh, my peg leg. It's pretty funny. He's got a peg leg. I wonder what the story is with that. Probably got hungry and just decided to eat his own leg. It's a classic ogres. All right, so this objective probably going to be taken by Druchii before the Chunguses can get there. Dark Elves, you probably, considering the build, you don't want to play all 3 objectives. You're just going to want to hunker down on these 2. Let the Ogres have this one and consolidate your Bolt Throwers and your Focus Fire. And because Ogres are one of the better factions in the game at playing very wide and playing all 3 objectives because their baseline infantry, which have 5 capture weight, the Ogre Bulls, have 54 movement speed. So their maneuverability between the points is... oh, yeah, he probably had the diabetes. The Wilford Brimley diabetes. Yeah, he had that. But for some reason, the Ogres are going to let them get a triple cap here. He's going to let the Dark Elves get all 3 objectives and get a bit of a points lead. Now, if you guys are newer, you're wondering why he's doing this, right? Well, he's pulling back because he doesn't feel confident that his army is going to be able to deal with what his opponent has. So by pulling back like this, it gives you're yielding the objectives and the points in exchange for saving up resources to call in things that you feel can counter your opponent's army. So what he's going to be doing in that situation basically is probably saving up for some vultures or something that's going to be able to jump on top of those bolt throwers, right? Ogres are very, very cautious of this, right? Very, very cautious. All right, so in the backside, we have 1-2 lead belchers, and we do see a flank coming into play. So exactly what we talked about. He didn't feel confident, so he changes up his strategy and is going to be getting the Forsaken, not Forsaken maybe, but the Saber Tusk pack. So Saber Tusks are pretty good. They can definitely trade fine with Dark Riders and are pretty good at diving into your opponent's backfield. But Cold One Knights, like Cold One Spear Riders, can dump on them pretty hard and give them the business. So I would expect the Dark Elves to call in Spear Riders for like the rest of the game. You're probably going to see a lot of those. Maybe some Doomfire Warlocks as well. And Rakarth is flying through the trees. He does have some cool buff abilities. I mean, Rakarth with the Whiplash, you cast this on a freaking Cold One Knight, 50% damage buff, is pretty fat. Total War Warcraft win, that would be so sick. Oh my god, that'd be so sick. So we got Cold One Knights hiding in the trees. They're going to be back here, ready to go. So we got their Pokin 6 here. And they're just waiting to ambush. So obviously, if the Saber Tusks come out and try and flank, they can ambush out of the trees and head those guys off and give them the business. But this is really greedy by the Ogres, man. He's waiting to get that Alpha Strike. He knows he needs to collapse the Dark Elf army all at once instead of just trickling in. Currently, Scrambled Egg is going to be sitting at 1,100 points. And the Dark Elf Lord just flying around. I mean, he could attack the Saber Tusks if he wants to. Looks like Rakarth wanted some of this. So there he goes. And he does manage to take down 2 Saber Tusks there, which is good, right? It's value. I mean, every model you can pick off in this like early skirmishing phase of the game is going to be a pretty big win for you. All right. So we do see the capture points belonging to the Druki. Both players are able to build up. Bolt throwers just standing at the ready. And is he advancing the bolt throwers up? He's not. He's just kind of setting those guys back. Meanwhile, in the bushes, Cold One Knights in ambush. Dandikentrop has 1,800 resources in the bank, and Scrambled Egg has 1,600 as well. So yeah, he really, really didn't feel comfortable with his army going into this. But he's going to have to advance soon. If you wait too long and build up for too long, even if you start winning the fight, you can lose the game on points. So, you know, obviously in old school land battle, there was nothing to make the players fight each other except the player-made rules. Whereas here, you have the timer of the objectives that puts a timer on you. So if somebody wants to draw kite you around the map and not fight you, you're going to win the game just because of the objectives, right? Which is pretty great. So now the Ogres are advancing. The Chunguses have heard the call of war. We are going to be getting some guns being called out. So another Lead Belcher called out, as well as the Powder Guts. So Powder Guts are Ogres that trained in the Empire, and they're proficient with powder weaponry and pistols, and they're a really awesome unit. But here comes the buildup, and they're going to be moving, and immediately Objective 3 is going to be going to the Ogres. This is really smart. The Dark Elves not trying to hold Objective 3 here is a brilliant idea, because if they did, their army would get... Dark Elves do not play well on a wide army as much. That's for damn sure. So you yield this objective, and you just hold objectives 1 and 2, and you just try and do your best here. Now, the big flank is going to be around as well, so we do see the Saber Tusks gathering up, but Rakarth is here with his Cold One Knights and his Dark Riders. Dark Elves are a very, very mobile faction. Well, the fashion as well. They got some mobile fashion, some loose robes and stuff, but they're a very mobile faction, so they're really good at kind of dealing with the aggression, I would say. And counter-punching. Dark Elves are very much a counter-punch faction. That's going to be a timed Burning Head, which is going to be hitting some Noblars there. So it's kind of cute. Noblars are dirt cheap, though, so probably not the best Burning Head. I think he just got a little bit impatient. But the Bolt Throwers are shooting in. And look at that. The triple Bolt Thrower is already killing 1 Lead Belcher. So 1 Lead Belcher unit is in the trash already. So that is a power fantasy for the Dark Elves, being able to take those down. And the Bolt Throwers probably want to switch on to the Powder Guts next, which is going to free up the Rakarth to do his thing. The big onslaught's coming in, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Blood Vultures with the Ogres running below and the Pigback Riders. Harpy's going to be engaging in the sky versus the Blood Vultures. And, ooh, look at that. I love that ability from the Dark Elves, using the Whiplash and the Beast Lord's Gaze to make the Crows of Cain a Giga Chad fighter with 66 weapon strength. And they're actually doing okay in that 2v1 right there. In the meantime, though, Ogre's going to start plowing over the front line, so the Bleak Swords are going to be getting it pretty badly. Ogre Bulls are basically a hard counter against them. They're going to be able to patty cake these guys pretty good. So the Dark Elf front line is not going to hold up super long. Now, the Crows of Cain were able to kill 1 Blood Vulture and bring the other one relatively low. So not the worst, but now the Blood Vultures are potentially going to be able to shut these down. In the frontline fight, we do get Rakarth going in with the Beast Lord's Gaze and Beast Slaver activated. 700 weapon strength. doing a shitload of damage here against the Slaughtermaster of Beasts, but he is slowed down by the Dismember ability, so that is going to be basically saving the Slaughtermaster from a very certain death there. Now, both Lead Belcher units are offline. The Powder Guts are still shooting pretty effectively into the big man. And yeah, so far, one of the artillery pieces has been taken offline, but the other two bolt throwers are feasting well. Golden Knight's going to be coming over here, but unfortunately for them, they do have some Noblars and Ogre Bulls, which are going to be tough. But the Ogre front line is being pushed back here. We see them starting to fold up in the middle a little bit. Over on the flank, some of the Saber Tusks did find a way around, so they are able to get on. And now the bolt throwers are going to be paying the troll toll. So this is really big for the Ogres. If they can get the artillery pieces offline and then get their Lead Belchers back, it's probably going to be over for the Dark Elves, I would say. We'll have to see. But the Blood Vultures do land, and the Dark Elf artillery crew is not having a good time here. It is a big old Royal Rumble on these, and that's going to be both of those offline. So the Dark Elves, the question is, have the Dark Elves done enough damage with their bolt throwers to justify their cost, and is it enough to be able to still endure against the Ogre shooting? So big man Rakarth fighting against Ogre Bulls, for sure going to be winning that fight. Raven's Herald's being called in for the Dark Elves, and that's going to be a decent Burning Head on those Noblar Trappers, so that we'll be able to cook them and send them off to the Shadow Realm. So beautiful Burning Head. Raven's Heralds are pretty good armor-piercing specialists, and using them in the backfield to finish off the Lead Belchers I think is quite a good idea. Just got to watch out for the Powder Guts. And oh, they're actually going to try and snipe the Ogre Lord. So the Ogre Lord's sitting at 3,900 HP. The bolts come in, 3,600, but yeah, this is not good for the Raven's Heralds. Getting nailed by a Dismember, which is a slow, and the Lead Belcher is going to be shooting their forks and knives and spoons. More importantly, the Powder Guts, of course, are going to be the coolest unit, trained by the Chad Sigmarites. They're going to be shooting at the flying Raven's Heralds, and ultimately that whole gambit from Danikentrop there does not pay off. So that one feels pretty bad. All right, guys, so looking around, we do see big cavalry, Mournfang Cav with great weapons being called in, going to be battling it out versus Coldo Knights, who are getting the Whiplash and the Beast Lord's Gaze, which I'm really loving seeing the innovation here from Danikentrop, using Rakarth with his buffing abilities to try and turn the tide of various fights. And honestly, he kind of does. Look how badly the Mournfang Cavalry get wrecked by the Whiplashed and Beast Lord Gaze Coldo Knights there. And of course, Rakarth himself was helping and benefiting from those buffs with the Beast Lord's Gaze and the Beast Slaver ability, so very, very cool to see, man. I'm loving it. So let's take a look at the macro play of the objectives. Objective number 1 belongs to the Ogre Kingdoms. Objective number 2 is going to be belonging to the Dark Elves, and Ogre Kingdoms do have the outside objective as well. Rakarth maybe going to be looking for opportunities to try and get the snipe on the Slaughtermaster here. We're going to have to see, but it looks like right now he's mainly using Rakarth as a force multiplier to help his mobility fights get the win here. Breath attack going to be coming in from Brachus, so the Dragon going to be breathing some nasty breath here on the Ogre units and melting them down. Coldo Knights getting charged by a Mournfang Cav with great weapons, and these Coldo Knights are not buffed at the moment, so they're going to be having a hard fight there. Ogres still have a decent amount of shooting. They do have the Powder Guts firing, and Lead Belchers, only 3 models left here, and these ones are only going to have 5 models, so not going to be super brutal. Dark Elves also calling in the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows, and on the backside it looks like more Coldo Knights are in, and this game could go either way, for sure. I mean, if Rakarth can survive the shooting phase of the game and continue being a player and turning some of these fights around, that's going to be pretty massive. Raven's Heralds do come back and are trying to help out. Rakarth is not a healing character, though, so unlike his homie, Lokir Felheart, he does not heal, and Malekith and Marathi, of course, can heal using the Soul Stealer ability, but he's a little bit more of a glass cannon. You got to be more careful with him, especially against all the shooting. Nice Dark Rider fire. Break in the Mournfang Cavalry with great weapons. It does look like Rakarth is Rage Boner chasing into the backfield. Maybe going to be trying to get on the Slaughtermaster. Lead Belcher is still putting a lot of hurt downtown despite getting damaged early. It seems like the Bolt Throwers had done enough damage to keep the game close because their numbers are low, which is going to be mitigating their DPS, right? So Rakarth's going to be flying across. Where is he going to go? Probably to help try and secure the side objective here as the Dark Riders do sweep up the Mournfang Cavalry, who are very, very low on HP. But Powder Guts putting some big damage down, man. Powder Guts are a really, really good anti-large unit. They do have currently 2,000 value, with plenty more to give. It looks like there was a couple Dark Elves. Oh, he didn't have a good time. Certainly in the wrong neighborhood, as the Ogres are able to bash him and kick him. And that guy's just hyped for no reason, just kind of chanting there instead of shooting, which is cool. Sorcerers with fire nearby. Burning Head going to be good for cleaning up pigbacks. The Repeater Crossbows are doing good work. It looks like that Burning Head there does manage to get the Noblars, as the Dark Riders do win their fight against the tattered Mournfang Cavalry on the other side. So that objective potentially going to be in a position to be stolen. And now are we going to be seeing a threat on the Powder Guts? We get Dark Riders moving in. Rakarth is, well, that's risky. Sending Rakarth in against a healthy anti-large cavalry unit, very, very dangerous. But it looks like he's not going to be punished too badly for it. Golden Knights chasing down the Saber Tusk packs here. Mournfang Cavalry going to be tar pitted by Dark Riders, and it looks like those repeater crossbows will get back online here. And this is a really, really close knockdown, drag out scrap here, guys. Absolutely great game. Dark Riders under the Mournfang Cavalry, and Rackhearth with the Beast Lord's Gaze and Beast Slaver is active. So that is going to be helping. But overall, the Mournfang Cavalry able to win their fight. This could be the turning of the tide. The Ogre Kingdoms might find a way here. With the Powder Guts having a little bit of ammunition, Rackhearth is sitting at 2,800 HP, but he does have the ward save from the Beast Lord's Gaze, which is now worn off there. On the outside objective, Ogres are going to be securing this. That's a little bit rough for the Dark Elves. Dark Elves are up in points, and they have a pretty nice little consolidated army here in the middle. With the Cold One Knights, the Firecaster, as well as the Repeater Crossbows, that's a bit. Now the Burning Head going to be activated by Daniken Trop, which is going to be cleaning out the Pigback Riders. So that's a very good cast right there, and it looks like it does manage to hit the Pigbacks enough to break their leadership. Rackhearth is getting very low, man. These freaking Powder Guts have been putting this game on their back. Sitting at 2,700 value right there is so freaking good. Cold Spear Riders getting onto the objective there. And the Ogres don't really have a lot of Pigbacks left, which means their entire army is going to be weak against Golden Riders. Breath Attack from the Dragon, very nice. Going to be breaking an Ogre Bull unit as their Repeater Crossbows continue putting a lot of hurt down. And now they're going to be forming about ranks, getting ready to shoot the Slaughtermaster back there. Leadbelcher is still picking off some of the models, but there's only a couple of them left. And the Ogre Lord sitting at 3,000 HP is on the run. Rackhearth, current value for him is going to be 1,500. But he's mainly been buffing things. That's kind of been his bread and butter this game. Oh man, the side objective needs to be taken by the Dark Elves. This is getting to the point where it's going to be maybe decided by points. This game is just so razor close. I mean, both players' value is like right down the pipe. Ogres are down in value, but they do have access to healing with the Meat Feast ability, so a little bit hard to gauge the true value there. But Rackhearth, with all of his buffs, man, making these Cold Knights very Giga Chad. Although he himself is sitting at about 1,500 HP. Leadbelcher is still shooting away. Powder Guts, I believe, have run out of ammunition now, so they are going to be off the menu. Burning Head going to be activated on the Pigback Riders to make sure no spears can get in and help the Ogres against the Golden Riders. Rackhearth, though, ooh, he's down to 1,400, guys, getting very, very close. Middle objective is in the process of flipping. More Golden Riders are going to be coming out, and we do have some Dark Riders who are going to be trying to threaten objective number 1. So when the fighting gets really close like this, basically both players are kind of committed to having to fight in one spot, right? Like, so instead of having to because whoever, like, it's like a game of chicken, right? Whoever, like, gives up first and starts playing the side objectives oftentimes will lose this middle fight. So it's kind of an interesting one, right? The Rackhearth there able to karate chop into the Mournfang Cavalry. Cold Knights uber trading here into the Powder Guts, so they're doing a lot of damage. And how's our boy Rackhearth? 1,700 value. Golden Riders do good over there, and are going to be trying to get that point. This is a huge unfortunate thing for the Dark Elves here, because right now the points lead is going to Scrambled Egg, and if he doesn't get that point quick, it's going to be a triple cap. I think Scrambled Egg might be able to edge this one out, though. The Ogre's capture weight and their grind of these units is just putting in huge work, and we do see Daniken Trop going for the kill on the enemy Lord. Good Flock of Doom there, though. Really, really nice. Outside objective, probably going to be taken by the Druki. Granted, a couple Saber Tusks are causing problems there. And yeah, Rackhearth going for the karate chop, which I respect this. You know, going for the gamble, going for the kill in the fourth quarter to try and break your opponent's leadership is pretty big. But Ogres are pretty good at protecting their lords. Oh, a lot of damage. He's currently at 1,900 HP. And the Dragon is putting in work. The Slaughtermaster is getting a little bit low. Dark Riders are nearby. 1,400. The melee defense did hold up for that attack. 900 HP on Rackhearth. He gets a big attack there. And the Ogre Lord is in the pits a little bit. Wavering, and another attack's going to be coming in. One more attack from the Dragon will probably kill the Ogre Lord. And he does get the kill, I believe. Yes, the assassination is successful. Rackhearth needs to get out with his own life, though. For that to be a win, he needs to live, because then his leadership, you know, is going to be bad as well. But the Ogres are able to resecure the middle objective. Outside is going to be going to the Dark Elves, and I think Rackhearth is going to be paying the Troll Toll in the back. Instead of get 46 leadership, that is going to be all she wrote. So Rackhearth does go down for his sins. He pays the price. And I think that is going to be ending the game there, as the Ogres are doing a little bit better on the field right now. Dismember activated on the Spear Riders here. A couple Ogres going to be charging in. Powder Gut still fighting at 3,300 value, which is so impressive. And yeah, GG well played. What a good match. I'm really curious to see these guys face off again in the semifinals or the grand finals, potentially, because they're both going to make top 4. They're both going to make top 4. That is for sure. All right, guys. Yep, triple cap is on the menu. Number 3 here is going to be held by the Ogres. The Saber Tusks plus the Noblars will be able to defeat Dark Riders. And the Druki are moving in with Dark Riders and just mass mobility, but it's not going to be enough to flip the points, as we do see 1,450 points being approached here for the Scrambled Egg Special. And that is going to be all she wrote. GG, well played. Fun game. Really enjoyed that one. You know, that's what high-level competition looks like. These are two players who are contenders for top 16 in the world pretty consistently. You're going to be seeing these guys between ranks 1 and 8, usually, right, in the world on the tournament leaderboard. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun to see. All right, guys, what's cooking here? I think that's going to be closing it out. No surprises. GG. Victory for the Thunderguts. All right, so let's break down the armies, take a look and see how everything did here, and where are we at? Okay. Loading. It's taking its sweet time there. Okay. So Rakarth was pretty good. 2,200 value. He didn't pay for himself in terms of just combat efficiency, but his buffs to the other units, I think, allowed the Cold One Riders to get a lot of other wins. The Bolt Throwers were good. I mean, they almost paid for themselves, and they forced the build-up, which gave the Dark Elves a nice cushion with which to value trade. Spear Riders, 2,000 value. Here, these ones at 1,500, and we do have 2,200 on this one. And for the Ogres, Lead Belchers held to a very low amount of value, so the Bolt Throwers were effective there. 400 and 700 is not great for those. But the Powder Guts, I think the Powder Guts straight up carried that game. If the Powder Guts had been focused earlier, I think Dark Elves probably win that game. So GG, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Okay, so now we need to get ready for the finals here. The Dork Elves will be back. They're not eliminated from the tournament. That is for sure. We just need to see what's cooking here. Okay, so refreshing the brackets. Oh, wow. That was legit the last game being played. Okay, so now we're going to be going to top 4, guys. And we're going to be casting and having some fun. GG. Thank you to Grombrindle for adminning today's tournament. It is his birthday, so happy birthday to our boy Grombrindle. And we got Bob That Builder. So they have a rematch right now. So I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to do Bob That Builder versus hang on a second. Bob That Builder. Lobby code, please. Versus Lemur's Bane. Yeah, that's what the matchup's going to be. Yeah. Powder Guts, my hated foe. Rarely been happier to see a unit nerfed when they were a while back. Yeah. Do we have Wood Elves in top 4? So we're about to find out. Okay, so which game is Bob? Yeah, he's got the Blue Scribes Book Club. So we have Dark Elves. We have Ogre Kingdoms. We have Demons of Chaos, and whatever this 4th faction is, we're about to find out. Okay. Good times, man. Oh no, Lemur was my one loss earlier. Revenge. We got to find out what the matchup is. So Lemur's Bane is going to be here. The other side can just kind of go along its merry way. We just watched Ogres and Dark Elves, so they can play that game on their own, and then we'll see the winner in the grand finals, right? You're welcome, Grombrindle. Hope all is well. Okay. Oh, Chaos Dwarves versus Demons. That's a fun matchup. We got the Fires of Hashut. It will burn brightly here this day. Okay. Where are we going? Rise, champions, rise. Okay. So Lemur's Bane is going to be on the Dowie, Tsar, and then we have the Demons of Chaos here. It's an interesting one, yeah. I mean, the Changebringers, the Seekers, and Heartseekers are all very good. Lots of fun times. How's the Warhammer meta? It's really good. It's really good. The meta is great right now. Creative Assembly has done a good job with their past couple patches of improving the game. Honestly, there was only one weird thing introduced in this last patch, which was the Doombolt being overly buffed, which is, you got to take chances. But aside from that, CA has done a pretty good job. Like, we honestly get more balancing patches for this quote-unquote multiplayer game than, like, Age of Empires and freaking Company of Heroes does, right? We have it pretty good here, actually. So as long as we can keep that energy going into future Total War titles with improvements as well, including, like, functional matchmaking and stuff with, like, a leaderboard, then we'll be in pretty good shape. Yeah. Yeah, Bob's playing. Bob's very fun. Lemur's Bane is a great player as well. I'm curious to see what they're going to be cooking here. And yeah, hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining on this fine Sunday afternoon as we approach the Duel of Fates. Let it begin. Let the good times roll. Yeah, Chorfs are great. They're so fun. When I finish my Isengard army, I'm going to go back to painting Chaos Dwarves. I want to get some Fireborn in the army. Unfortunately, Chaos Dwarves are a legacy army for Old World, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. Dedicated servers are probably never going to happen. Maybe if we get, like, I don't know. I fantasize about dedicated servers. If they gave us the ability to use our own servers, at least that would be cool. Like if they gave us a server client with whatever games they're doing next, right? So that way, you know, we could crowdsource it. We could get a set of servers together, the same as what Warcraft 3 Champions does, and then we could have like a lag-free tournament scene. That would be really, really nice. Not lag-free, but helpful. You know, it would be good. I don't know why they're stingy with the server setup. It's a cheap win for a company of that size. So I think they're stingy with the server setup because of the when I remember asking one of them about it a long time ago, and it was something like the engine of the game isn't like it was a weird thing where like the game was designed for peer-to-peer like this one, so integrating servers would require like a big rework of like some sort of code. I don't quite remember what they said, but it was something along those lines. Yeah. I really hope we get servers, but yeah. I don't know. It's a pipe dream, I think. I think getting feasible matchmaking is possible. I think a functional leaderboard, an ELO-based matchmaking system is all possible. I think that dedicated servers are like a long shot. Yeah. Do a subathon where all donations, profits go towards the server. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think people really do subathons on YouTube. Well, I guess we stream on YouTube and Twitch now, but yeah. I thought about doing something fun like that, doing like a YouTube member-thon / subathon on Twitch, and we could put the prize. We could like put it towards like a tournament prize or something. That'd be really fun. Total War dedicated servers, fight for your right not to lag. Yeah. Peer-to-peer kills so many promising multiplayer games. It does. It's a problem. We've fought through the peer-to-peer connections for freaking 9-10 years over here, and we've made the best of it for sure. But it's rough. Yeah, Rusty, I'm working on it. I'm don't worry. I'm advocating for you guys with multiplayer stuff. You can know that while I am involved in Total War, there will be advocating for balancing and patching and improvements. We're always going to be doing it. So, do a barrel roll, Nomi. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So, Demons of Chaos, Chaos Dwarves, players are building their armies. Nomi, thank you for being a member for 38 months, dude. It's a long time. Thank you so much. I don't know about the build here. Chaos Dwarves have plenty of options. Usually the Demon Trains are pretty good if you get the Hellbound ability that gives them magic damage. So you can get 2 Demon Trains with the Hellbound ability that shoot magic damage attacks. The Magma Cannons are decent here. Death Shriekers can be decent too. I mean, there's a whole bunch of options. Kadai Fireborn are also quite good too. A little bit weak against Zinchi shooting, but aside from that. Actually, that's not true because they have fire resist, right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so maybe Kadai are going to be good here. We'll see. You're enjoying the Battle for Middle-earth content, Fourth? I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. The only thing that we need from CA would be an announcement. Oh God, I hope so, Rusty. I hope so. If they give us the big 40K and then I get to play my Death Guard, I will be so erect. I'm gonna be so happy. I'll be so damn happy. All right, so Chaos Demons are ready. And the Chaos Dwarves, I can see this being like a lore battle. Like the Chaos Dwarves want to subjugate some of the demons and like put them in their demon engines, and the demons are like, no, we don't want any of that. We do not want to be in your demon engine. They're like, get in my belly. Remember that from Austin Powers, the fat bastard character. Yeah. Of course, Pone shows up with the Tau, just killing the mood here. Oh God. I wonder. Yeah, do we have a lot of Tau enjoyers in chat? I'm sure there's a couple. Yeah. All right, guys. The battle is on. It's going to be Plague Bearers. Ooh, a Plague Bearer infantry line backed up by a little bit of Zinchian shooting. A Soul Grinder of Zinch to counter the Trains and the Sorcerer Prophet if it's on a Bale Taurus. And then an Exalted Chicken. So it is going to be a chicken with some KFC magic. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen... Yeah, this will be the last thing we'll say about it. The reason why I hate Tau is because when I first started playing 40K in the beginning of 8th edition, Tau players, back then, ITC and competitive play was all kill points. Like, objectives didn't really mean a lot. So you would show up at a table. There would be some neckbeard Tau player sitting in the corner. He would corner camp with his entire army in the furthest corner of the table. And you would have like a terrible terrain setup, you know, at a lot of these early events in 8th edition. And the Tau player would just like mouth breathe and just shoot your army off the table like by turn 2 or 3. It was so awful because now 40k does a good job with terrain and the missions are way better, but 8th edition was rough, dude. So you would just get tabled by Tau gun lines before you could even play the game. And it would just be this weeb just chortling on the other side of the table, just rolling like 500 dice and blasting your shitty Nurgle stuff off the table, you know? But now it's not as bad. Now the terrain is better. You know, now Tau are totally fine. I play against my friends Tau all the time and there's no issues. So, you know, that was just my experience as a beginner in 8th edition. So I have this like stigma about the Tau, but it's, you know, obviously. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's break it down. So looking here at the forces of Bob That Builder, it's going to be Chaos Demons versus Chaos Dwarves. We got Plague Bearers into the Sunset, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3 of those. And Plague Bearers are a respectable infantry unit. For 700 gold, they could probably defeat a Chaos Dwarf Warrior, but would lose to anything higher up. It's a little bit hard to say. In the backside, we do have the Exalted Pink Cores of Tzeentch, as well as Sour Guts. So their shooting is all right, but the problem is the fire damage, because Chaos Dwarves have fire resist on like all their units. So it is like a faction-wide debuff, basically. But I mean, it's still taking 15% off of frickin', you know, 31 missile strength. It's still a decent amount of damage, right? All right, guys, we have the Soul Grinder of Slaanesh, and it is going to be the Exalted Lord of Change of Tzeentch, and he's going to be using the Infernal Gateway, which is really good against elite Chaos Dwarf infantry. So like the Infernal Guard and the Fire Glaives and all those kind of units. It also doesn't do fire damage, so they're not going to be getting a damage mitigation, which is good. All right, guys. So over here on objective number 3, it is going to be the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders grabbing that point. And the rest of the Dawizar army here for Lemur is going to be a Sorcerer Prophet with Metal, so Final Transmutation and Searing Doom. We got Blazing Beards of Basharak, Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and some Infernal Guard, one of the coolest units in the game. I love Infernal Guard. I have a huge brick of these guys in tabletop, so they're going to be advancing up and getting ready to grab objective number 2. So Chaos Dwarves with a very headstrong army. No artillery, no shooting out of the gates here. The Soul Grinder is getting shot by the Sorcerer Prophet. People often forget that the Sorcerer Prophet does have a pistol, so he is able to put some firepower down into the Soul Grinder, and also it makes him weak to fire. The Sorcerer Prophet's pistol does have a flammable effect, so whatever he shoots is going to be 20% weaker to fire damage there, which is pretty cool. Plague Bearers trying to move up on the point, but going to be retreating because they do not want any of that smoke. The Dawis are going to be using modern technology and literally throwing hand grenades at you. So here comes the first salvo of hand grenades, and the Nurgle demons are going to be getting forced back there. So they lose a fair amount of their HP. So how are the demons going to be hanging with this? We see the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch being forced back, Plague Bearers being forced back. Certainly not the best start for the demons, as Sour Guts and Plague Bearers are going to be consolidating up the high ground objective. Maybe they're going to be doing a push from the high ground here and using that to shoot. Now, Chaos Dwarves are going to be calling out a dreaded Iron Demon. Now, Iron Demon is going to be Hellbound, which gives it perfect vigor, which is insanely good, because it keeps the armor active. And on top of that, the Iron Demon itself does have magic damage melee and shooting. So talk about S tier, right? So is it going to last Samurai in? We do have the Exalted Lord of Chicken, who is an AP fighter, who can certainly fight the Demon Engine if he wants to. So here it comes, Iron Demon getting blasted, losing about 400 HP in one salvo, but it is going to be Limp Bizkit rolling through these guys. So rolling. And here comes the Chicken as well. So the Chicken is, like I said, a good AP fighter. So the train could have maybe delved too greedily and too deeply. We'll have to see. Chaos Dwarves do have the low ground objective. They have objective 3 and objective 2, and they're pretty comfortable on both of those. Really nice Searing Doom from the Sorcerer Prophet there. Going to be punishing, but this is a nice play from Bob. Getting the Heartseekers of Slaanesh to surround the train are going to kill it super quickly. All right, S tier play coming in. Veiltor is going to be using a breath attack, and it does do a lot against the Heartseekers, actually. But the Pain Train is in a position where it's going to die. And now the Soul Grinder able to get the catch. So the train did delve too greedily and too deeply. And the Chaos Dwarf Engineers are like, get out of here! As they get run down by the Slaaneshi Cavalry. That would definitely not be fun for them. But the Chaos Dwarves also get nailed in the middle as well. The Infernal Gateway of Tzeentch. God damn, that did a shitload of damage right there. Look at that. Basically one-shotting the Blazing Beards of Basharak. Demon Train, going to be trying to escape. It has 600 HP, and it is getting some good damage in there as it does die. More power activated, so these Chaos Dwarves are going to be pumping those Dwarven cogs as they advance the train, and the Tzeentch Beast Right up on its tail, though. It's going to be tough. Now, one Plague Bearer unit being killed by these skirmishers. Blunderbusses are being called out as well. Chaos Dwarves being swarmed on the other side. So we do see Bob with some beautiful play, by the way, using the Heartseekers, because the Dwarves kind of a little bit isolated over here. The Heartseekers get around the back. They get the Soul Scent here, but they also get the Devastating Flanker, which means when they rear charge you, it doubles their charge bonus up to a freaking 100, right? Heartseekers are a nasty unit, man. So overall, I would say Bob is kind of pulling his opponent apart a little bit. The Chaos Dwarves, most of their army is kind of anchored in the middle, and they're having some problems here. And a bit of a micro blunder here. The Granite Guard charging into melee versus the Plague Bearers, so they weren't given a proper attack order. So that's going to be a huge loss from Lemur's Bane. Having them fighting in melee versus a very good melee fighter here is not what they want. So the Granite Guard are going to need to retreat, pull them back, and maybe call out some Kadai Fireborn to push up and do a little bit of work there. Would be the way. Infernal Guard, Giga Chatting it, trying to hold it down. That's going to be a great Searing Doom right there. So that's going to be bonking these Plague Bearers and Nurglings on the head. So good magic usage, as the Infernal Guard don't really care about the Plague Bearers' damage because they have 100 armor and very, very good melee defense as well. But the Infernal Gateway of Tzeentch is going to be very devastating. So the eye to the warp does open. You can see the infinite cosmos of the warp gazing down upon these poor Chaos Dwarves, and that's not what they signed up for. That is for damn sure. So the elite unit getting hammered there. And now we could see a situation where the Sorcerer Prophet is going to be isolated by these elite Slaanesh Cavalry with the Exalted Lord of Change as well. This is not good. The Sorcerer Prophet from Lemur's Bane is surrounded here, and he's potentially in a situation where he's going to be killed. Middle objective, a lot of Chaos Dwarf units kind of sitting idle. Granite Guard, were they able to stabilize? They were, so they're going to be using their guard mode and shooting up into the sky, as the Chaos Dwarves do make a play for the high ground, using their mobility and Hobgoblins to try and push up on these pinks. But this is pretty much the deciding factor in the game. If Bob is able to get the pick on the Sorcerer Prophet, that is going to be devastating. So the Sorcerer Prophet here is being hunted by the Slaanesh Cavalry, which do have 100 movement speed. So the Bull, I love how much of a sausage the Bale Taurus is. Oh, it looks so good. I mean, as cool as the Age of Sigmar Chaos Dwarves are, man, the original Chaos Dwarf aesthetic is from like Legions of Asgore and like some of that era is just so much better. At least to me. I mean, obviously, it's all in the eye of the beholder, right? And people are going to like what they like. So, -2 here. We do see the Sorcerer Prophet getting hammered down, and that's got to be GG. He's an expensive character. Sorcerer Prophets cost like close to 3,000 gold, so losing him to the Slaaneshi Cavalry and the Exalted Lord of Chicken is going to be really good. So Bob did a great job pulling apart the flanks with Slaanesh Cavalry and then isolating the train as well. I mean, just a beautiful execution. And the Infernal Gateway was so effective because Chaos Dwarves do not have magic resistance. They have fire resistance instead. So they do not have the blessings of their ancestors in terms of the magic resistance. Slaanesh Soul Grinder is still in good shape, and the Chaos Dwarves probably wishing they had brought some artillery here in this game. 500 HP on the Sorcerer Prophet is going to be the end of the road. So this was a rematch, actually. Bob lost this matchup earlier. Lemur's Bane beat Bob that Builder earlier in the tournament with Chaos Dwarves, but Bob was able to redo his build, come up with some new tactics, and innovate and get it done. We do see Granite Guard being taken down by the peppering shooting of those units, and the Shadow Legion is going to be victorious here today. GG, well played. What a great match. That was super fun, wasn't it? Pug, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it, boss. Thank you for supporting the old man here. All right. So let's look at the value. Let's break it down. 3,000 on the chicken. The Infernal Gateways were S tier. Little Tzeentch Demons. It was kind of a cooperation of all the gods. The Soul Grinder basically did nothing. It got 200 value that game. Almost cost Bob the game. But the Elite Slaanesh Cav, 1,900 value there, 1,500 were able to carry the game on the flanks. And that was going to be it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. I certainly had a lot of fun in that tournament match of the gods. And now we are going to be getting on to the grand finals of today's tournament. So let us go ahead and host it. Finals and see who is going to be cooking here. All right. Let's get you in there. And we're going to get Bob that Builder finals here. And we need to see who's on the other side as well. If Lemur brings the Lamassu, it needs to be Lemursu. Yeah. Lemursu. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. So Scrambled Egg and Janikin are still playing on the other side. I would imagine they'll be done soonish. The map for the grand finals, let me get that set up, is going to be what? It is going to be the Gates of EDHRE, very much a dwarfish map. You can tell Grombrindle is the host of the tournament by the fact that we have Gates of EDHRE in here. He loves it, so. Dwarves love that map because they could just lane push you. That was a good one, though. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have been enjoying some Total War action, man, we've been going for years. Still hanging in there. You know, the old Total War engine's alive. GG to Lemur, fun game. He got me the first time around. Yeah, that's what I was telling him, Bob. Bob, get in this lobby, by the way. I just set up the Grand Finals lobby. And we will see who is going to be winning this next one. And we can go from there. Okay, refresh it. Even the 5-round tournaments still over pretty quick. Yeah, they get going pretty quick here. Okay, let's refresh this. And Bob, don't forget to report your score on the website as well. I'm going to definitely do the Dawn of War 1 remaster. Dawn of War 1 remaster. Release date? When is that going to be? Okay, August 14th is when we're getting that. Yeah, the definitive edition here. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay. Turn down the trailer here, and there we go. Yeah, so it comes out on August 14th. Let's see what some of the videos look like here. That looks pretty damn good, honestly. Those, I mean, obviously they're the retro style, but this looks great, man. This looks great. And how many factions are in this game, by the way, in the original one? I never played the first Dawn of War. I've only played Dawn of War 2. But yeah, those Necrons, they look solid as hell, man. So Dawn of War 1 is like a base building. Yeah, they're remastering Dawn of War 1, and it's coming out on August 14th. It's like a full-on heavy-duty remaster. I'm very excited. Yeah, Dreadnought looks freaking great. Oh, man, they even have the obelisk, or whatever the hell the thing's called, the pyramid. Yeah. Space Marines, Chaos, Eldar, Orcs, Imperial Guard, Dark Eldar, Tau, Sisters of Battle, and Necrons. That's a pretty good range of factions. Okay. It's a proper RTS. I'm hyped. Sign me up for that shit. I love classic RTS with base building. So the monolith, yeah. All the yelling. There's going to be a lot of yelling. Yeah, okay. Here's the original game, and then here's the new one. That looks pretty good. Yeah, original game, and then, yeah, it's definitely a nice update there. The original game doesn't look bad either, though. Still holds up pretty well, all things considered. Cool, man. Cool. Let's get pumped. Lots of base building in this one. Yes. We're going to become a Chaos Space Marine main. We're going to have tournaments. You guys, if you guys want to start training now, we're going to be having all sorts of fun tournaments for Dawn of War 1. So, yeah, get pumped. Whatever community we kind of dive into or game, I always love to host events. I think the most fun is like bringing everybody together and just having big fun casual events with some sweaty ones as well, like what we're doing for Age of the Ring. You know, we're going to do that there as well. Okay, so let's check there and see what's cooking. All right, still waiting on the other side. I'm hyped as well. I'm worried that the NIDs won't be available on launch. Let's hope so. Will be the first tournament you get into. Yeah. So we're going to have a beginner tournament for sure. It'll be for people like, there's obviously people who still play Dawn of War 1 and are like extremely good at it, I'm sure. So we will have some restrictions where like, yeah, just don't be a dick. Let the new players have fun in an event, you know, and then we'll have some sweatier ones once people learn the game. The sync kills are one of the coolest parts about Dawn of War in general. Yeah, they're so freaking rad. Beware the Sisters and the Eldar. They're really good. Okay, I'm going to be playing Chaos, though. Yeah, it'll be great fun. And the modding is going to have a lot of potential, too. Like, I bet you at some point the mod makers are going to be able to add, like, Death Guard and other things like that. That'd be really fun. And the World Eaters and, you know, Thousand Suns and all that. That would be freaking rad. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that, Dylan. There's Death Guard in the Unification mod. Got it. Does it have, like, the Death Guard units from 40k, like Plague Burst Crawlers and the Blight Drones and Bloat Drones and things like that? So that other game is really sweaty. Oh my god, they're still going. Let me know when done. And we're going to do this with Scrambled Egg. Great. Unification has Death Guard, World Eaters, and Thousand Suns. No Emperor's Children, though, huh? Yeah. All of the Death Guard units. Ooh, that's cool. And a Plague Tower, which is a Nurglified Bane Blade. That's kind of badass. I'm going to go grab a drink from the kitchen real quick, guys. Get a little bit of H2O for this Grand Finals. And we're going to have some fun. So fasten your seatbelts, guys, and get ready for a good time. BRB. All right, guys, I'm back. What's going on? So where were we? We are waiting for the other side to finish. Yeah, they're still in game right now. I just checked in with them. Yeah, so we could make a. Yeah, so do we have some of the Age of the Ring creators in here? We got Wambly in here. Assyrian, are you hanging out as well? Because when we update, yeah, if you so Assyrian and Wambly, I know you guys are here. If you guys, what do you guys do to keep track of the best players in Age of the Ring? Do you have like a tournament leaderboard or like a website that kind of tracks all that, or is it mainly done via like just a Discord channel, that sort of thing? I'm just curious how you guys run stuff with that, like the super high level, like. So for example, like we have this. We have on Total Tavern, you can see we have a leaderboard with like all the best players, and then there's like a Hall of Fame that tracks, and we have like a season system, so you can go look at the previous seasons. Is there something like that? Oh, what is this? A headhunter tourney? Twist's headhunter tourney. Oh, it's kind of interesting. Let's see what this is. Hey guys, I'll be hosting a for fun event with a secondary victory condition, eliminating the enemy lord and legendary heroes. That's kind of fun. Yeah, it's cool. Just Google it. What do you want me to Google, Pone? Usually Googling, like, you know, for like a... Yeah, I don't think that's something you can find in... Oh, you're talking about for the mod. Okay. Yeah, I thought you meant Google the Age of the Ring thing, like their tournament website. We're really just now getting our feet wet with tracking this stuff. The league is basically our effort to start doing that. So, yeah, Wambly, something that could be done down the road for Age of the Ring is once we update the website and get the code like ironed out, because it's currently being rewritten right now by a couple of volunteers, so it's not going to have the lag issues. It's going to be smoother. It's going to be cleaner UI and everything. We could maybe make an Age of the Ring website, which the Age of the Ring team could just mod. You guys could just run it, and so you would be able to give people the ability to host tournaments. They would set up like a tournament page like this, right? And then the stats get fed into the player profiles. It gets fed into this, so you could actually track the data. And you would also have a leaderboard built in on the front page as well. So when you go to the front page, you know, when individuals start winning tournaments, they can get a spot on the front page. So what you could also do is you could put, basically, we have a system where when you win a certain amount of games, you unlock avatars. So like, you know, you get, and like there are custom avatars for people who have accomplished special things, like won major events and whatnot. So you can, you could do that as well. It's pretty easy to run. Like I could probably show one of your mod guys, your moderators, how to like run the website in like half an hour, and it would be pretty cool. It's just something if you guys want down the road. I don't know if it's something you're interested in, but it could be cool. All right, so let me get this and go back here. All right, are we ready for the finals yet? Okay. So who won the grand finals? We have our finals coming right now. Okay, they just finished. You felt Pug, that's great, man. Who won? They both told me they finished, but neither of them said who won, so I'm just kind of standing here like an idiot waiting. Okay, let's get the invite going, and it is going to be a duel here. So the ogres defeated the dark elves again. Okay. So, Demons of Chaos versus Ogre Kingdoms. Yeah, it's got to be fun. I'll talk to the powers that be about that and follow up. Definitely something. Yeah, it's in Wambly, for the record, it wouldn't like... This is a ways off. It's probably like a couple months till we update the website, and it wouldn't cost you guys anything. It's like I would just host the website with my other website, and yeah, you guys could just use it for Age of the Ring and keep track of your tournaments and stuff. And if there ever comes a day where, you know, I get run over by, you know, a potato truck, you guys could just take it over if you wanted to, you know. But yeah. Cool, man. So we got Bob and a potato truck. So yeah, there actually is a story to the potato truck, if you're wondering. So one of my one of my friends that I went to high school with, well, not high school, middle school, his great grandfather fought in World War II. He was with the British Army. And, you know, despite all the conflicts that he was involved in, like he got run over by a farmer in a potato truck, and that's actually what killed the man. So he fought in several of the major battles in World War II in the British Army, but he was just like walking, like during the war, he was just like walking down a path and he got run over by a potato truck. That was how that man went out. It's like, dude, it's like you survive these crazy battles, like, and that's pretty rough, you know. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, we got Ogre Kingdoms versus the Demons of Chaos here. And so it begins. It is the grand finals. Rip indeed, yeah. You're the hero there. You know, he had a rough outro to life, but so it goes, yeah. That's just life, man. You know, that's just life. Demons of Chaos, Ogre Kingdoms. Final destination levels of an ending there, yeah, for sure. No, he was not Irish. No, he was English. Yeah. So this is a fun matchup because it's pretty dynamic. You have Screamers, you have fast Slanesh Cavalry, you have Plague Bearers probably with Blues as your core infantry choice. So, you know, Blues, Plague Bearers, all sorts of stuff like this. Gates of Ekron is a weird one because it's very hard to get like focus shooting on this map. You can kind of shoot down the lanes a little bit, but it is a very tight space. Demons can use Furies, you can use Screamers, you can use your fast cavalry. You can also just swarm your opponent with like mass Plague Bearers and go for like an Urgot style build. There's options. It is very difficult to deal with Lead Belchers though. Doc and Ogres are two of your favorite factions. Love these hilarious. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, they're fun. Changebringers are good if you can shut down the Lead Belchers. Yeah, so if you can shut down the Ogre shooting, Changebringers can come in and just like kind of karate chop everything. Yeah, they're very, very nasty. All right, we're going to be getting into the finals here. It's going to be Demons of Chaos and Ogres. Bob that Builder versus the dreaded Scrambled Egg Special. Taking a look here, what do we have? We have, currently, if we look at the leaderboard, we have Scrambled Egg Special is the number 3 ranked player on the tournament leaderboard right now. Technically, that would make him the number 4 ranked player in the world right now. So Anticity is the number 1 ranked player because he won the most recent world championship we had, which is when the seasons end, we have a world championship. So Anticity would be the number 1 ranked player in the world. Charix would be number 2. Scrambled Egg would be number 3, actually. And Bob, I don't know if Bob is top 16, but he definitely is of the caliber of a top 16 player. He's very, very good. Thunder Tusks are completely allowed. Yeah. So that's just a little summary of that situation there. Cool, man. Let's have some fun. Scrambled Egg is great. He's a really nice guy, too. He's like an awesome sport, you know, very, very friendly. Man, Turin, this one time you said US had some serious Ogre Kingdoms energy. It's super true. I mean, come on. Gluttonous eating, ridiculous guns and firepower, obesity. I would say Ogre Kingdoms are more representative of certain parts of the country. It depends, although I would say obesity is pretty rampant. So it's definitely this is my anecdote, right? So this isn't like representative of like the entire country. But anecdotally speaking, about half of my family comes from the South. You know, I have a lot of family from Texas and some of my, if we go really far back, like Oklahoma, and the other half of my family are all like New York City, Massachusetts, Italian Americans, Irish Americans. And I've never seen people as big as I've seen in the South when I was visiting my family in the South. And I think it's just, there's just so much sugar in Southern food. Like between the sweet teas, like all the barbecue sauces are just loaded with sugar. It's just like, you know, it's hardcore, man. It's really the Ogre Kingdoms. Oh yeah. I have seen it. That's why I got to be careful what I eat, because I can put on weight quickly. I have some Ogre Kingdoms genetics in there, for sure. Oh yeah, America has pretty rough food. Like a lot of the ingredients they allow in food in the United States is like stuff that's like outlawed in the European Union. Yeah. All right. So let's get it. Let's have some fun and break down the finals. Let's see what builds they have. 5 sticks of butter. Yeah, Paula Deen. So there was like a celebrity chef named Paula Deen, and literally like every recipe she did, she's like a southern kind of southern food chef. It was always just like some sort of like a fried chicken with like potatoes, and she always had like eight sticks of butter in everything she made. Like if you go back and watch her food tutorials, it's always like, yeah, just throw like 5 sticks of butter in there, you know? Oh, for sure, canned beans. Agreed. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's break it down and take a look at the armies here. We have the forces of Bob that Builder. And he's going to be coming in with the dreaded double Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Yes, yes. So Soul Grinders of Tzeentch have anti-large attacks that they can throw from downtown, and they're pretty good against the Ogres. They do have 250 range, so with proper skirmishing, they can actually kill Lead Belchers, which is cool. Aside from that, the mainline army is going to be Plague Bearers, and some Pinks and Nurglings in the Vanguard to get the points quickly. So Tzeentch is going to be doing a lot of skirmishing, using their 2 Soul Grinders here, as well as the Exalted Lord of Change with blue fire spam to kill the Lead Belchers. So if Tzeentch can kill the Lead Belchers in the shooting, then maybe it's going to be able to just call in the Changebringers, but that is not going to be an easy feat. We have 3 units of Man-Eaters with pistols, 1 including the Powder Guts. So these guys are excellent at shooting down flying threats, especially something like the Changebringers. Potentially going to be kind of weak against the Soul Grinders with their Javelin throws, but the Soul Grinders don't have a ton of ammo. So the question is, are 2 Soul Grinders going to be enough to take down 3 of these units? I don't know. Find out today, guys. Blue Fire is there as well. The Blue Fire is there as well. All right, guys, let's get it. Let's have some fun, and here we go. So advancing on up are the Plague Bearers and the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. Exalted Lord of Change going to be back here. He's got Blue Fire and Pink Fire. Pink Fire is good at clearing out Noblars, and Blue Fire is very good at sniping, more single entity or monsters unit, infantry-sized units there. So there they go. Why do I hear Nelly Furtado every time I hear Man-Eaters? Well, when I hear Man-Eaters, it makes me think of the Hall & Oates song, right? They have a song called, was it Man-Eaters, or it was, yeah, watch out, here she comes. Yeah, that song. Yeah, that's Hall & Oates, right? Yeah, it's a catchy song. Well, anyways, Demon's going to be getting Nurglings on the other side. So the Ogre's not going to be playing the outside objective, which is very strange. Rather, the Ogre Kingdom's army of Scrambled Egg is going to be just pushing down objective 2 and trying to value trade with his opponent here. So we'll see how that all goes. Now, the Tzeentch Demon is going to be flying overhead, getting ready to drop some fat blue fires on the Powder Guts here. So here it comes. And yep, that's going to go down there. We're going to follow these lovely blue orbs as they get in and do take down a couple of these ogres here. Maybe, nope, the ogre is able to endure it. So they took some damage, but at the end of the day, didn't lose a single model. So that is pretty good. Exalted Lord of Change getting afflicted by Spirit Leech. So if you're the Tzeentch player, or the Demons of Chaos player, you're going to want to pull back at this point, and you're going to want to let those shields regenerate before you go back in. Soul Grinders are trying to get in range, but very good play from Scrambled Egg. He's running his shooting away and sending forth his crappy units as a screen, and that is going to be keeping Bob from getting free harass there. On the outside, Nurgling's going to be arriving, which is a big win. Ogres can simply respond with, an Ogre Bull or a Saber Tusk, but the risky part about that against Demons of Chaos is Seekers and Heartseekers can come out. So I think the Ogres are putting respect on the fact that the Demons of Chaos can present a more threatening mobile core, and what they're going to do is they're going to keep their entire army together, okay? And they're just going to push down the lane. So that's going to mitigate the effectiveness of things like Seekers and Heartseekers. All right, so you can actually attack him with the Ogre Bulls here with the dual weapons. He is. The first Javelin's coming out, and Super Saiyan Poseidon Javelin. Does it kill any of those guys? Not even really that much damage. So, yeah, not a little bit underwhelming. So the Demons are going to have to hold here. Currently, we see Scrambled Eggs going to be calling in Pink Horrors of Tzeentch, which are very good against Ogre units, but, can be charged. I do think some of the Exalted Demons could be good here. Probably Exalted Plague Bearers would be our best bet in terms of just infantry. Nurgling's going to be advancing up on the point to buffer and keep the Noblars busy. And the Soul Grinders are trying to get some decent trading here, but at the end of the day, they are having some issues. On the outside objective, we do see objective 3 going to the forces of the Demons. They're going to be hanging on that one. And a little battling does continue. Soul Grinder, where's its Javelin going to go? It really wants to take down those Man-Eaters. Oh, here she comes. All right, Javelin shot. Is it going to make it? Oh, he hits the hill there and does barely any damage. Elevation and line of sight is a big variable in this game. You have to be pretty careful with that stuff. So probably you would want to get up on this little hill right here, King of the Castle. And you're going to want to throw your Javelins at those value units if you can. So Noblars do get attacked by a Soul Grinder. Although I think the Soul Grinder just moved through them. I don't think it actually had an attack order. in that situation. Nurgling's advancing, and certainly comfortable for Bob, because Bob knows he could just hang on to objectives, although the ogres are going to be threatening that paradigm. So we do see Pigback Riders coming across and 2 ogres. Okay, that's going to be hard. Pigback Riders will be very good against any of the Slaanesh mobility. And the Ogre Bulls are going to take him to Pound Town, but we see it anyways. So that is going to be Heartseeker. So this is exactly what we talked about, right? Slaanesh utilizing its superior cavalry to defend its flank objective. That is a lot of capture weight, though. Ogre Bulls are 5 apiece. Pigbacks are going to be 2, so that's going to be 12 capture weight against 5 plus 4, so it's going to be 9. And yeah, the Ogres really need to stay on top of the Pigback Riders, or else they're going to have a terrible time. As far as this fighting goes, a little bit of a skirmish. Nobody's really committing to the fight. They're just being very, very careful here. Meanwhile, on the side objective, the Nurgling's going to be engaging Pigbacks, and the Heartseekers are going to like insta-kill these Saber-Tusks if they decide to take that charge. But the Nurglings should trade well enough into Pigback Riders. In theory, they should win that, although I don't know if they will. Lord of Change is lurking nearby. He's maybe going to be looking to get some blue fires, and it looks like the demons are going to be actually yielding this objective. They are going to be letting the ogres take that point, and what is their play going to be? Okay, they're now going to be pushing the home objective here. We do see the Soul Grinders finally getting some good targets into the Man-Eaters, and they're going to be running back. Meanwhile, the Pink's going to be getting beautiful firepower into the Ogre Bulls. The Nurgling battle lines are not going to be stalwart, though. They're certainly going to be a little bit on the flimsier side of things. A lot of popcorn being thrown. The cotton candy volleys are getting good work done against the Ogre Bulls, forcing them back. But yeah, these Plague Bears and Nurglings don't know how long they're going to hold for. Soul Grinders able to wear down the Man-Eaters, and let's go ahead and take a look at this side. We do see double Slaanesh Cavalry coming out, as the Exalted Lord does do great damage against the Pigbacks. And look, if the Pigback Riders get broken, the Slaanesh Cavalry are going to feast. So Slaanesh Cavalry with a bad charge order, unfortunately, are going to be moving in, and they do get into combat there. The Exalted Lord of Chicken diving in. Ooh, nice dismember on those guys, slowing them down, but even still, the Heartseekers probably will do pretty good. With the Exalted Lord of Change nearby, who's going to be summoning some Chaos Furies, the Portal Glyph. I don't know, though. Yeah, that Dismember is doing a shit ton of damage against them. And those Furies need to be activated right away. They need to be sent down here into the fight. So Bob, a little bit slow on that, but it's all good. Pigback Riders are wavering, pretty close to breaking. The Seekers and Nurglings are trying their best, but the Ogres are remaining quite stalwart here. But we do see the Ogre Bull unit get folded up by the Heartseekers, and then the Saber-Tusk pack is also going to be getting folded up here as well. So big win for the Demons of Chaos here. Probably will be able to pile in over here and win. You can see the Slaanesh Cavalry looking very, very good. Meanwhile, on this side, we do take a look at the Ogres advancing and making some pretty good progress. The Soul Grinders getting chased down, one of them being tar-pitted by Pigback Riders. This is really, really not good for the Demons of Chaos. Having their Soul Grinders being threatened and killed by like a crappy 300 gold spear unit feels pretty bad. But the Blues and Pinks advancing, going to be putting some firepower down. The Soul Grinders going to pull back most likely and consolidate themselves and then get ready to focus fire again. But the Demons have been able to hold this. Plague Bears and Nurglings, as well as Pinks and company, are enduring, but it's only a matter of time before the Ogres get in. The Ogres are knocking on Heaven's Door, and they do have the Powder Guts and the Man-Eaters who are going to be potentially chasing those guys down. Back over towards objective number 2, Slaanesh Cavalry doing exactly what we expected, which is winning that engagement. They were able to dominate that part of the fight. Some of them do get overwhelmed in the wood. The Heartseekers do charge in here, fighting 2 Saber-Tusk packs and a Blood Vulture. That's going to be a little bit too much. But their value, they probably got about 800 value, I would say, give or take, about 600 right there, so we were close. And they are going to be dragged down. That's a 1,400 gold cap unit, so losing them there is pretty rough. But the objective is held, and will the Demons of Chaos be able to hold back the onslaught of the Ogre Kingdoms? It's hard to say. Blues and Pinks getting cost-effective shooting here. Both Soul Grinders, are they alive? Yes, both Soul Grinders did live. The pursuing Ogre units were harried and pushed back. The Exalted Lord of KFC, it looks like he's going to be going for a Lord Snipe attempt. He's trying to get the Slaughtermaster down, but the Slaughtermaster is kind of running around on his old peg leg there and avoiding a lot of those shots. I love the usage of these Man-Eaters, though. The Man-Eater blob is really, really good against the Demons because they're strong in combat. They have really good combat stats. So even if you try and shut them down with like Furies or things like that, they're going to be able to fight them off and then, continue shooting. Blues advancing up, getting tar-pitted by Vultures, and still the Demons are not relinquishing their point. And we do have the Javelin Throwers of Poseidon here, both of the Soul Grinders. Still getting respectable damage. Nothing crazy, though. About 400 on this one, and this one's going to be sitting at 400 value so far. So, yeah, a little bit lackluster on the value from the 2 Soul Grinders. And honestly, I think that if Bob is going to be kicking himself in the butt about anything, it's probably going to be the Soul Grinders. And what are we going to see in response here? Slaanesh Cav is coming out. Heartseeker is on the way. A single Heartseeker with a proper charge should be able to win this fight. That's for sure. The big bird up in the sky, KFC bird, going to be fighting some of his fellow drumsticks here as the Blood Vultures are eventually going to lose that fight, but not before they do some good damage. And another good Dismember. That Dismember is really nice. It does not lower their charge bonus, so they still get their charge bonus. And they are going to be nibbling through these guys for sure. All right, how are the Soul Grinders doing? This map, it seems like they're having some issues with the elevation. One Soul Grinder is basically almost dead, and I think that's going to cost Bob the game, because Bob has done a really good job value trading, considering he's had two, like, 2,000 gold units basically do nothing. Both Soul Grinders, I don't think they've, barely 500-600 value. They're having a really bad time. So that is, I think, what cost Bob the game. Aside from that, his flank play is good. Like, using the Slanesh Cavalry has been pretty effective here. But, yeah, tough stuff. Heartseeker's going to be running away. Don't want to get tar pitted by too many units. They're going to be refreshing their charge bonus. The KFC chicken up in the sky going to be battling it out versus the Blood Vultures. Blood Vultures here are shaken and stirred, but they've done really good. They've gotten about almost 2,000 value off this Exalted Lord of Chicken, right? So that's very, very good. Looking around at the old Ogre Kingdoms, how are they looking? Looking very smooth. Honestly, Scrambled Egg Special has been microing like an absolute master here with these Powder Guts, so they have not been getting caught. Demons are still holding on to the back objective. Is there any hope for them? Because the Demons do not have enough of a points lead to win on just one objective here. So that's going to be very, very tough here. Soul Grinder is moving back up on the hill. It's still got, this one's, yeah, it's pretty raggedy, this bad boy. Nurglings are pushing back those. And will the Slanesh Cav be able to win on the flank? This is going to be pretty big for them. They definitely need it. So Slanesh Cavalry moving in. Blood Vulture is going to be descending from the skies. The Exalted Lord of Chicken is down to about 800 value here. Bob is holding on, fighting tooth and nail. Relatively hard situation, but is doing well for himself. Over towards objective number 1. What do we have? We do see the Ogre Bulls with dual weapons still progressing towards the demonic objective. The pinks and the blues and the Soul Grinders really on the back foot here, ladies and gentlemen. But 2 Nurgling units are chasing back all of these freaking Man-Eaters. I do think that the Man-Eaters probably should have just turned around and fought the Nurglings, because 2 Man-Eaters in general will beat down these units. And I think he does get the picture here. Is he going to be engaging in combat? Looks like he is. All right, Noblars with Trappers, Ninja Stars into the Nurglings here. Really should just fight and kill these Nurglings. It would be a pretty easy kill for them. Ogre Lord's getting a little bit low, and the Demons are holding onto their home point. Now, is Bob going to be able to mount a comeback? Here, we do see a big Slanesh Cavalry engagement, and they are able to win it, so the objective here is going to be going back. Maybe Bob is not out of this game yet. It was kind of looking like the game was getting rough, but you have to remember a lot of value is sunken into the chicken here, and the chicken has been regenerating, is still very much functional. He has the Protoss shields. So this game is actually, I think, quite a bit closer than it looks, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. Soul Grinder thrown in there. Still going to be a terror-causing unit in the later stages of the game. Where are the reinforcements here? We do see some Noblar Trappers coming back in. No demonic reinforcements here. And the Nurglings and Slanesh Cavalry are going to be trying to consolidate in and secure this objective. 2 Nurglings coming in will give very nice buffering, and they should be able to continue winning this. The Exalted Lord of Chicken going to be hiding in the trees, and he's going to be doing some epic cinematic shots as he flies above the ruins of this, well, not even ruins. They look pretty active to me, to these dwarven pillars. On the home point here, Soul Grinder versus Noblar Trappers. Ogres are slowly winning this fight here. Their dual weapon bulls are pretty good grinding units. They're going to be able to grind down the blues. The blues are, they're okay fighters, but Ogre Bull dual weapons do have a bonus for infantry of 12, which is pretty substantial. Soul Grinder is still going to be able to help hold the back objective. And will the Slanesh Cavalry carry the late game? I mean, maybe. Here's the thing. When fights get really chaotic and scrappy, mobility units like Slanesh Heartseekers become pretty insane. There's a high likelihood they're going to be able to catch some of these Powder Guts and some of these elite units here and potentially butter their bread. Over here, the Ogre is going to be mounting a split push. Points are getting very close as we have a pretty excellent grand finals here today. The Exalted Lord of Change is going to be standing with the Nurglings, and there's going to be a blue fire going down. The Ogre Lord is hiding in the bushes, so I think that I think Bob just wanted to get active with the magic. But yeah, these are Ogre Bulls. So Nurglings are going to have a bad time. Nurglings are tiny little popcorn bandits, and they're going to be launched into the Shadow Realm here, as the chicken is not able to help. And what do we have in the trees? A couple Seekers and Heartseekers going to be getting ready to ambush. And where did this Slanesh Elite Cav go? Here they go. So the Heartseekers did get over here like we talked about. They managed to get on top of the Powder Guts and melt them. And now we're going to be seeing Bob getting onto the other ones. Yeah, and these guys are still somewhat healthy. They have about half health. Yeah, this is really cost effective, man. The Ogre Lord casting a Spirit Leech from out of the trees, trying to finish off the Exalted Lord of Change. But it looks like Bob is hanging in there, guys. Meat is back in the menu. Well, I guess it depends on who's winning the fight, because the demons provide no nutritional sustenance. They just disappear back to the warp. But killing the Powder Guts and getting these 2 units low is very big. Are the Demons of Chaos going to be able to hold this? The Nurglings, as we expected, got absolutely steamrolled there. Slaneshi Cavalry having a decent trade, able to take down the Saber Tusks as well as some Blood Vultures. But what are the demonic reinforcements going to be here? We do have more Nurglings coming out, but I mean, they do not trade super well versus these Ogre units. I'm a little bit concerned over there on that side for the Demons. Soul Grinder still in a pit fight here, getting about 1,000 value, so it could be worse. And yeah, this fight is, man, look how scrappy this is. There's like nothing over here. Like everything is basically just dead and, you know, palpitating in this situation. Value on the chicken. He does not have a whole lot of HP left. He does have 1,700 HP, and he is getting caught by these Ogre units. This could be the end of the road for the chicken, getting afflicted by a Spirit Leech coming in from the Deathcaster, which is going to be quite excellent. So that long-term Spirit Leech investment could pay off. Definitely going to need some Heartseekers here to win this fight versus the Ogre Bulls. And if the chicken does die, I think that's just going to be game blouses. Chicken's trying to escape by being hunted by Saber Tusks. Over here on this side, it looks like the Demons in a position where they could lose this. We do see some, Bringers of Beguilement coming out. Interesting. So Giga Elite Demons are on their way out. Now, yeah, they'll obviously wreck these guys in combat if they're allowed to get in combat. They might just get kited. We'll have to see. The Exalted Chicken is on the run at 900 HP. Definitely going to need some Fleshhounds of Khorne or something mobile to come out and try and save this thing. Nurglings, you know, in combat once again versus Ogre Bull units, which is going to be a losing fight for them, especially with the Trappers throwing their little Ninja Stars in. And that is going to be another Spirit Leech on the chicken. He's at 4 leadership, very close to breaking. He's running towards his Vanguard point, just trying to survive until he can get some reinforcements out. But the Ogre Kingdoms looks like they have secured the home objective. Bringers of Beguilement being hit by a Dismember once again. Soul Grinder is going to break at about 1,000 value here, so it does try. And Bringers of Beguilement do have 7 capture weight, but the Ogres have 5 apiece, plus 2 from the Trappers. And yeah, we're going to see how this fight goes. Vultures are going to be landing, and Bringers of Beguilement going to be on the hunt. They're very quick with 54 movement speed. The 7 capture weight, though, not going to save that objective. And did the chicken escape? It looks like we did get some KFC. So the Lord of Change, here he is on the ground looking very sad. He's like, you know, he's him and his drumstick. He's trying his best, but yeah, he's got his little drumstick right there. But yeah, he is done for, and it looks like Scrambled Egg is going to be proving to be the champion of the Great Maw. I don't think there's going to be too much of a comeback chance for Bob. But nonetheless, a really, really epic game that Bob did so good considering how badly his Soul Grinders did. He kept that game close. It probably makes him think that if he had just cut the Soul Grinders and gone for some other strategy with that extra friggin' 4,000 gold, he probably would have had a pretty good chance of winning. But the Soul Grinders were rough. And we do see Scrambled Egg coming on up. The Man-Eaters and company should be able to get this. Nurglings do hold on to the point. Is there anything the Demons can do? I think if the chicken had lived, maybe we could see some sort of a weird comeback where like the Ogre Lord gets sniped because he's low. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Bringers of Beguilement, 124 kills, 500 value. They should be able to honestly trade pretty damn well here, even with their beleaguered kind of tattered state. They're such a crazy good grinder fighter, and they do have perfect vigor as well. Very, very nice. All right, guys, that's going to be it. The chicken is here. Why doesn't he dissolve into the warp? You know, I think they just wanted to, you know, keep a marker for a dead lord here for the aesthetic. And most demons do disintegrate there. Seekers getting charged, or charging into the Ogre Bulls, but the Dismembers are really brutal, man. That ability is freaking nuts. Ogre Kingdoms have some of the better army abilities in the game. I mean, Sword of Khorne is really crazy good. Fecundity is also good for Nurgle. I mean, they all have good ones, I suppose. GG, well played, and the Ogres are coming to get you. The Great Maw has feasted once again. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the winner for today's tournament, the Ogre Kingdoms. But we are not done yet. We're going to have a ceremonial FFA to close things out, which is going to be quite fun. Or, you know what, let's do something different. We're going to do a lore-friendly 2v2 or 3v3 match. Let's try that. That's going to be fun. Okay. So, yeah, for the Demons here, the Soul Grinders just lost them the game, basically. The rest of Bob's build was quite good. I just think I liked the idea of the Soul Grinders, but they rarely work in function. Looking at the Ogre armies here, yeah, it was just clean. The Powder Guts and the Man-Eaters were very, very disruptive, man. Good tournament games today, really good matches. If you guys enjoyed it over on YouTube, please do drop a like. Consider becoming a channel member, and that goes for you guys on Twitch as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do Turin team domination here. We're going to try this. We haven't really played domination in a team setting, so I want to get a little bit crazy here and see what we can do. So we're going to find, we can do the Valley of Lies. How much money does each player get? Let's see. So yeah, the armies are going to be smaller. Yeah, so you get a smaller army, and it will be split between the players. All right, so we're going to try and see if we can get a 3v3 in here. Hopefully it's not laggy. Yeah. Hopefully it's not. All right, so we got Martinius in here. So we're going to do good versus evil. So Martinius, our team is going to be chaos. So we can do some chaos action. So I'm going to play the Warriors of Chaos. And the top team is going to be good guys. Yeah. Will you play Battlefleet Gothic Armada after the game? I had crashing issues with it last time, so probably not. Yeah, anybody's welcome to join. Let the lagging commence, that's right. We could just do 2v2 also. Yeah, we'll do 2v2. Alright, so we're going to do Warriors of Chaos and Slanesh on our side. And, okay, so 9,000 Gs. Okay. We could do smaller funds. We'll have to see. And then we got Bob on the other side. Yeah, so we're the bad guys, and we're going to do... Bob, you need to play a good guy faction. You can be Lizardman, whatever the hell you want. Anything that tickles your pickle, Bob. We never really get 2v2 domination. I kind of want to play it and see how this goes. So he's setting up his army here. And we got Grombrindle, the birthday boys, in here. So Grombrindle, go Dwarves. Oh, the Dwarves and the High Elves. All right, Wookiee's going to block for us here while we set up our army. So this is weird, right? Because in 2v2, this is, like, yeah, you got to, like, synergize with your teammate a little bit. Yeah. Got to do a little bit of this. All right, so Martinius, you can take, well, yeah. Look at my build, Martinius. You build around it, so we're going to do that. I think 2 of those is going to be fine. GG to Scrambled, indeed. So the Dwarves and the High Elves. All right, form an alliance of revenge before the war. That's right. Yeah, the armies are really small. Okay, this is curious. And then what else are we going to want to bring? Yeah, Martinius is doing this. And against Dwarves and against High Elves, we got some choices, man. We got some serious choices. Oh, do we do this? I think we're doing it. We're going to meme a little bit. We're going to meme because, you know, we don't need to sweat here. This is a 2v2. But look, if this isn't laggy, I would love to do 2v2 domination tournaments because it's a really fun idea in theory. We could do like lore-friendly matchups and all that. Okay. Okay. Awesome. And then we're going to want to get what else in reserve? Okay, against High Elves, probably a couple of these guys are going to be good. Oh god, the dreaded hiccups are here. Oh no. It's a good thing the stream's almost over because the hiccups have arrived. They have come. Yeah, alright. Very interesting matchup. Yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. I'm actually kind of excited for this, I'm not going to lie. Do we want to get you? Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. How much is that going to cost? Jeez Louise. I'm so not able to afford that. Okay. So that is good there. And then in reinforcements, probably Forsaken are going to be pretty good in general. And we'll get some Marauders with great weapons because they're going to be good against most of these things. Chaos Knights, probably not super good considering there's a Dwarf player in the mix. Yeah, we're trying a team domination game, which is not something we've done, but like 2v2 dom could be very fun, I think. Yeah, because like it is a bit sub-commanders, right? Like each person gets a little flavor there. As long as like I don't like team games when the like Empire is fighting with Chaos because it becomes very hard to like tell what's going on. And it's just like, yeah. But overall, yeah, pretty neat. We get 2 of these guys. And then for the rest of this, because like, yeah, if you were in like chat communicating with your ally and you could do some really fun stuff for sure. Okay. Awesome. GLHF. Dude, you guys are going to love the Lord choice. It's super Chad. It's an ancient forbidden evil that has been long forgotten. But we're going to see if we can make him work. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shooting on that side for sure. I feel like we're going to get steamrolled. Martinius' army is pretty cool. Yeah. Come on, don't lag. Don't lag. Don't lag. The more I see Wookiee, the more I love him. Yeah. Yeah, the screen blocker for anybody just joining, that was my dog. He died 4 years ago, give or take. He croaked. He kicked the bucket. He was a great little doggy. But, yeah. He once shat on me live on stream. That was his crowning achievement in life. I picked him up during one of my streams to pet him because he was like at my feet. He was like, I thought he wanted attention, but he wanted to go outside, and I didn't know the difference. And he just dropped a fat turd. It like hit my shirt and then like bounced down to my foot. I was like, oh, oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, so let's get this out of here. Please don't crash. After all that, okay, we're good. So here's what we got. We're going to be on the Valley of Lies. We need to watch that sometime. It was a long time ago. So I have double hell cannon, bringing some artillery to the field. Yeah, everybody's loading in. Honestly, not too bad. Hopefully it's not too laggy. We're going to see. Yeah, I can see this. Okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, so we get one hell cannon back here, another one back here. So I'm going to be... And Bellicor. Check it out. Oh, the dark king is here. Remember the times when we hated Bellicor? We're like, oh god, like it's Bellicor again. But yeah, this time he's gonna be here, and he's gonna be good to go. So we will grab this, and we will grab that. The map is a little bit dark. Yeah, I think it's because there's like a shadow above us. It makes sense that Bellicor would be in the darkness, anyways. It is very dark though. It's a great map. I love this map. All right, good luck, have fun. So we got our whole army here. We're gonna send our great weapons to go hold the back point. Oh, I can do this. So I'm gonna do this here and this here. So I can draw and let my opponent know what I'm doing. Oh, we can communicate. All right, so we're gonna get this. The hell cannons are at the ready, General. Bellicor is gonna move, and let's move you up and move you up. All right, horsemen can go get that objective. And so it begins. Do we have any artillery from the dwarves? Oh, Peak 8 Guard, okay. Wow, yeah, why is it so dark? It's usually not this dark. This is like really dark. I'm actually legit having trouble seeing here a little bit. All right, so we got some horsemen. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. Blast at you guys, we're gonna grab this point. And Bellicor is just gonna be waiting with like Pit of Shades. Yeah. The dwarves are gonna be our primary target for the bombardments, obviously. So we do manage to get this. Let's go to the middle. And Bellicor is gonna be chilling here. Okay. We do make some contact, and now we have dwarf warriors moving in. So we're going to get on the Thunders. We're going to get on the Thunders, shoot those guys down. We're going to pop the boom and the boom for the damage buff. And now we're going to just use our horsemen to chill out here. Yeah. Dealing with those phoenixes is going to be hard, though. Okay, he does have cannons. So he does have cannons. The Dark Prince Bellicor waits in the shadows. Thunder is actually doing a shit ton of damage against us, which feels bad. So we're going to move you guys up on the outside there. And now we got some call-ins. So from here, I'm going to be calling in. I think we're going to just get some Marauders with great weapons. We're just going to call in boys for the boys god, and just hope that these horsemen can deal with the phoenixes and whatnot. Okay, Bellicor keeps following. We're going to keep going there. And now we've done some good damage there, so we need to get on the hammers and get on the hammers here, the PK card. Okay, great. So Bellicor, where's the Dark Prince? He can go here and do a little bit of fighting if we want to. We're going to go ahead and flank around the back here and do a little bit of this. Okay, so Dark King, is he going to go for it? Yeah, we could do the Dark Master, which lowers... Oh, God, we're about to get Sunfanked. Oh! Okay, we mostly dodged it, which is good. Bellicor able to chase Helmy away. And now we can do an overcasted Pit of Shades right here, although he's ready to dodge it, so we don't want any of that smoke. Some of these Marauders do get harried back, so we're going to retreat them. And I'm basically just the artillery commander in this game. We just need to keep bombarding those units there and feasting. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay, Bellicor, need to hang out. Yeah, he's going to retreat back a little bit. We do lose the objectives there. And do we have anything? Oh, shit, those are Iron Drakes. Okay, that's some damage there. Still wearing them down. A lot of mobility is going to be coming. And we have you guys advancing up as well. So we get you guys in with those Dwarf Warriors. Yeah, Iron Drakes are cooking us. Yeah, it feels bad. Okay, so maybe I need to switch on to the Iron Drakes here. Or consider playing the outside objective. We'll see. Okay, so Hellstriders could be good. We're going to get 2 Hellstriders. Yeah, we both call in the mobility here. It's pretty fun. So we do see the threat that's on the table here. Let's get you. And Bellicor needs to get more active. So we're going to go take Bellicor to the outside. We're going to debuff you with an overcasted one, which is going to slow him down, and maybe see if we can catch those guys. Okay, so how's the artillery doing? It is getting the Thunders down, so we're going to get you and you. So the PK card have gotten worked on pretty good. And are we going to catch those guys? Maybe. Let's continue moving out here, get Bellicor going this way. And we do manage to catch him with one. So we're going to retreat the other one back, pull the horseman this way. Yeah, so Hellstrider's doing pretty good, but a lot of mobility is coming out that way. It's going to be nasty. Let's get another Hellstrider coming so we can be ready to go. And horsemen, yeah, he's got all those archers, which are very scary. So we could attack in, but I feel like it's going to be bad news bears. And how are we looking on the shooting? Okay, so the shooting is going good. We are wearing down a lot of the dwarven shooting, which is going to give our Slaanesh homies a little bit more room to work with. Screw this fight out here. Nobody wants any of this smoke. Bellicor can go in, and we can try a Pit of Shades on something or other. We could try it right there on those guys. I'm going to just Pit of Shades on those guns, and we're going to try and shut that shit down right now. All right. So back around. As long as the Hell Cannons are shooting the entire game, we're cooking. Like, we're in good shape. So let's get you and you. Take that bad boy down. Just trying to keep outer regions flank in check here. And now the Dark Prince Bellicor, there's no more shooting here. So now we can go in and shut the shit down. Yeah, let's get Bellicor in there. The Dark Master. All right. So probably we can use the Shadow Shroud, which is going to give us 60% ward save there. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Let's advance you up. We could unsummon you, and we're going to put the Slaanesh Cav in Group 5 and move them out here. The bombardments are doing good. How are we doing on objectives? So we have our home objective. The middle one is contested. Bellicor is going pretty balls deep here. Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage. And let's come out here and see if we can maybe rotate with our Slaanesh Cavalry all the way out there and steal their back point. That's going to be very nice. Horsemen, how are you looking? Yeah, he's not gone for the goodies yet. Let's go ahead and get you, and can we afford a troll? We can. So we're going to get Forsaken and trolls up. See if we can start to steal the middle objective. Bellicor, the Dark Prince. Is there anything free over here? Those are Slayers, which we don't want any of that smoke. Okay, you guys go there. Let's get the Marauders in there to fight a little bit. We get you guys lurking back. We do see that Mass Mobility Corps coming. Uh-oh. He might be losing his Lord. That's really not good, actually. Are we going to be able to steal this point? Well, we're going to try. All right, so the Hell Cannons, what do we want to be shooting into? Is there any good quality Dwarven units? Not really. And they are going for the Hell Cannons back here. So we're going to do this. We're going to pull Bellicor back here as well. And the Forsaken and the Trolls can get up and try and contest that point. You guys keep fighting. And I could use the Hell Cannons to do a little bit of work here. But the Marauder Horseman should be able to keep his SCs in check. And Big Daddy Bellicor is coming back here too, so that's going to be nice. All right, let's get one injured unit to go in here. Marauder Horsemen are going to go. Forsaken, you can bro charge and get on the point here. And you guys can stand at the ready. So the Phoenixes are doing their thing. He's going to be forced away from the back point. Bellicor can attack this thing. Okay, let's get some more trolls coming up to pay the troll toll. You know, you got to pay the troll toll a little bit. Let's retreat you back, and that point's looking pretty good. So far, so good. We do have a big pit fight going down here, so we're going to go ahead and keep going after this. Bellicor can fight the fight, and now you guys can come around the back and loop, and we'll see what kind of work we can get done. Bellicor is doing work, though. He's chasing these Arcane Phoenixes and getting some nice damage into those. All right, so Trolls and company. We do have some Slayers coming in. Trolls need to retreat back. Ooh, shit, that's not good. Okay, so we need to go over there, and we need to get these Horsemen on that objective stat. That's going to be very important here. Also, maybe even get you guys around here and get some Hound units coming over there. Oh, Bellicor's going. He's going to town on Old Tyrion here. We're going to do the Dark Master. Debuff him, and yeah, good. So I think we stabilize this outside point. We're going to get there. Okay. This is pretty fun, actually. I think Domination 2v2 is pretty cool. They are a little bit resurgent here, though, which is not good. So there's a lot of stuff coming in. So we're going to shoot the Slayers, and we're going to get the Soul of Damnation to shoot you. A couple Poison Hounds going to loop around this side here, so we're going to do this, and we're going to go like so. Great. All right, did we stabilize our home point? We did. Hellstriders need to dive into the backfield. I think there's some opportunities for diving back there. Horseman looking good, and Bellicor is being the Dark Master here. He's just giving Tyrion the business. Oh, can we do a Pit of Shades here? That's going to be really good. So Bellicor is going to get in there. We're going to pop Shadow Shroud. We're about to get a big Pit of Shades right on this army here. So it might be moving. We'll have to see. Cannon, we can maybe get that. Let's get the Hellstriders to chase you guys. Although maybe just collapsing here is going to be fine. And you guys go there as well. All right, Bellicor gets a big old Pit of Shades, which is really nice. Killing Tyrion's going to be incredibly difficult, but we'll see what we can do. Hound units, do we get on top of the cannon? We do. And our two Hell Cannons, how are they looking? You guys fight there. Not sure what we want to shoot at here, but Bellicor can keep hunting Homeboy, and the Hellstriders can come back this way now. Trolls, get in there, bash those warriors, and let's get it. All right. So scrappy fight, man. Scrappy fight. It's a little bit hard to tell. Like, everybody's value trading very evenly. You know, so that's kind of neat. Cannon, unfortunately, does stabilize, so that feels bad. And let's get our horsemen in position here to help out in the back. And it looks like there are some cavalry back here causing havoc, so let's get a Hellstrider, have them go hunt down those Illyrian Reavers. Should be a free kill there. And Bellicor, we could use a Melkoth's on you guys, slow you down. Yeah, get a little slowdown on those. And maybe he's going to be able to find his way back to the artillery. We'll see. We will see. All right, so you guys get back. Hellstriders go over there. Looks like we do manage to fold up that unit. Our back point's in a little bit of danger. Let's unsummon you, so you've run out of ammo, so we're going to get the refund on that. What do we shoot here is the question. Probably finish off some of these Slayers in the middle is going to be adequate. Be'lakor and company, though, they're doing work. He's putting in some heavy lifting. All right, horsemen, let's advance. Trolls routed with like pretty much full HP, which is pretty funny. We're going to unsummon you guys, I think. Get some fresh ones back in the pool. Hellstriders need to go, and they can go here and just kind of run across, although I think unsummoning them is going to be better at this point. Ooh, sneaky doggies in the backfield. Might be able to get his cannon offline. That's going to be pretty thick if we do. That's going to be pretty good. So we are in the process of losing this point. We're definitely in some danger. Let's go shut this shit down. We can do Dark Master here. And my horsemen, ooh, their back objective is a little bit flimsy. It's certainly seen better days. So now we need to do Forsaken, Forsaken, and Forsaken. Was kind of waiting a little bit too long to call shit in, but we'll get you guys up and hopefully threaten that objective while maybe having a good value trade on the backfield. So those get shut down. There's the opponent's Mage of Death. Forsaken are going to be arriving up here. We have some Hellstriders, which are reasonably healthy, so we'll keep them there for now. And let's go get that Mage of Death if we can. That's going to be a nice grab. The Hounds do get the cannon. Not quite. They do not quite get the cannon. Feels bad. So sad. All right, Trolls. Come make them pay the Troll toll up on the point. Marauders. We can unsummon you guys. Hellstriders. Where are we going to go with those? All right, so Hellstriders, just come kill these damn freaking Iron Drakes. Jeez Louise, those things have been annoying. All right, there's Tyrion. Maybe we can get a kill on Tyrion. We could probably drop a little Pit of Shades on the Blasting Charge boys here just to shut them offline. And now I have a lot of infantry coming up. We're going to get triple Forsaken on the middle objective, which is going to be good. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of capture weight. Pit of Shades does miss, sadly. But the Dark Master, he continues doing his thing. Really, really tight game, but we are down on points. You know, that's tough. So we're going to get Marauders and Marauders. All of you guys to move up and try and get the points back. But this is our opportunity to kind of feast here a little bit, right? So we're going to get you there, you there. We got the double Forsaken here, which should counter the Rangers. Be'lakor doesn't give too many shits. He's taking it well. Yeah, he's taking it very well. So we're going to use the Dark Master, continue fighting there, and see what can happen. Oh my god. Enough with the phone calls, geez Louise. All right, Hound units and soon to be Hellstriders. So we're going to kind of try and bash these guys down. We unfortunately didn't quite get the middle objective, despite Be'lakor's best efforts. The forces of good are still holding. We'll drop you down. Yeah, they kind of got us pinned in here a little bit, which is tough. Oh, wow, I've done a lot of damage this game. That's cool. So you can definitely see that being reflected. So we're going to get the Hounds and get you guys going there and get that home point. We're going to keep trying to kill Tyrion, although I know that's a tall order. We have infantry coming over. Yeah, still a bit of game to be played, for sure. Still a bit of game, right? Yeah, it's not over yet. And the cannon is out of ammunition, so we need to unsummon that thing. So we're going to unsummon it. Get that back into the pool and unsummon, please. We do manage to get this point, which is outstanding. Forsaken doing work. Tyrion's getting low. We can do the ability here, debuff some of these guys. Who still has those freaking Arcane Phoenixes, man. That's so tough. All right, so those are Reavers. We do have Trolls and company back there, so that should go to us. We're going to go ahead and keep consolidating on the back objective here, and really, because we need to control all three of these for the goodies. Yeah, Be'lakor has actually been kind of cool this game. I'm not going to lie. I'm not hating Be'lakor. He's been fun. Do we have any chance of getting our home objective back? We do. So we're in the process of getting that. So then we just need to find a way to get the middle, right? Yeah, that's going to be the tall order here. All right, come back here. Hounds and Be'lakor are going to be feasting. Rangers, let's get the Trolls over there. Call another Hellstrider over there. Just be speedy. Get on that point, and I think we're going to steal it. Yeah, Hellstriders here unfortunately got caught up. And on the back point, looks like we're good. So then these guys can all rotate towards the middle. Okay, how's Be'lakor doing? Yeah, shooting at Be'lakor, he's fine. He's going to take it like a champ. Let's get the Hellstriders in there. Hound units in here to help out a little bit. Be'lakor can help fight off the big beastie. And we can do a Melkos here on these guys. Great. So double Hellstriders is going to be coming. Forsaken are there. We do manage to get our home objective back, which is great. So this is a really good, close game, actually. Super fun. Well, it's cool because we can still tell what's happening because there's alliances, right? It's like evil versus good. So you can see dwarves, you see like, you know, elves. Like, all right, that's the good guy faction. We do have Bringers of Begamlet coming to the middle too. Let's unsummon the town unit, get him back there. Get the Troll coming up here as well, though he can just go regenerate on the back point. Be'lakor doesn't really care about getting flamethrowered, but unfortunately our other units do. Let's get this Hellstrider to go over there, try and finish this shit off. Let's get you pushing up, and the Trolls are doing it. Do we have any chance of getting the middle objective? Let's see. So, yeah, we got a lot of Marauders coming in, and we are kind of cackling on the middle right now. Okay. So the Dark Master is doing it, and let's go ahead and use the ward save item. Chad Be'lakor, dude, look at him going. All right, unfortunately, though, we're in the process of maybe losing this back point, so that's going to be tough. We need to reroute some reinforcements over here. Call in some speedy boys from here as well, because, yeah, we are in the process of losing that. And it is a triple cap situation, so we need to get through them here and do this, and you guys do this. So we're going to be basically all in on this back point here. Let's call it some horsemen, just because it's all we have that's mobile and that can really fight here. Tyrion is going to probably just heal if we attack him, so I don't know if that's even worth. Don't know if it's even worth. But the long-drawn Slayer Pirates got there. We can send 1 unit to the back objective to make sure that one doesn't flip. And we got warriors coming over, a couple trolls and Hellstriders. Yeah, where does Bellicor go? I don't know. Really, really low on magic, unfortunately. We do have some light cavalry here. Do we have any Hellstriders left? We do have some and some, so let's get them to come over here and help out. Yeah, this is do or die. This is do or die for us, guys. We have a little bit of time left. We're going to get some warriors on the objective here. I think we're going to be safe on the back point. Let's get these marauders coming over here. And I think we're going to want to call in Forsaken, to be honest. I think that's going to be our best play. All right, so let's do this. Let's get Forsaken coming over here to do that. Unfortunately, some trolls are being harried and hunted. Bellicor is just kind of being a menace, fighting the birds, and if we can kill that Arcane Phoenix with him, that's going to be sweet. We do manage to stabilize this point, so all's good in the neighborhood. Yep, no drama there. A couple Forsaken need to be unsummoned in case the game goes longer. And we do have a shitload of units coming over here to this objective, like a whole bunch, guys, a whole bunch. That is a hammer unit there, which is cool. Yeah, he heads us off right there. Forsaken need to get over to the objective like ASAP. Bellicor is going to be good against these elite units. That damn flamethrower with like 1 model left is just going super Chad. It's an issue, man. Let's get some poison hounds. We just need everything we can possibly get over to this objective. We got not too much time left. We got about 50 seconds. Slayers are coming. Forsaken into the Slayers is going to be ideal. Bellicor is just so tanky. Nobody cares. He's just hanging in there like a champ. Back objective stable. Forsaken going to be bro charging in there. And we do have poison hounds too. Maybe we're going to be able to weasel this. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight. So let's get Forsaken in there. Bellicor can work on them. We're going to get you guys trying to chase them off. And the horsemen here can chase down these reavers. Okay, this is do or die. We got 20 seconds, and the capture weight does come in for us. Super close. A couple horsemen here going to be running onto the point. Let's get a horseman there, because it's the only thing that can get here in time, maybe. Maybe. Oh, man, what a close game. I think they just... Oh, wait, hold on. The capture weight's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Oh, my God. 3, 2, 1. No, we lose by like 1 second. We would have won if we caught that. There's no way they would have gotten it back. GG, well played. That was pretty fun, right? Do you guys like the 2v2? I think that's kind of cool. Threefold Stranger, thank you. GG's. So, Bellicor was pretty Chad. He got 4,000 value. Hell Cannons did really good. Horsemen did good. Let's look at the reinforcements. Hellstriders and Forsaken did pretty good. Martinius, his big performance. The Chosen did all right. The cavalry did good for Martin, I would imagine. Yeah, really good. That's a 2v2 domination is really fun, actually. I think that's cool. The problem is lag. If we could avoid the lag, then we're going to be fine. Let's look at Grombrindal's army and see what did good. So for the birthday boy, hammers and 900. So the elite infantry didn't quite get their fights. Tyrion sitting here at 1600. The birds did pretty good. Yeah, GG, well played. Well, if you guys enjoyed what you saw, please do drop a like on the way out. I'm going to go hang out with my lovely wife. We will see you guys back soon. But I think if we do a 2v2 tournament, it's going to be more focused around... No, there was no lag here out of region. It was fine. It'll be thematic. Because I want like the armies to look like they should be fighting together instead of having like, Bretonnia with frickin' Tzeentch or something, right? It just looks stupid. So I think we'll come up with some sort of a thematic alliance list. Yeah, I know we talked about it before, but for domination, I would need to think about that. So, all right, guys, I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for the support. Welcome to all our new subscribers and channel members. And ladies and gentlemen of the old world, that is going to be it for tonight. And we will see you all on the other side very soon. Tomorrow we'll be back with another stream. I don't know what it's going to be, but it will be something fun. All right, guys. Adios. Do widzenia. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And that is it for today.